going to tell you I spent a large amount of the last 24 hours thinking about nothing more than I was thinking about collusion. Because how in the hell does 32 teams in the National Football League pass on a quarterback that was universally recognized one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the country entering this draft, and 32 teams passed on him, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 different times they passed on him. How the hell does that happen? 4 rounds. It doesn't happen to a quarterback.
Test. I want to make sure these mics on. Ike's home. Aight. Da-da-da-da-da. I said, I just want to make sure these mics on. Is Ike home? Ike.
We've never seen anything like this before. We've seen guys drop because of injuries. We've seen guys drop because of off-field issues, but we've never seen a quarterback projected to be a top 20 pick, universally recognized one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the draft, projected to be a first rounder, in all likelihood a safe bet of a late first rounder, and drop literally to the 5th round. We haven't seen anything like that. Primetime Deion Sanders' natural bravado, coupled with that of his son. They say that the whole interview process wasn't that impressive when he showed up at the NFL scouting combine and refused to work out. That hurt him. The interview process while he was there hurt him, et cetera, et cetera. You know what, y'all? I get it. It makes perfect damn sense if he's drafted in the 2nd round. It's the fact that he fell to 5th that's alarming. So in other words, you're willing to collectively send that kind of message, and don't act like it wasn't a collective effort. For all we know, teams collectively, meaning owners, had come to the conclusion nobody's going to touch them in the first 4 rounds. All right, now that the round 5 is here, our message has been sent, so y'all can go about the business of sort of lifting the embargo, for lack of a better phraseology. I don't know what the hell happened. All I know is this: it's freaking unfair. It ain't right. A complete and utter lack of appreciation for what primetime Deion Sanders has done for the game of football. Primetime Deion Sanders had more swag, more bravado than anybody you could ever imagine. What else he do? All the brother did was go out there and perform at a very, very elite level, bring pizzazz and sizzle to your product, helping it grow into this multi-billion-dollar brand. Has a great relationship with the commissioner, has a great relationship with a bevy of players and coaches in the National Football League, knows the sport backwards and forwards. And because of his swag and his bravado, whatever, y'all gonna turn against him. How about y'all should have drafted Shedeur Sanders earlier because of that alone? Shedeur Sanders, in my opinion, was targeted because primetime Deion Sanders was targeted. What happened to Shedeur Sanders, in part, not totally, but in part, was a direct assault on Deion Sanders.
A lot of that early stuff. A lot of that early stuff was like Rich Gang. It was like with Rich Quan. Why did that partnership end?
I think we just grew and became our own bosses and men, and then we didn't want to keep doing like the Rich Gang albums. We were getting bigger, so it's like I want to do my own shit. I want to
You wanted to do your own thing.
I think he did. I was okay with it, but because I feel like I love music, but I don't care about song. I'll have a #1 hit record song, and I'll put you on it. I don't care.
Right.
It's just like, so what? Whoever goes to the top with you, go to the top. I don't care. I never was the guy that cared about that type of stuff, So I would have been okay with just keep doing it. And it didn't, we still was dropping our own music at the same time of doing that. So it was just like, it really was bigger.
Mhm.
But I guess like everybody couldn't see that. So people just do things, make mistakes.
A lot of that.
I mean, of course, we start that one off with that was Young Thug speaking on his relationship with Rich Homie Quan and why Rich Gang ended. And of course, I think realistically, I mean, if you've heard enough Rich Homie Quan interviews, I think realistically before his passing, he came to his common sense and kind of realized the reason why that they had their fallout originally. Not, of course, like how it later on trickled down to the Lucci and Young Thug situation, but realistically, it was because Rich Homie, rest in peace to him. He started, his head got too big. He started to get full of himself and kind of really because he was seeing a little bit more mainstream success before Young Thug actually got to. Like, let's be clear, like on the streetwise, Young Thug was already Young Thug, but we talking about mainstream to the rest of the world. Rich Homie kind of started to pull away a little bit faster from Rich Gang. He started to get a little bit bigger. So of course, I mean, that happens in most groups, and especially groups that's not intended to be groups. When y'all come out as solo artists and then y'all end up becoming a group, you're gonna always have that moment where you feel like realistically you trying to, you don't want people to know y'all as a group. You kind of get big-headed. You want to do your own thing. You want people to know how good you are. And of course, for a moment, it was working for Rich Homie Quan. Like for a moment, he was the bigger star. For a moment, he was the standout star in that group. But I mean, of course, just as sometimes I guess if you kind of want to throw in the Nipsey Hussle saying is like it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And then Young Thug eventually became Young Thug. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes it just takes time. And while we there, let's just get into this week is new release, new music came out. Young Thug, let's just start off the rip. It was Young Thug and Future, and it's called Money on Money. They recreated the Jay-Z and Kanye West Otis video. I love the song. I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't even watched the video. I just seen the clips because I'm really not a watching videos type of person. That's just not my bag. I'd rather just listen to the music and actually like listen to the music when I'm working out for real. That's of course my preference. So like I said, that song cranked to me. Like Young Thug, Future, both of them kind of went crazy on it. And you kind of know, like, especially like, you know, when like Atlanta rapper really feel like he in his bag, them verses be like OD long, especially we live in a generation where it's like people be having like super short verses. We complain about the songs being too short. Like Young Thug knew he was really in the pocket. He was on that joint really talking and going crazy. So that kind of left Young Thug to give himself like a longer verse. I think I want to say he had 2 verses before Future verse even came on. And then to me, the standout song of the week is Meg Thee Stallion. When she put pen to pad, she go absolutely so crazy. And probably my favorite verse on that joint was like, I mean, towards when she say, I forgot what I hate that I can't remember words, but it was something basically saying don't compare them girls to me or whatever the case may be. Or if it's smoke, make sure that whoever writing the verses got ink in their pen, because y'all know mine ain't never gonna be empty. Something like that. I know I'm screwing it up, but that little bob, man, it went so crazy. I was just like, oh my god, like bro, Meg be snapping, and Meg snapped so hard to the point where it's like she be going crazy, but she go crazy where it's like you kind of gotta realistically you gotta, she know how to rap and she know how to ride the beat, change her flows, but she also still know how to throw in like little catchy stuff that girls gonna use, like that little, she had like a part in there with some of ass right, titties right, dun. Like I know for a fact that the girls gonna run that one up, especially as soon as the weather really break, or even for people who are already starting to go on vacation before the summertime really kick in. But I know for a fact, like girls gonna kind of wait to sit here and say, okay, when the first time I can get into a bathing suit or I get close to, and I think it's carnival season and all that. So when you can kind of get a good half naked video or picture posting and get yourself into a bathing suit, I know for a fact a lot of women are going to use that part of that Meg Thee Stallion song for their reels, their TikToks, or whatever the case may be, or their captions, to that song. Like I said, Meg went crazy on that joint. Album wise, the only album I really kind of got myself into was White Jeezy, and I call him White Jeezy because I mean, even if you listen to the album, the intro of the joint, he kind of played on of course his name is, what is it, Belly Gang, Cushington, Belly Gang. I just call him White Jeezy. White Jeezy, he is from Atlanta, and of course, like I said, the intro to the album is called Introduction, and it's even played on it. It's a girl doing this like the little intro skit. She like, what is you? Everybody want to know, everybody asking, are you black or are you white? This, that, and the third. So it's because of course he says the N-word to the 19th hour. Like it kind of, just because realistically he looked like, it's so funny, like he sound like Jeezy and he looked like Rory. So if anybody you ever watched the Joe Budden podcast before, you watch Rory and Mo, this dude real live really looked like Rory, and he looked like Rory and sound like Jeezy. And the first 3 songs he come into the project so crazy. Like I'm talking about the very first 3 songs. I'm like, oh, he is in his bag and he about to put out a classic. But it was like after those first 3, it went dramatically down. And I think it went down because it was like you need some catchy jumps, because it's like the audience you trying to gain, like we ain't in that same time of like 05, 06 Jeezy. It's like I still need some type of catchy hook, because it got like too personal. Like the song, like to his mom, like he redid the damn mama, whatever that Eminem flip he did. I'm like, bro, it's like, I get it that you want to be personal. You want people to kind of know your story and know where you come from. And maybe that attaches to allowing people to really know like why you use the N-word so much, where you come from and your upbringing. I'm not going to hold you. I don't need that so early, maybe in the project. Like if you're going to do that towards the end. Like you need some more. Like he started off, like I said, them very first 3 jumps, like there's no argument on, we talking about subject matter, the detail, even not just how he's saying, but we talking about actually what he's saying, quality of detail on how he was rapping. Those first 3 songs would be like, oh, I get why people compare him to Jeezy. Like he literally, not just what he talking about, but how he sound. But then it was just such a dramatic drop off, because it was just like, it got stale. Like he was still talking that talk. He was very detailed, even the song he write to his mom. But it's like, bro, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't care. And it's just like, it's like you need to keep that audience of, when we talking about street audience, people who really like, you need a catchy joint. And I ain't sitting here saying you need something as crazy as Rob 49, what the hell, but you need something to kind of like, you needed something. Like that's when you needed a Quavo hook or a Future Jones or something. You needed something to kind of get people's attention, where it was like, all right, cool, this is gonna be the hit that's gonna kind of carry the project. Because you can rap. I can hear that you can rap. And I think that was one of the things, like on the whole entire project, that's what you get. Like I understand, yes, you can rap very well, but those first 3 songs came in extremely strong. And then the rest of the project was just like, it was just blah until it kind of got to the end. Like I like that was a joke called Pig Laden, but that's song number 13. Like like I said, I get it. Like the Kanye wife joint, I understand he can, again, like I said, I understand you can rap and you were proving that you can rap, but I don't think we live in a day and age where it's like, to keep somebody's attention for a long time, especially when you are a newer artist, you won't need more than you can rap. Like I'm gonna need something catchy for me to kind of just want to constantly keep listening to. But like I said, I mean, if you live in that day and age where 3 songs, I mean, I'll add those to my gym playlist. And I think I even added the Pig Laden jump. But like I said, it was cool. Like it was a good project. Like I'm not about to sit here and make it like you really into just somebody rapping and really talking crazy on some street raps and talking about trapping. Like, yeah, I mean, it's a good project. It's a solid jump. But to me, those first 3 songs, he started off impeccable. Like those very first 3 songs, I was like, oh yeah, he in his bag. But it dropped. That drop off to me from the very first 3 songs was like it was almost like a roller coaster. Like you get it to the top of the hill and then that one just went completely down and it never came back up, because it was just like, you ain't have nothing to kind of get me back up there. Like, yeah, I don't know. I do think that's my only thing. I just think realistically is he probably needs somebody like you just need to tap into one of your Atlanta people. Like get in there with Quavo and get you like one of them stupid hooks. Like Quavo got them type of dumb hooks, and I get maybe you feel like you don't want nothing that catchy and that gimmicky that early in your career because you're kind of trying to set the tone, but to kind of give that projects more replay value, I feel like you gotta have one of them Jones. Like if you were to sit here like, man, Quavo just put out the joint. What was it? The Trap of the Rabbit joint. Even the joint he was supposed to put out this Friday, but he didn't put out with him and Takeoff. It was another Dope Boy phone. Like you just need one of them super catchy joints. Like this project to me just get like, yeah, I understand the nostalgic that you want people to feel like they listening to some old Jeezy, but it ain't 05, it ain't 06. Like you still like. That would be my only thing. Like it's not 06, it's not 05. I think it's kind of hard to try to recreate that Jones. So like I said, I mean that Jones was cool. And my girl Big Pluto, she dropped a new song called, what was the name of the Jones? I want to say it's called, was it just F-U? I think it was. Was that the name of her song? Yeah, what the F? That's what it was called from Big Pluto. T Grizzly put out a joke called Jalen Hursky. I did not like it. I'm like, T Grizzly can rap, but I'm cool on the auto-tune T Grizzly. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I don't necessarily need T Grizzly to to sit here and really try to get into his auto-tune bag. Like, I'm cool on the singing. Like, he just was too much on the auto-tune. Like, it was cool. So like I said, my 3 songs that really stood out to me this weekend was the Young Thug, the Meg Thee Stallion Joan, and then like I said, this song from Pluto. Of course, that's the girl who got the Lululemon song. Like I said, the White Jeezy, his project was cool. Like, I'm not mad at it. The project, like, it was cool. Like, if you need something to listen to, if you one of those people who really into just street rapping and really just looking for somebody to just like really talk crazy, talk that trap stuff, then it's cool. Like I said, them first 3 jumps started off amazing, but it was just like, it was a huge dip off after that. I do feel like realistically, I ain't gonna lie to you, I want to get into Sinners. And I think Sinners is one of them movies where it's like, what made me, because we talked about it last week, how so many people went and just start writing stuff. I do feel like that's one of those movies where nobody can really spoil it to you, because it's almost like, because tying it into even like music, it has so many triple and double entendres. Like, the movie has so many different layers and meanings. I don't think you can really give a real breakdown off of just one watch. Like, that was one of those movies where I feel like you had to maybe go see 2 times, unless you was in the movie theater real live, writing down what you've seen, and then you was gonna miss something. Like, that's one of the movies to me, like, I feel like I couldn't really give a real respective breakdown from anybody unless you just, I mean, one, if you just want to punch home whatever like part that really stood out to you the most, then you're cool for sure. But if you're talking about a strong, thorough breakdown from A to Z, I think realistically you would honestly need you have to make a pause to jump, because it just had too many. It had too much meaning behind it. Like, there was one of those movies, like, for the first time, it was like, damn, I definitely would need to see this like 2 more times, or at least 1 more time, to really be able to give real detail and really kind of like, besides just surface level conversation, to really get what you was watching and really understand and be able to break it down. Like, that movie was that good. And then if you one of those people where I seen like a lot of people like, oh, I'm not messing with, like, don't, because I'm gonna play this clip of this girl, whoever was sitting here saying she left the movie because she was Christian. Like, I do feel like sometimes that's again something where I don't believe in just taking people's opinion via social media. Like, go see the movie on your own. Like, y'all know for a fact, if you've been listening to this show long enough, or if you follow me on social media, you know I'm heavy into my religious beliefs, and that movie ain't had nothing to do with scaring nobody or running nobody away from going to church or nothing like that. Like, that don't, like, again, that's why I sit here and say I think a lot of times people just like, on the surface level, just to like say something, it's like, just let me say something about this movie so people can know I've seen it. Like, that to me would be just like, if you said, oh, I can't go see this movie because of just because of my religious belief, this is sinners, I don't play with the demons and this and that. Like, if you can't sit here and say I don't play with the demons. If you've ever seen any scary movie, like, bro, I don't know what the difference was. Like, and I feel like these demons in this movie had way more. Again, when we talk about double entendres and real life, really meaning and definition behind it, it was way more definition and meaning behind actually what this was, just like some vampires. Like, that junk was like, it had way too much meaning into it. So I am gonna play this clip of this girl that went viral, because I did see, I think a lot of people seen her clip and didn't take time to go to see the movie. But real quick, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is how you kind of just like, when I always talk about parenting and like how people raise their kids with certain level of manners. This probably was the first time I seen a movie with my mom in maybe like 20 something years. Like, no exaggeration, like literally like 20 some years. And I literally felt like a kid sitting beside her when they was having like nobody didn't get butt naked. Like, they didn't show no skin, but just getting into it, like even coming into the joint, Michael B. Jordan telling his little cousin how to eat the box right. And it was just like, because this is the first time, like, I recommend all types of movies to my mom. Like, have you seen it? But I don't watch them with her. So it's a difference between like, you got to sit right beside your mom in the movie theater and Michael B. Jordan talking about eating a box. And it's just like, bro, I felt like a little kid, because in the back of my mind, the last time seeing a movie with my mom was like a movie of that type of, like, just close your eyes, put your hands over your eyes type of thing. So like I said, none of that, they never got that like graphic. Like, nobody literally didn't take their clothes off, but it was just the concept of like, they was doing the thing, but they just didn't get like I said, it wasn't like an X-rated on, like they was getting butt naked or nothing like that. But it was just funny to me. I was just thinking about that. I was like, dog, that's just how. But when we talking about being raised the proper way and having a different proper level of respect for your parents, like, that just in my mind, I was just laughing at myself like, bro, you are grown. But it's just so funny, because it's just like, it's hard to erase some of those things, because it's just how you grew up. That was, like I said, literally the last time I've been in the movie theater, it was to the age with my mom. It's like, hey, close your eyes or whatever the case may be. So it was just funny as hell, just listening to Michael B. Jordan telling his cousin to eat some box. And I'm just like, bro, what the hell am I doing? Why did I go see this with my mother? But anyway, I'm gonna play this clip of this girl.
walked out on the Sinners movie, y'all, not because it was a bad movie, but because it was too heavy on me spiritually. And I did not realize it was going to be that heavily spiritual. To be fair, I didn't see any previews at all. I really honestly just wanted to support Ryan and Michael. It was so heavy on me, y'all. I had prayed like 4 times by the time it got to the middle of the movie. And the scene where Cornbread came back to the house, shortly after his scene, that next scene made me leave. I couldn't take it. I caught a message that made me start calling on God. Like I was just saying, my God. I kept saying that. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to disturb nobody from trying to like watch the movie. But it was so much to it, y'all, that I was like, I can't. Like, I have to leave. I have to go pray. So I left. I walked out. I might try to go finish it. If you're going to go see it, please pray before you go see it. Please guard yourself. It is heavily spiritual. 100% through and through.
So even just like I said, even with that clip, that to me just kind of don't make no sense, because like you made it that far, bro. You made it to damn near to the end of the movie. Like you literally made it to the end of the movie. It may have been like maybe 20 to 15 minutes left of the movie, which she's saying she walked out and left. So that's just my thing of, and I think when you sitting here saying it was that spiritual and it was that deep onto your soul where it made you leave, I think it was just that deep on your soul because the message had so much real meaning to it. Like even to me, like when I'm like maybe the first 15-20 minutes into the movie, it was one of those movies that kind of made you like, damn, I'm honestly just like it was one of those movies that made you feel good to be black. Like it just kind of like, I'm just talking about, and we just talking about just off of the strength of them singing and playing like the what was he? I can't forget the instrument that the older dude was playing. I won't say the harmonica, but it was just like those little feelings where it was just like one of those old school Southern, and it wasn't like a slave movie, but it was like in that time, like it was right after slavery. It still looked like it could have been a slave movie, but it wasn't an actual slave movie. Man, that movie, I'm talking about a 10 out of 10 for that movie. Like I'm literally would sit here and say a 10 of a 10. I highly recommend it. If you have not seen it already, you have to go see it. Like you're doing yourself a disservice if you have not seen Sinners yet. I promise you, like that's not even no exaggeration on it. Like it's one of them Jones you have to go see. Like I can't, like I'm not gonna lie to you, I can't believe it. If you haven't seen it, I can't believe it.
There is a Chinese community in the Mississippi Delta that's been living there for over 100 years. I did not know that until the movie Sinners, to be quite honest. And in my research, apparently the Sinners team worked with Chinese-American documentary filmmaker Dolly Lee to ensure that the characterization of Grace and Bo and the representation of Chinese immigrants during that time period in Mississippi was authentic. Dolly Lee also made this documentary for AJ Plus on YouTube called The Untold Story of America's Southern Chinese, about the unknown community of Chinese Americans who lived in the Mississippi Delta for more than 100 years. The 8-minute documentary video talks about how the Chinese immigrants were also working in the fields because they were cheap labor because they were foreigners with no citizenship rights. But then a lot of the Chinese immigrants pivoted to owning their own grocery stores. They were able to sell to both white people and Black people. And while they made up a very small population of the Mississippi Delta, they still contributed and made an impact in the community nonetheless. See all of that history in that documentary through the characters. There is a Chinese community.
This is a store that I grew up in many, many years ago. We lived in the back of the store before we bought another house.
Like most of the Delta Chinese of the time, Sally's parents opened and ran a grocery store. The Chinese originally came here to work in the cotton fields. With the end of slavery, plantation owners could no longer depend on the free labor of slaves. So they looked to the Chinese, who were cheap, disposable, and politically voiceless.
When I think about how the Chinese came and just settled in the Delta from Memphis to Vicksburg, I mean, just look at it. It really filled a particular need because nobody else wanted to do it.
These stores played a uniquely important role in the segregated South, serving the Black community when the white community wouldn't.
When I think about
Frida's family store in Min Sang started out in the 1930s as 2 different buildings across the street from each other, one serving Black people, the other serving white people. Neither Black nor white, the Chinese community found themselves in the middle.
it was like a 3-lane road.
So real quick, I guess to just kind of give it a little bit of backstory, it was a Chinese family in the movie, and it was so crazy because when like when you heard the Chinese lady speak, her and her daughter, it kind of caught me off guard because I was like, how they kind of sound black. But even listening to this lady, like, I mean, she's a Chinese woman, like a real, this is not an actress. This is somebody who actually is Chinese, who lived in Memphis. So it kind of just lets you know where it's like, I get it now. Like when you kind of think about it, like when a movie was on and originally came in my brain, I was like, why they sound like this? But then it kind of made more sense where it's like, okay, if they were born and raised in Memphis, yeah, you know how to speak your language, but realistically, you are going to have a Southern drawl to it because everybody around you talk with a Southern drawl. So it kind of made sense. But off the rip, I was kind of like, oh, why the hell does lady sound like that? So it did kind of throw me for a loop, but it did, like I said, it made a lot of sense. And then again, I mean, of course, like, the crazy thing about this Sinners movie is if you can kind of take it into what happened in like the last 7 days, just like in Black culture, from Shannon Sharpe to even to the Shedeur stuff, like it would kind of made you sit here and think like a little bit to the point where like I can make a tie into all of it, like where one of Michael B. Jordan's characters where he was dating a white woman, where it was kind of just like, and the white woman was his downfall, like he ended up becoming a vampire because of this white woman. And the crazy thing is I don't necessarily know if people even paid attention to really was listening, because I didn't hear like when I've heard other people talk about it, I don't necessarily know if people paid attention that Michael B. Jordan's character was a pimp and he sold the girl to a white man. Like if you really listen to their dialogue when they first met back up with each other at the train station, it's like I'm listening to what he was saying to her, like how he loved her, but like I knew I wasn't gonna never be here for you, I wasn't gonna stay here, so I made sure that I put you with somebody, like what the case may be. So I was kind of like, damn, that's crazy that, all right, this, you sound, from listening to what him saying and how he was talking to her, it sounded like he was a pimp and he was really money hungry. And even to their downfall of why they end up becoming vampires was because they were money hungry. And that's kind of how he trained her brain to be like, let me go get some money out of these people. So like even that saying and the way they were talking, it kind of like, oh damn, was he was real live, really pimping her at one point in time. So just listening to all of that and let that be said, like I said, that could go, I could tie that into the Shannon Sharpe part. And then even when we're talking about the Shedeur thing, it kind of made me think of like, why do sometimes we be so geeked to kind of just like, and I understand everybody got their own dreams of whatever you want to do and how big of a platform you want to play on. Like if I'm tying this into like Shedeur, even to the movie, where it's like, but do you sometimes have to chase, I guess, how people was painting it to you? And that, like I said, I could tie that into the movie, because in the movie it was like it was the older man who was playing the harmonica, and Michael B. Jordan character was trying to talk him into coming to play for him. And the older dude was like, yeah, I can come and play for you right now. This weekend, you may have $20 for me this weekend to come and play for you. But are you going to have $20 next weekend, the day after that, this, that, and the third? Because I've been playing at this other place for the last 10 years. And they'd have my money every weekend. And I know for a fact they're going to be here for the next 10 years. And they'll be here. If I can live another 10 for the next 20 years, they're going to be here consistently with my money on the weekend. And the reason why I said I can tie that into, sometimes I think we got to think about this, because that's all I kept thinking about with Shedeur. I'm like, bro, you're such a big, your name is so big and this story is so big. If you go undrafted, I would kind of just would have been like, screw it, go to the UFL. Like, that's how popular you are. Like, you got to think about it. More people were concerned and talking about Shedeur Sanders than he got drafted, 140. They talk more about him than the other 143 players that got drafted before him. Like, if I'm Cam Ward, I'm the #1 draft. You know how blown I would be? Like, that's nowhere. Like, just think about it. Nobody in no other NFL draft ever have you ever heard somebody ever get talked about more than the #1 draft pick. Like, you never, like, you heard last year, all you heard was Caleb Williams. And that's why Jalen Daniels kind of just came through out of the clutch, out of nowhere, because nobody wasn't talking about nobody else besides the #1 draft pick. So realistically, for the 104th, so that's kind of made me think, like, sometimes are we so caught up into what you already kind of, I guess, what's already set in stone for you, or what you think is set in stone, where it's like, could you go do something else if you kind of wanted to, if you sit here and just like, all right, let me kind of bet on myself. Am I really as popular as I am? But I don't want to sit here and rush into that conversation. But that was just something that I kind of was thinking of watching a movie. Like, what's a different spin to it? Because it's like I said, this movie has so many layers. Like, I can tell you about the whole jump and it still wouldn't be. It's literally like listening to like a Jay-Z song. I think some of the real messaging between the movie actually won't sit into you until you probably got to realistically, to me, you're going to need a good 2 watches, or the first time you watch it, you're going to have to be able to pause it and really be able to break down, like, what's the meaning behind this? What are they really saying? Like, I do think realistically, to me, if I'm Ryan Coogler, he should probably really realistically do it. Like, I understand he done a lot of interviews already, but I probably would have broke some of them jump down and waited until people seen him and did more other interviews like next month, so people can really get a real ask you questions, and the movie is sitting. You're not doing spoilers at that point, where so everybody who going to see it already seen it and kind of have real breakdown on what it actually meant. Because it was just like, damn, that movie had so many. Like, I'm talking about, it was layered to a different type of, like, it had so many different layers in it too. And shout outs to Preacher Boy. I'm not gonna lie to you, his level, like, even when you just go off of just looks, like, he didn't. And when we talked about, and it's so funny because when we was talking about like Big X the Plug last week, it's like when you were saying, his voice fit that. Like, I'm looking at this dude and I'm like, bro, he just don't, like, his back, like the way he sound, it didn't fit his back. Like, he was such a small, skinny, like, country boy, but his, like, he had one of those strong, deep blues voices where it was like, damn, when you heard him sing, it kind of just captured people. And shout out to the lady who played his girlfriend in that movie, where she looked good as shit, and she could sing her ass off. And it was just like the party, like when they even actually got to performing the music in the club, and it was just like, it gave you one of them feelings where you just wanted to get out your seat and goddamn dance with it. And that just kind of, it's just so cool to let you know, like, how Black people could realistically just turn nothing into something and make it just so fire. And that to me was like one of the coolest things about that whole movie. It was just like, bro, they literally took like a bond shed and turned that joint into a club, like, and it was just literally, and the joint was real live lit. So like I said, if you haven't seen Sinners already, I just highly recommend it. I don't feel like I did no crazy real spoilers to it, because I feel like you can't do no real spoilers. Again, I would debate anybody who really probably need to see this movie at least 2 times to get a real digest of what was going on in that movie. From just, even that's why I say, like, with the vampires thing, that to me was more of just like, again, tying it into just the whole situation, even with Shedeur this weekend. It was kind of like, it was like the white dude was like, hey, you know, we do stuff a little bit better. You should come and just pay attention to how we got it going on, and we can just help you live forever and do whatever. And you just heard that all weekend. It was just like, all right, dog, y'all got it. Like I said, that's a movie I just highly recommend it, especially with the way in Black culture went throughout from Monday to today at Sunday, like the last 7 days, kind of tying that in, like I said, to Shannon Sharp, tying that into Shedeur Sanders. Like, I feel like that movie has so many different layers and breakdowns to just a must see. So like I said, if you haven't seen it already, please go see it. I think that was majority of my takes from Center. I do kind of want to get into I mean, I guess we can get into Shedeur now, and then we can get into Shannon Sharp. I do. I guess realistically, for the most breaking news, the newer news into the whole Shedeur Sanders thing. Of course, people seeing the prank call that was going viral, and because they was doing a live stream. They was on a live stream, and the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons' son did a prank call on Shedeur Sanders, and he was recording it. So like he record, I'm sure on the other end somebody recording it. They thought it was funny and thought everybody was just going to laugh, but I don't think that they and let's be clear. Do I think the joke may have been funny if he didn't go down as far? Or do I think the joke would have been funny if this was like, let's just say if he was supposed to go in the first round, maybe top 5, and then he ended up going like 20 and you do it? Yeah, but I think him going to the 5th and then people starting to feel like, all right, y'all just playing in our face at this point. That is why the joke didn't go. That's why the joke kind of just literally people was like, all right, cool. This ain't, one, it's not funny when people seen it. And this is 2, why the Atlanta Falcons had to come out and apologize, why he had to come out and apologize. And I do think realistically his dad probably should lose his job, because it's just like, bro, you can't shit what?
You can't control that. You saw
how
it in
did
a
he get the number?
in a text message, in a text thread. If you know your parents' information or anything like that, you just looked over it. He said, nobody had that number. It was only sent out for the teams or whatever the case may be. So if somebody sent it out, anybody could have came across that. So for you to say I lose my job because my son saw the email, how? It ain't like it's top secret, it ain't like this.
But if your son can get that, then people gonna be sitting here and say, what else information could your son get?
Right, but that's just somebody. You acting like this, not like even like you not to put it in the to like politics, but you talking about some federal, some information like the shit that's blacked out that you're not supposed to see, but somebody cell phone number, like not for me to lose my job.
I mean, it depends on how much the Atlanta Falcons want, and it depends on if the NFL gonna press it, because that will kind of the reason why I sit here and say that he could easily lose his job, because I think a lot of people want to know is then one, how did your son get the number, and then two, why did your son think it was okay to call the number? Like if the Falcons was like it, because now it makes it just seem like that whole thing was just too fishy, because it was like what made your son even think?
But the Falcons wasn't even looking for him.
So that's everybody's point.
But that's what I'm saying. But if you sending out a email with like, hey, this is the contact information if you thinking about selecting them, right? So for like I said, anybody can be in those rooms or whoever they had, fan, whatever in those rooms. So for somebody to get that email or even to see that email, you can't just be like, oh, well, nah, you deserve to lose your job. It's not that top secret.
I hear you, but let's trust and believe. A perfect example, the way that you can even tie this into government, because even somebody in the chat just said that's a security breach. The same way when people sit here and was getting mad at Hunter Biden for the emails and shit like that. You cannot say, bro, this is your job. Your kid can't just be in put this. Your son ain't a part of the team. He don't get paid for this shit. How you get somebody's number? Why is your son in that information? Why is that information just so loosey-goosey in your house, where your son could just sit here and feel like, and that make people sit here and think like, oh, y'all knew as a whole in the collective that y'all was playing with these people in their face, and that's why your son thought it was okay to call him. Because how your son ain't know that y'all wasn't going to draft him? So that's the whole point. Like, you can't sit here and make it just seem like, oh, this is just some okay random shit to do. Like, hell no, it's not. You cannot, like, dog, you've never seen nobody do that. You can't sit here and make us be like, oh, and for listen to what I'm saying. I'm to the point now to where when we come to sports, I'm not here to sit here and tell nobody who you can like, who not to root for. But all I'm sitting here telling y'all is, you can't sit here and tell me y'all did game days for these people listen to what I'm saying. And you gotta think, but to this point, I kind of even looked at it was like, damn, I wish Dion at this, for the way they treated Shedeur, you might as well just stayed at the HBCU for all that. Like the way that they played with him and how low that they took him, you might as well stay at the HBCU. But there's no way in hell you telling me for the last 2 years they did college game day. ESPN did a jump there. Fox Sports did one there. You can't sit here and tell me y'all did all of this hype and they was getting all of this conversation and clout that y'all was like. ESPN don't do college. Guess what they're not going to do? They're not going to sit here and do college game day just for teams that nobody don't care about, or for players that nobody don't care about. If they sit here and take their time out to do these around teams and players that people actually care about. So you can't tell me this was all this hype on this boy, and then mysteriously now he that trash. Like I said, I'm not here to sit here and we just talking about business and marketing. Nobody wastes that type of business or that type of marketing on nobody that's going to sit here and damn near almost go undrafted. Like, it don't even happen. Like, I'm surprised, like, Gatorade and Nike ain't kind of put their nuts down on the ground. Like, bro, y'all about to sit here and tell us we got a whole commercial running to somebody who ain't even about to get drafted? Like, that don't make sense. Like, you can't even explain that to make sense to nobody. Besides sitting here saying, oh, y'all playing in our face right now. Like, you sitting here you cannot sell me. This basically almost damn near like we could tie this into dating or tie this into sex. Like a girl sitting here telling you all the freaky stuff she gonna do to you, and then y'all finally get to the bedroom and then she just don't want to do nothing. Like, she just want to lay there and be a pillow princess. So like that, like, bro, you sold me this product all for 2 years. Y'all sold me on Shedeur. And listen to what I'm saying. And this is how crazy it is and how just dumb people are, and just how you know, again, when I say you can tie it in the centers, no, that's how you know how many black people are just okay with whatever massa tell you, because it's nowhere in hell in what planet and we live in. I don't know how old everybody is, but you've been watching sports for your whole entire life. When the hell did the wide receiver get more clout than the quarterback? On no team. Nigga, Jamar Chase be bowling his ass off, and who still get all the credit? Joe Burrow. Unless you sit here, there's the only nigga that I can sit here and honestly
he played both sides of the field.
What do that mean? He ain't on both sides of the field?
I thought that's what they was drafting for defense. They say they might let him play. I didn't think I thought that's what they were drafting for cornerback. I didn't think they were drafting for wide receiver.
He got drafted for both. So
that's what I'm saying. So,
for both.
But it's not like he was just a wide receiver. He played on both sides.
Yeah, but we not about to make it like he was a cold-blooded dog on the defensive side, and even like he was locking niggas down. Like, don't listen. I'm saying, I don't want to see it, and that's why I said people don't want to have a conversation, because I nobody trying to sit here and shit on Travis Hunter. But I'm just calling a spade a spade. Ain't no way on God's green earth I've been living. The only wide receiver I've seen get more clout than the quarterback is Randy Moss, and Travis Hunter ain't fucking Randy Moss. So we not about to say
what's his name did? Marvin Harrison. Didn't he get caught last year? He got drafted. He got took.
You said who?
Marvin Harrison's son. He got took higher than his quarterback.
What you talking about? Who was the quarterback?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. You saying a wide receiver don't get
So you're missing the. Okay, even just listen. I'm glad you sit here and use that. I'm telling you now, we can sit here and you can even just off of physical attributes, Google Marvin Harrison size, height, and body style, and Travis Hunter. Them two niggas shouldn't even be in the same conversation. So that's all I'm sitting here telling you is, yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. Travis Hunter ain't Marvin Harrison Jr. Let's just be clear. That's all I'm saying. There is not a wide receiver on God's green earth, on nowhere, on no planet, especially in the NFL, that niggas talk about the wide receiver more than they talk about the quarterback. So there's no way in hell that the wide receiver go number 2. Who? Yeah, Travis.
So I mean, what that comes with it. You won the Heisman.
Listen to what I'm saying. All of that is cool.
I never, like you said, for him to win the Heisman and Shedeur wasn't even mentioned in the Heisman. Right?
Yes, he was. He was a finalist.
I don't know. Mikey, what I'm asking, was he in it? I thought it was just what's the name? The Cam Ward dude, him, and the running back. I thought those was the 3 finalists.
They might have been the 3 finalists, but I'm talking about when it was 5 people left and then it was to selection. It was Shedeur, it was Cam Ward, and it was the running back. And realistically, it was a 2-man race. It was only the running back and Travis Hunter. But also, I don't care. Even still with that, the fucking running back still went 5. My whole point is, even if he was in that conversation, or even for the realistically, the way you was promoting Cam Ward, you promoted Cam Ward on, oh, should you take Shedeur? Should you take Cam Ward? So there's no way the number 1 pick, okay, that's who you was comparing him to. That's who you was using to promote the number 1 pick, because more people probably watch more. And I'm not talking about people. If you are a diehard college football fan, I'm not talking to. We talking about to the casual person who sit here and literally only may pay attention to what ESPN is talking about or what College Game Day. That's what we talking about. We talking about people who literally watch, dog. And this is again why I sit here and say it's cool. Like if we're gonna sit here and say we only going off of stats, and because I remember somebody in that listened to the show and I posted on Instagram, he was in the comment section, was like, all right, let's just sit here and call it spade. If you saying he mid, though, I made endless videos of this man throwing for 400+ yards. So if he mid because you saying his conference mid, then cool, let's keep that same energy for whatever athlete we talking about. And we're gonna go judge off of just strict competition. So let's even we talking about women's, men's basketball, college football, whatever. Then if they don't play in the SEC, then everything else is mid. Everybody else conferences, they only play maybe one other good team. So that's what I'm sitting here saying. So we sit here, just if you sitting here taking away because his conference wasn't strong or he didn't play in a strong conference, then cool, do that with everybody. But that's why I sit here and say we just pick and choose what you will sit here and be like, all right, I'm cool with, okay, the stats matter, this matter, and that matter. You can't sit here and tell me that I know for a fact. I have to play this clip of what's this white nigga name? Colin Cowherd. I'm like, bro, just listen to what he said. Like, bro, like, what the fuck are we talking about, dog?
Ever a bad message to tell your kids, be humble. Don't gas your kids up too much. He is a 500 quarterback who couldn't get drafted in the first round. Bro, you wore New York Giant cleats. I know in society, everybody loves the TikTok watch thing. You know who doesn't apparently love it? NFL executives. You're drafting employees. Can we just go back in society where hard work matters and humility's not uncool? Is humility the worst thing? You gotta put legendary everywhere. How about you play a game? One. Just give me one game, and then you can put legendary all over your house. I don't care.
So again, like I said, though, just I'm cool on those white people, dog, and that be the shit to be throwing me off. And then that will make. And then when people say stuff like that, and you hear me say, "Oh, you just don't know. Listen to what we talking about." So he can't put legendary on this stuff, but LeBron James came fresh out of high school, didn't play a lick of college basketball or nothing. He had the chosen one on his back, and everybody and their mother ate it up. Like, dog,
but he showed it though. We saw what he did.
What you saw? What
we
him
saw
doing?
Him do
high
it.
School, right?
Yes, we saw him do it. We saw him in the Capital class. You saw him play. He was the truth. You saw him do it. Like I said, I feel like what probably hurt it Shedeur a lot is, oh, you didn't compete in the Columbine. You didn't play in the bowl game. The last game you saw was against BYU, and you stunk it up. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like you put it on like, oh, I'm bigger than life, and they showed you that you wasn't that. That's what I'm. That's more of the. All right, I got to prove them that I'm the truth. I belong here. That's how you got to take it as.
I'm cool with it if you sit here saying you punishing him because he didn't do the Columbine and all that. I'm sure if they could redo some of the things that they may have done, yeah, you could easily sit here and say you may have.
Because remember how many times Deion said, "Oh, well, he's not going to Cleveland," and then he still ended up going to Cleveland.
No, listen to what I'm saying. Do I think is in certain parts of, and I'm gonna play this last little clip before we get off this topic. Do I think that maybe they took some missteps, or maybe kind of thought that they were bigger than the program with certain things, saying what school teams you wasn't gonna go to or you wasn't gonna do this. I'm sure if he could redo a lot of that stuff, maybe he would. Like maybe he would sit here and do the Columbine and do this, that, and the third. Like, and let's be clear, I don't think he's the only player who's never have.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of players, but I think when you have like with Caleb Williams, I don't think he tried out with every team. He knew he was going first, so he only tried out for Chicago.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. I get that, but if you didn't have a mutual agreement, or you knew that, hey, I'm going to you blackballing yourself, not showing everybody else why they should pick you. Because if you figure, I know what's name going to take me, but you really didn't want to go to Cleveland, or you didn't want to go to New York, if you're not sitting there, you should have showed out for everybody.
Like I said, if those stories is true and he did do those things, I do think that those things may have came back to bite him in the butt. But to sit here and say, bro, he had too many games where he threw 400 yards. Too many games he threw in Division I college football for over 400 yards. Like, and let's be clear, and maybe his skill set is not to the point where if this was maybe 10 years ago, where it's just like a cool black quarterback and he's a pocket quarterback, they probably would love it. And I do think realistically, I think that was a lot of Dion telling him to just become a pocket quarterback. Because do I think realistically in 2025, the evolution of the black quarterback is extremely through the roof? Because I'm not about to sit here and make it like, do I think this Shedeur Sanders, like, I mean, what we at to the point now, we probably at least got a solid 15 black quarterbacks, if not more than that. Do I sit here and think he a top 15 black quarterback in the NFL right now? Hell no. Do I think he should be in the conversation? He shouldn't even be in the conversation with Justin Fields right now. No, I don't believe that. But do I sit here and can I still sit here and know for a fact that they sit here and played in this nigga face? Because it's like, it's too easy to sit here and discredit him and say, oh, well, he should have did it this and that game. Because if that's the case, that's all I'm sitting here saying is, if we going to judge that off of this, then let's keep that on the same board of everything else. Okay, he didn't win, or he didn't do this in the last game, they got blown out, because we can do that with a lot of other athletes. A lot of them. And like, nigga, with any sport, only one person can win the championship. So we can go down, you can pick whatever don't you want to see and say. So is that the case?
No,
so are we going to sit here and say Cooper Flag is ass?
But I think, but he still competed. He got to the Elite Eight. He didn't get to the Final Four, right? He got to the Elite Eight. So we still seen him do something. So that's what I'm saying. I think, like I said, it's what you last did. If you left a bad taste in my mouth, the last film I got on you was terrible. I'm going off of that. And then you don't show up in the Columbine. So what else am I going off of? Like I said, you got to think about it. What you did in college and what you do in the pros is two different things. Like, remember how they was on Johnny Manziel, this, all this, boom, boom, boom. And then when he got to the league, he was the biggest thing. He was supposed to be the biggest thing. And then look, he was out the league right in a blink of an eye. I feel like a lot of players like, oh, we're not going to sit here and keep wasting it on you, what you showed us or what you told us. We got to actually see it. And I don't think he won enough or did enough for him to solidify his spot.
I mean, I hear you. All I just sit here and say, if that's gonna be the comp of how people judge athletes in general, judge everybody like that. That's all I'm just saying. If you're not going off of popularity, you're not going off of nothing, then we just going off of what I've seen and when the last time I seen you play, and I seen you play in the big moments, then judge everybody off that same situation. Don't sit here and just make it like, okay, this is just a Shedeur thing.
I think a lot of teams are going to do that. Like I said, that's why I say I feel now because like even with them hype, like shit. Remember Mikey Williams? Like remember how he was the biggest thing talked about? What's name? Now you forget he even playing basketball right now. You don't hear him besides when he got in that little case he had. You don't hear him about him playing basketball.
Yeah, but that's because of the case.
But he's still been playing. He still has been playing. He played his college years.
This year was his first year. This year was his first year. Now he in the transfer portal. He went to some rant. Yeah, no. What you mean again? This is only his first time. Memphis cut him.
No, he went to UFC, right? He went to Florida. He went to Central Florida. That's where he's playing at.
Yeah, that's it. He only played 1 year.
He transfer again? No, you said he is in the portal now.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know he was in the portal again.
What you keep saying again? When was the first time?
With Memphis. He went to Memphis.
They cut him. He didn't get to go, nigga, because of the charge. That's my point. Like you'll be just like
no. Hold up. So where did the HBC? So he went to the HBC.
He didn't go nowhere, nigga. He never got to play. His first year playing college basketball was this year.
Well, what was the HBC? Didn't he say he said he was going to HBCU? HBCU.
He wanted to go to a HBCU. Then
he changed it and went to Memphis.
He never
got to play in Memphis, and last year was his first year
playing in Florida.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I didn't know. But that's what I'm saying. For him to go in the transport portal again.
What are you talking about again? It's his first time. He never went nowhere else. He didn't play nowhere else.
Oh, so he didn't commit to the HBCU?
No, he just was talking. I thought he committed to him.
I thought he committed to the HBCU. No, he just was talking. I thought he committed to him. I thought he committed to the HBCU. Oh, so he didn't commit to the HBCU? No, he didn't commit to the HBCU. No, he just was talking.
Again, like I said, that's all I'm just saying is for everybody listening, just remember that it don't matter about your hype and all of this. So when they sit here, when we got 2 fucking weeks, when they sit here and tell you, oh, well, such and such bring all these views, it don't matter about the views. It don't matter how popular you is. It depends on what you do on the actual whatever court or field you play on. It don't matter how popular you is. None of that shit don't mean nothing. Come in and humble. Don't sit here and do the shiny watches and all that other shit. Because okay, cool. If he wasn't in that draft and he wasn't doing all that, niggas wouldn't care, and nobody don't care no other time. People don't be talking about the NFL draft like that. You talk about whatever player your team picked. Niggas don't be that invested like they was this year invested. And that's why I see and say I could pick a white nigga. I could pick him, and every last one of them gonna say the same shit that Colin Cowherd was saying. I'm gonna play this other dude. Listen, all I'm sitting here telling you is they basically sit here and told you, hey, you're gonna do what we say, you're gonna present the way we want you to present, or we're gonna sit here and cut your lights off. And my only thing is cool. If y'all know that now, then from now on, sit here still in the back of your mind, sit here and say you can go to the UFL because that's all the UFL would need. Because I be watching them games, nigga. Them shits be, and that's the difference between. And I think that is to me, if I'm especially a football player, do not let this discourage you from building your brand, because that's all the UFL need is a star. Because I promise you, if he would have went undrafted, he would go play for I just don't know none of these players, but it's still football. And I could be honest, that level of defense, because I kept watching that and I've been tweeting about it. I'm like, damn, I've been watching a couple UFL games. Do all these games be this low? No, the highest score game that I seen. No, them Jones been low. Like I didn't watch for 2 weeks now, maybe even 3 weeks now. Because today, like this was the first game I actually seen a high scoring jump. Was it was DC versus Texas? I think the Arlington, Texas, they got a football team, and DC got their team. This was like the highest scoring game I seen. But realistically, I don't know none of these players. So all they need realistically is a star player. So some listeners sit and say if Shedeur would have went undrafted, I guarantee you if he go play in the UFL, niggas is going to watch the same way with Unravel. People are going to watch because hey, I know it's not. I don't need the WNBA. I can go play somewhere else, and they was competing against the NFL playoffs and the NBA all of that time. So imagine if they would sit here and say, "I'm gonna do a competitive league, play against the WNBA during the summertime when ain't shit else going on."
Yeah, but I think that's your dream is to be in the NFL. I don't.
That's why I understand. I understand. Listen to what I'm saying. I listen to what I'm saying. I understand because listen to what I'm saying. I get it. I understand it because it's a dream. But sometimes you can't sit here and allow your dream to just neuter who you are as a person either. Just because it's my dream, that don't mean for me to sit here and say, let me just go get neutered. Because that's basically what they telling you is like, you ain't a good old boy. You need to get neutered. You told you with the big chains and the watches. Like, what the fuck do any of that matter?
Still a job.
All of them had chains on.
But I get you. You keep saying the chain, but I think if you sit here and present to me, hey, I don't have to take my chance with that. I don't have to give you that money. It's still a job. It's still, like I said, me taking you. I don't believe that you really what you are. That's all I'm saying. They don't believe in them. Now, if you got to go out here and show that you are him, then that's what you do.
Do you believe the quarterback y'all got better than him?
What quarterback? No, he's not even gonna make the team.
All right.
Well, what do we take? That's what I'm saying. He was not something that we needed.
What you mean? You think you got a quarterback?
Okay. Do you want to bet? How much?
Yeah, I will bet whatever you want to bet. You don't have a black quarterback. You know I will bet you that.
Okay. Well, we didn't have black quarterback before. What is the difference?
All right.
How much you want to bet? What you want to say now?
You make it.
How many games? What you saying? How many games we gonna win?
Whatever on your.
Stop saying make it whatever. No, you tell me what you want to bet. We don't win 10 games. What are you betting?
Did you win 10 games last year?
Yes, we won 10 games last year. And the year before that.
Don't worry about it. I
bet shock within the NFL and team buildings when Shedeur Sanders did not go in the first round. I would fairly tell you it is a surprise that he is still on the board at the start of day 3. Philosophically, some teams feel like if you are drafted at the quarterback position specifically, if you think you've got a starter, you take him in round 1. If you're drafting somebody to be your backup, you don't want to do that until day 3. I spoke last night with one general manager who is considering taking Shedeur Sanders today. He pointed back all the way to March 2024 and something that Shedeur's father, Deion Sanders, said on a podcast talking about both Shedeur and Travis Hunter, saying that if they are drafted by a team that they don't want to go to, he's going to step in and pull an Eli, meaning force those players to not actually go to that team and try to get them traded. Throughout the pre-draft process, Shedeur Sanders very much proceeded as if he was dictating to clubs where he was going to go rather than how the draft works, which is the other way around. And there were a bunch of opportunities missed at the various checkpoints through that pre-draft process. Go all the way back to All-Star season. Instead of going to the Senior Bowl, he went to the East-West Shrine Bowl in his backyard in Dallas. Despite an NFL memo saying if you go to these All-Star games, you have to practice, Shedeur chose not to. at the combine. It is now well documented. Some of his formal interviews did not go well. One assistant coach told me in all his years, it was the worst formal interview he'd ever been through. People said that Shedeur was trying to dictate how he wanted things to go and made them feel small. Even at the pro day, the entire Big 12 had an event in Dallas. Shedeur was there, but did not work out. He had a showcase instead in Colorado, all of which is to say, for a player who had a variety of questions, both about the talent level, how he would fit into an NFL system, how he would adjust from his play style in college, but also about the potential culture shock of, for the first time, playing for someone who is not his father. There were opportunities that Shedeur Sanders could have taken there. He seemed to feel as if he was in an elite category where he could choose the few teams he wanted to go to. Now some of those very same teams that might be considering taking Shedeur today didn't get those opportunities to answer their questions.
What teams want on these visits, and we can debate, whether they should, but what they want is to hear a player that is coachable, that is willing to accept information, that is willing to adapt when they're being asked to adapt. He didn't communicate that on a lot of these visits. Again, we could debate this, but I'm just telling you that that's what these teams got, and that's what Tom is communicating.
So, like I said, shout out to Shedeur Sanders. And for most black people, if you really into the hip hop take, Shedeur Sanders already won before the draft. When I seen him with Sincere, Jesus Christ, bro, you already won at life, dog. And that was my only point, and that's the reason why I sit here and say with the UFL thing, where it's like some shit to be like, cool. If I understand, if that was your dream and that's been your dream your whole entire life, that you got to go play in the NFL.
Who was she attached to?
Who?
Because I heard somebody was saying,
I think her and London on the track dated at one point in time, and I guess they tried to bring up her. I don't even care. Let me tell you how. Listen, and again, we can kind of tie this into Shannon Sharp in 2 seconds. I don't care whatever their age gap is because it ain't that dramatic. This girl ain't in her 40s.
It ain't.
So this is what I'm saying. And then you gotta understand.
I think she's 28 and he.
Like 20, fucking 20. Oh, exactly. So that's my point. So that was just somebody hating that girl. I knew for a fact. I didn't even. That's what I'm saying. I got 2 eyes. Was not going to Google how old she was because I knew she wasn't 40, and I knew if she was 30, she had to be 30 on the nose.
Yeah,
that girl is fine as hell, and she is fat as all outdoors. Shout out to Shedeur Sanders. I don't give a goddamn what team you did or would not have got drafted to, nigga. If you could have laid up and you're sitting here in your sympathy box with some from sincere, nigga, you won in life. If you sitting here saying day one you didn't get drafted and you sit here and need some sympathy cheeks or some sympathy neck, I would take that from sincere than getting draft number 1, 2, fucking. I don't care, dog.
She could just dance for me. Shit,
so that's what I can say. So shout out to Shedeur Sanders, and like I said again, my only thing to everybody. I think to me, my biggest learning lesson was you kind of just got to pay it. You have to do your own homework. One, I always tell y'all, you got to watch sports on your own. You got to watch whatever shows or listen to whatever music you want on your own, because sometimes people will have their own bias when they talk about you. Because you can see clear as day, you can hear, like, I play all the clips from different white people, but if I sit here and go play Stephen A. Smith went absolutely in crazy on the NFL, and everybody else would try to tell him something else different. So that's my whole point of it, is like, you just got to pay attention to where you get your information from. And it's so easy for, if you don't, I think realistically for people, why it was so much pushback and why people see him was up in the uproar, because y'all can't, dog. Niggas don't forget that they stayed up until 1 o'clock in the morning watching this nigga play football, dog. A college football game, like nobody ain't gonna forget that fucking Colorado versus Colorado State the first year they was there. Nobody gonna forget. For most people, especially if you live in the state of Maryland, dog, that whole FanDuel and all that stuff got legal like right around the same time that college football season started. So for most people, their first big hit was off of the strength of Colorado. So it's like, I can't forget all of those things. And I think that's why so many people are so invested in it. It's kind of like, yeah, if this was any other time, if this was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago in the NFL draft, I got to listen to what Colin Cohort say. I got to listen to what any of these other people say. But I always tell people, that's why when even people say, when they use the word casual, bro, it's 2025. If you actually care about anything, you can't be a casual to nothing, because you can get everything for free. It's endless apps. I'm not going to tell y'all none because y'all already fucked up the Stream East jump. Like that, y'all annoyed the hell out of me because that was my favorite app to use. Like that joint is completely dog shit now. But that's my whole point of it is, but you can literally watch whatever sport, whatever TV show you want. You can listen to whatever music you want. If you actually are passionate about something, there's no reason that you can't watch it. And I don't because I don't want to stay on sports no more. I want to get into Shannon Sharp, but I'm gonna tell y'all because I'm just gonna double down on it before we transition over. I told y'all niggas who watch the Lakers or call yourself Lakers fans, you don't watch basketball. The games come on too late. And they come on too late during work days, and that's why y'all thought that fucking Luka, and that's why I will argue any of you niggas that I know y'all highlight fans. Luka, if you watch highlights, yes, Luka was a better trade for Anthony Davis. But if you actually watch basketball and you know anything about basketball, you know for a fact that that trade was horrible. And guess what it is now? You have to watch it in real time, and that's why the Minnesota Timberwolves is up 3-1, and that's why Nas Reed is busting the Lakers' ass. That's it, and that's all, dog, because he ain't got to play defense on the other end. And LeBron James is fucking old, and he have his moments where you clear as day can see this nigga is old. He be having some jokes where be like, damn, this old nigga still got it. And then certain times, bro, I seen him get a steal, and he slowed down on a break to look for a pass. And never on the previous 18 years before we get to 22. If we talking about LeBron, 18 years, and dog, he would have threw that shit down every time. When I seen, I said, oh, this nigga old for real. He slowed down. He got a steal and slowed down and slowed it down to look to kick the ball. I'm like, bro, why you ain't go to the rock? But again, I got to remember, nigga, he's 40. This is year 22 for him. But again, like I sit here and say, if you were somebody, and I told y'all this when the trade happened, Anthony Davis plays both sides of the ball at an elite level. He sit here and get blocks. He get rebounds. He gets steals. He impacts the game more than just highlights. Luke, let's be clear. Even this game, Luka had a lot of highlights, dog.
No, and I think it's more of the long term than it is for right now.
But you here? Why would I? But listen to us. Fuck the long term. We here right now. This is it. This was your chance. You could have been a championship contender team. I'm telling you, if Anthony Davis was on this Lakers team right now, they would have beat the brakes off the Minnesota Timberwolves. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because guess what? Nas Reed don't got to waste no effort. You can sit here and tell, like, and JJ Redick is an idiot. Like, bro, he kept playing small ball, and you got all these niggas spacing the floor. Though nobody inside, ain't nobody banging. So it's niggas shooting threes, and then they go for a long rebound.
That's the NBA.
Now they the NBA now. You ain't been watching no goddamn playoff game. This is the lowest scoring playoffs in God knows how long. What you mean?
Because they ain't hitting, but they still shooting them.
You ain't watching
just like that Detroit and New York game. What are you talking about?
Are you watching?
Yeah, I watched the game. Yes, they shot threes. The New York Detroit game, right?
Mm-hmm.
The last 4 minutes of that. How many times did they miss?
Can I ask you a question? So just listen to what I'm saying. Just answer this question. This is a yes or no question. If you've been watching these playoff games, so you feel like this playoff, this is as a playoff whole, you feel like this feel like more modern day basketball. Or you feel like this is closer to the late 90s, early 2000s basketball.
Why? Because they're letting you push. They still shooting threes. What do you mean?
Niggas ain't shooting as many threes as they've been shooting during the regular season. The scores ain't even as high.
Because they're not making them.
All right, dog. Like I said, again,
they're still shooting them. What the hell do you mean? They're not making them.
Cool. And listen, what if you listening to this, or if you're on social media, or you can see everybody and their mother talking about, dog, this feels like 90s and 2000s, early 2000s.
Yeah, because they letting them play, but they still shoot.
Niggas is playing
They're
defense.
not playing defense.
physical.
They just dog.
Right, cool.
That shit's not defense.
Why ain't he defense? If I'm holding you to scoring the 80 point, dog, we in the playoffs and niggas is having 80 point something games. Niggas is playing defense. This is because you ain't used to this style of playing defense, because they up and aggressive and playing physical. Just say that because you ain't used to it. You ain't seen it in a long time.
Who you talking about? I'm a Miami Heat fan. Okay, what do they not play defense? Do they not have low scoring games? What are you talking about?
You're the only person that's saying it. I'm not about to argue with a nigga that's just you because you trying to have your own random ass opinion.
I'm not trying to. What's name had 12? He shot 12 3-pointers. Austin Reeves. Luka shot 12. Hold up, Luka shot 12. Who else on there? LeBron shot 4. What are you talking about? That's not an average. What do you mean? Hachimura shot 10 3-pointers.
So listen.
That's a lot.
Listen, can you listen? Okay, and then I swear to God, we about to change. I don't want to keep talking about sports. Listen to what I'm telling you. If you watch the game, they shot those threes because they couldn't get to the basket. That's why them shits was so low. Austin Reeves didn't even score until the fucking fourth quarter because he could not get past his defender. That's why they were shooting threes, and that's my point. They was playing defense. That's the difference between a nigga sitting here looking at stats and a nigga who didn't watch the game, dog. Don't sit here and argue with me about some shit I watched, dog.
So who's checking Austin Reeves? Who's checking Austin Reeves?
Anthony Edwards.
So who was checking Luka?
And Alexander.
Who?
Alexander.
So who was checking Hachimura?
Whatever the other random nigga is on that team, I don't fucking know his name.
All right. Yeah. All right. They was playing elite defense. They still scored 113 points. That's elite defense. That is elite defense for scoring 113 points. That's elite defense.
In a league when niggas is scoring 150? What are we talking about?
Man, so when the last time you seen somebody score 150?
During the regular season.
Okay, that's the playoffs. It slowed down, Dodo.
All right. I ain't arguing.
Like, what are you talking about?
I know
You just
exactly.
sound stupid.
Okay, because you didn't watch the game, nigga.
No, I
Don't be
watched
mad
the
because I
game.
watched the game and I'm
You
telling
did not.
you for a fact. All right, dog. I'm not arguing with you. You're not
So
about
what was
sit
the
here
score
and
to
tell me, dog.
the New York and Detroit
No,
game?
I don't fucking know because I'm
You
trying to think
watched
of the
the
next
game.
topics that I'm about to talk about. Dog, you're not about to keep asking me random ass questions. I'm telling you the last game that just was on TV before we started recording. That's the game I'm talking about. I'm not talking about something that happened 3 hours ago and I'm trying to talk about the next topic. Nigga, stop doing that dumb shit.
All right, whatever. You got it, boss.
The fuck? So I guess, like I said, moving on to Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp, again, I love to just be able to stay firm on my talking points. I don't waver on them. I don't care who the person is. This is the age gap thing. And I listen to them saying, I seen, and if you are one of those people who be in the comments and be like, oh, is she legal, bro? You're a rapist, dog. And I ain't mean to use that word because they'll sit here and mess your YouTube up. Dog, you can't not sit here and be like, a 54-year-old man dating a 19-year-old woman is out of pocket, dog. I don't care how you try to jace it around. And to be honest, and I kind of want to, I'm not shooting him some bail, but let's just call a spade a spade. When Shannon Sharp look in the mirror, he still feel like he ugly. Because the first thing he sit here and said, when Funny Marco said he looked like, what's that lady name? Or that Miss Nat. When he told him he looked like Miss Nat, the first thing he said, well, that check's still clear and them youngins still love it. Then listen to what I'm saying. And I think sometimes we as men, we don't never be wanting to be real and have those conversations, bro. It's okay to be like, bro, I got insecurities and I have body dysmorphia. When men start using some of the words that women, I know as a man, you don't want to sound soft, so you don't want to use those words. Dog, it's just, it is what it is. Like, there's no other way to sit here and disguise it because there's no other way to, as a man, 50, dog, this girl is, listen to what I'm saying. And you know what's so funny? When I was listening, when I seen the picture of this girl and her OnlyFans came on, I said, oh, Shannon Sharp, this is why you was shooting Caitlin Clark so much bail. This your speed of joke that you would hit. Because, dog, this little flat-chested white girl got no cheeks and no titties, and this is what you was trying to beat down, and you was paying to hit this? There's no way. Are you telling me a man, a multi-millionaire, I'm talking about the most popular you've ever been in your entire life, you sit here wanting to go hit a white girl with no titties, dog?
But ain't he a country boy?
What do that mean?
I'm saying, no, where did he go to school at? I'm just
he's from the country. He's from Georgia.
So I mean, that's part what he used to. That's his speed. I don't,
man. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm Dr. Umar. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. But I'm not about to say it's some white girls that come across my town now. Some of the white girls who be working out, bro. White girls got titties, ass, and legs too. I think they call them wags or wags or I forgot whatever it is, whatever the word definition is for fat white girls. Like, dog, he's literally real life hitting a little boy. That's it. She's born a girl, but if I look at her like, bro, she's built like a little boy. I'm not sitting here paying to hit no goddamn boy. That's what Shannon Sharp basically did. He's spending his hard-earned money. You sit here, and let's be clear. And I think I'm not about to sit here and make it like people not going to still watch Nightcap, or people still he may take a break on Club Shay Shay because that's a little bit more. So if he keep doing Club Shay Shay, he gonna do more athletes, because people who are diehard sports fans, they 9 times out of 10, a lot of them won't see nothing wrong with it. They'll think it's cool because let's be clear, it's a lot of niggas who be in the house who don't get no cheeks. And all I'm sitting here saying is it's okay if you don't get pussy and you got low self-esteem, just say it, dog. I think that will be easier for men. And when men can come out and say, dog, sometimes I look in the mirror and I don't feel like him. Because then that's when people will be like, all right, I kind of get it. But you can't fake beat your chest like you him and then you laying in the bed with that. Because let's be clear, I was one of those black people off the rip. I jumped out the room. As soon as I sit here and seen, oh, it was Busby, I was like, now all I sit here and say is, hey, Shannon Sharp, you reap what you sow. Because the way you make jokes on people and the way niggas criticize Deshaun Watson, you was trying to hit that car like, hey, look what he did to Jay-Z and look what he did to Deshaun Watson. Nah, dog, because y'all niggas kicked Deshaun Watson back in crazy. But now when it's shoe on the other foot and it's you, now you kind of want to sit here and say, well, look, we've seen him tear down other black men and he did this to Jay-Z and he did this, that, and the third. I ain't trying to hear none of that, dog, because I was with you until I seen what you laid in the bed with. Because all that, I take that all away because I can't even feel for you no more. Because there's no way in the hell at 54 years old you should be wanting to clap a white girl with no titties and no ass. This ain't even like this some OD. Like you see this girl and be like when I sit here and we talked about the Diddy and Young Miami thing, I said Diddy was out of pocket, but I got 2 eyes. Because I understood what he was looking at with Young Miami because it's Young Miami. But when I'm sitting looking at Shannon Sharp, like, bro, is you crazy? Like your kids is in their 30s and you hitting a 19-year-old jump with this. I'm gonna keep pushing this on, bro. She don't got no titties, dog. Cool. Like if you're one of them niggas, you ain't looking for the fat ass, bro. She gotta have some titties. Cause you're talking about no titties and no ass. You hitting a boy. That's it. Like you can go get some bussy if you ain't looking for no ass and no titties, dog.
A lot of people were saying that already about him, questioning him. So I mean, that might be. You forget how people was rumoring a lot of shit about him. So that might be.
Man, dog.
That might be it.
I can't believe he went out like that. Like, bro, you watch. Like, dog, do you know how lit Club Shay Shay is? Like, dog, and you hitting a man, stop, dog. Like, that's why nobody is a like, dog. We talking about screw if it's a man, woman, white, black. I don't care who this would be. You could not be this lit and this popular. Just for everybody listening right now. Imagine if you had a YouTube video that got 60 million, maybe 70 million. I ain't looked at that Cat Williams on. Dog, do you know how popular you are? There's 70 million people who have actually seen what you look like before, and you sit here and say, I'm going to go lay in the bed. Though you can't feel sorry for him. If you feel sorry for Shannon Sharpe, you are a fucking loser. That's it. It ain't no, I don't even want to cuss, but that's no other way I can explain this to you, what type of loser you are. I'm telling you right now, life is over for you, dog. I don't care if you 12, 15, 16, 20, 50, 70, 80. If you feel sorry for this man after you seen what he was laying in the bed with him, I'm telling you right now, it's a dub for you, dog. You might as well hang it up and do what you got to do. Go play in the street in middle of rush hour traffic. Because that's what I'm telling you. There's no way in hell you could look at that girl. Like, if this was some fine shit, I'm cool. I would listen to what I'm telling you. If this was a thick ass white girl and she was in her 30s, I would kind of ride for you. I seen Dr. Umar was sitting here trying to shoot him some bill, but I know when Dr. Umar seen that woman, he was like, all right, Shannon, you got it, though. You on your own.
But I mean, he into some freaky
shit. Talk about this.
I think that's probably.
But listen, it's not nothing wrong with being into some freaky shit.
But everybody's not with it, so you got to take who's they with it. You can't, like I said, I get you. You trying you're judging him off of that one person, right? I get that. That's something that he made a mistake on. But at the end of the day, if he's into that, that's the only people that's into that type of stuff. You can't fault him for that's what he like.
But that's not. Listen to him telling you. She ain't the only woman into BDS.
But he probably don't know that, and that's what I'm saying. You trying to be comfortable with what you do and how you do it, so you can't spring that on everybody. Everybody's not with the shit. He might not think people are with it, so he going what he's more comfortable.
So listen, Marcus, you listen to what I'm saying. You said this before, so this is not nothing new. You said if you as a regular working 9-to-5 man with kids, you've been to sex parties before. If you can figure it out, I'm 100% positive Shannon Sharpe could pay 30 people to figure out where he could find something else that ain't 19 without no titties, dog. But you giving this man too much excuses,
but you
dog.
keep giving a lot of niggas credit that they don't have. He's an athlete. You acting like this nigga got super game. Everybody's not attracted. Oh, just because you got money, I'm gonna fuck you. You just said he's not the best looking nigga ever.
Well, then guess what we need to do. If that's the case, if this is the bail we going, if you try to shoot him that bail, then niggas need to sit here and go build a statue of Zion Williams. And you need to praise them niggas now because at least they can figure it out. You can clown Anthony Edwards, you can clown Zion, you can at least listen to what I'm telling you. Maybe besides that Mills girl, everything else, I would have hit everything that they hit. You know what's so crazy? Shout out to Dwight, because Dwight hit me just randomly and paused because I know that sounds crazy for people who don't know who this is I'm talking about. But he was like, man, you know Anthony Edwards, one of his baby mothers from here, and and you know her. And I was like, nah, you lying. And it was so funny because I seen this and it was so crazy. And this is what I do respect about DMV women, like who be knowing people or be actually tied to situations. They keep it P in the comments. Like they will comment on shit, but they won't make it too crazy with it. So if you don't know them, you don't know what's really going on. And I said, when he told me that, I said, hold on, nah. She did comment on one of my Jones recently. Was this the Anthony Edwards video? And it was her and her homegirl, and they was having like a sidebar conversation and now I'm looking at it again. I'm like, oh shit. So then the next time I see the neighbor, I think something happened with Anthony Edwards and one of them baby mothers recently. And I looked at it and I went through it because they showed pictures of all three of them. I'm like, oh, this is really her. So it's like I said, again, if you give a Shannon, dog, it's no way you telling me 20-year-olds know how to find what they looking for, but this nigga, like, come, I'm not giving him that type of bill, dog. Like, he into some freaky stuff, but dog, you gotta sit here and have some type of discipline. And that's what, again, when we always sit here and talk about, oh, why I don't date or why I don't do this and the third, because I got discipline. Shannon Sharpe lacks discipline, dog. For you to have all their muscles and all of that, bro, you lack discipline where it count the most.
Oh, but you act like people don't have a type. He got a type. Dog, the other lady that came out, she's white too.
And listen,
that's what I'm saying. He got a type.
You're missing my point. I'm not even listening to what I'm saying. I'm still firm on the Dr. Umar, Black Queens Forever, Snow Bunnies Never. I'm not even sitting here saying he can't hit no white girls, bro, but it's some white girls. No, he hit Iggy Azalea.
You keep saying that, but
like we talking about, it's white girls that you can hit. I'd rather you go hit. What's the other little stupid girl the white girls have been dissing each other? One of them is John like fat. What's the Alabama girl? If you're gonna go young with some titties and some ass, that's all I'm saying, dog.
So if she had a body, you be fine with it.
Now I still wouldn't be fine with the 19, but I'd be fine if she was 23, 25. Like I would still look at you crazy. But 19, bro, it's a teen behind her name, dog. He got his. Listen to what I'm telling you. His grandkids is closer to her age than he is. That to me is ridiculous, dog. You cannot sit here and be like, bro, you cannot sit and say, I'm going to hit a 19-year-old with this built like a little boy. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like I said, if this was a Kardashian and it was one of the youngest, what's the younger Kardashian? If it was one of them, like, cool, dog. I'm not sitting here, that's what I'm saying. If she was 25 and she was thick as all outdoors and she was white, I don't have no problem with it. I wouldn't even care. This wouldn't be like I would kind of be on this. Listen, I'm telling you, if she was older, she was in her 30s, I would kind of be like, oh, they ambulance chasing you, hitting the Tony Busby or whatever the case may be. But Shannon Sharp just got finessed because he don't got no discipline. And that's why I think so many times when we talk about Tracy Ellis Ross, we talk about Trick Daddy, we talk about all these people, some of these old people think it sounds sweet and it sounds cool because they old and they single. No, until you get caught up in dumb shit like this. Because then everybody, first thing they can be like, oh, you should have been, this is why you should be married. This is why you should have some guaranteed box in the house so you ain't got to be running around doing stupid stuff like that, bro. This man sit here to her 25 bands a cheek, dog. What are we talking about? Like that it's not, no, you can't be, that's ain't not, I'm into some freaky shit. That's a nigga with low self-esteem. You paid you paid a Girl Scout cookie selling motherfucker 25 bands a cheek that ain't even got no cheeks to pay for, dog. Like, are we being serious? Like, what the hell? Like, come on, dog. I'm gonna play Michael Irvin real quick because Michael Irvin got, and listen to what I'm saying. And I think realistically, and I respect people who will sit here calling ESPN like, y'all gotta cancel Christmas on this nigga because y'all fired Paul Pierce for less. And that's it. Like, and I think Shannon Sharp kind of knew that. I think ESPN knew that. It was like, because you had, and real quick, before I even play this clip of Michael Irvin, I do what?
No. Hold on. You say he fired him for because see, because you was on your platform, because he didn't get in trouble for when he did the Michelle joint, right? He didn't get in trouble with that. He didn't get in trouble with that. So you saying he should get fired because of the? Now you saying if he get accused of it, he should get fired, or you just saying
it ain't nothing to get accused for. It's out here like nobody don't need to be knowing about your sexual life like that. Like, you're a Disney employee. ESPN is under Disney.
Okay. I mean, and
listen, just real quick for whoever in the comment section saying it's his. Listen to what I'm telling you. I'm old enough. I'm closer to Shannon Sharp age. I'm old enough to know that, nigga, I'll clown niggas for if you got weak shit. What are you talking about? That's the difference between some of you soft internet niggas. Y'all be okay with just letting niggas do whatever and nobody don't call you out. If you bring some weak shit around me, I'm gonna call you out. If you really black for real, guess what you never do? You ain't coming to your family cookout. Memorial Day, like 3 weeks away. You ain't coming to Memorial Day weekend to your family cookout, bringing that weak ass shit right there. What are you talking about, nigga? Your type gotta be everybody type. And especially if you got bread. What are you talking about? It ain't no your mind. Nigga, shut your soft asses up.
But that's you can't.
I don't know if I can remain real with you guys of knowing that I've had history and I don't say anything about it. And it's not
like, nah, that should be pissed me. There's too many soft niggas out here, dog. Like, no way in hell. You could not know, dog. Imagine if I brought that white woman to a cookout. Eric, imagine if I brought that white woman into your house right now. What the fuck are we talking about, dog? People, dog, you get. That's why. No. Niggas don't have a type if you gotta hide your type. Because if we would have never. If this lawsuit ain't come out, guess what? You would have never known what his type was. If I gotta hide my type, it ain't really my type, nigga. What are we talking about?
Okay.
That's my point. If niggas, when niggas know what your type is for real and what type of time you really on and how you give it up, guess what? Some women know that they won't even go into your DM. They won't even leave no crazy comments because they already know that you out of this. Nah, but if I gotta hide my type, guess what that means? That ain't really my type, and I ain't even confident in my type.
But is he even hiding his type? Because like you've never seen him date anybody.
I'm gonna tell you how you know he hiding his type because everybody in their mother know that he was on what's the Murphy lady name? What's Eddie Murphy old wife name? He was on her body. He let that shit be publicly known that he wanted her bad.
But he ain't have her.
I mean, because look at him. And she rich. And she was Eddie Murphy ex-wife. So she can have some standards. And I think that's to me, that's the bigger conversation is Shannon Sharp know for a fact. Yeah. And to me, if you're gonna spend that type of money, you could have shot your, if women knew that you were spending this type of money, you could have got whatever you want. Because you're spending that type of bread.
But even like listening to the conversation when he was having it with Young Miami, like when she was saying the stuff that she was getting, he was like, "Oh shit, you getting that? Like you getting the burgers on the first date? Like he's probably frugal with his money.
How he frugal with his bread? But he told the bride he's gonna give her 25 bands. That's a bargain. 25 bands are cheap.
Oh, I thought that was more than that.
Number 10.
I thought it was more than that.
It depends on what kind. Like, yeah, if you get into one of them super crazy jumps, but if you spending 20, if you're giving a broad 25 bands, dog, he was sitting here. Right, listen to what I'm telling you. Think about for everybody listening. Think about what type of just in your mind right now. If I gave you $10 million right now, Think about what type of pussy you can get. You ain't even got to be famous. If I just gave you 10 million, you don't even need, we ain't even going into the 6 million, how many millions of people watch Club Shay Shay. If I just gave you $10 million right now, every man can hear my voice right now. I guarantee you for a fact, something popped up to your head, what you would hit, and I guarantee you it don't look like that fucking woman that fucking Shannon Sharp was in the bed with. What are we talking about, dog? You have to bring back shame, dog. Y'all niggas love to shame. Lizzo, y'all love to shame. All these other people. It's okay to shame another man, dog. Get some balls. It's okay to get knocked out. I just think most of y'all be scared to really impress y'all, say what you feel like, because you scared to get knocked out, dog. It's okay to get knocked out. Y'all seen what Craig father tell him on Friday? It's okay, son. Take your ass whooping. Whatever he said, to fight another day. Most of y'all be scared to give your real opinions because you scared to get your jaw tapped, dog. It's okay. Get knocked out one time. Live a little bit. Get shot at. Do something. Do something dangerous so you can feel like you can voice your opinion about men the way y'all try to voice your opinion about women. That's all I'm sitting here telling you niggas. You niggas is too soft for me, dog.
Be you not deceived. I don't want to talk about it. I really don't. Because I work hard to keep it out of my life. I don't even like talking because I don't want to bring it around me. And every man worries about it, or what he's going through. And this is what it is. Because now he's venturing into a place where it's just lose-lose for him. People say, why would you offer $10 million? You must have had something. You must have done something. You must have done something. No, it doesn't mean you're guilty. This is what, and that's a hell of a nuisance value. What a lot of people have to do is have to determine if there's a nuisance value to make it just get out of here. If it's something that can destroy you, and you're seeing what's happening. And their side, they're not going to put everything out at once. They're going to keep putting little things out one at a time.
And just real quick, and just even to kind of just though, the only thing I disagree with what Michael Irvin is sitting here saying is he didn't, when that woman accused him, he ain't pay nobody. He took her to court and sued her and he won. And that's why when you see Michael Irvin back on TV, because let's be clear, it happened to Michael Irvin, and everybody kind of pulled away from Michael Irvin when that lady sit here and said he did whatever to her during the Super Bowl, he bumped her or said whatever the case may be, and he was like it was a lie. And Michael Irvin, guess what he didn't do? You didn't sit here and just pay her and try to make it go away. No, you knew for a fact because they cut the lights off on Michael Irvin ASAP. Soon as that woman came out with them allegations, it was Rap City in the basement for Michael Irvin. And he had to sit here and go to the hotel and get the video footage, and he had to fight this in court, and he ended up winning. So that's why you see him back on TV. That's why he back on Fox Sports, and he all of that other stuff. But again, even for Shannon Sharp, bro, why would you sit here and make a fucking video with anybody? I don't even listen to what I'm telling you. With anybody, I don't even care about the age, and you don't have the video footage of yourself. This girl is nobody. You're Shannon Sharp, and you let her record y'all having sex, and you don't even gotta come on, bro. Like, what are we talking about? It be just certain shit to just be like, bro, no other person you will be cool with this. Even as regular people, don't listen to them. And let's be, some people just so super freaked out and they be like, cool, they don't want the video. Because I've been there before. I done recorded the video and asked women, do you want the joint? And some women be like, nah, I'm cool. Keep it for yourself. Or some women will be like, hey, record this on my own. I know a broad off the rip. If she having sex with you, you can record on your phone, but you got to record on hers. And you got to show out for her while you recording on her joint. Because she want to watch him, but that's how freaked out she is. But the fact that this nigga sit here and said he don't even got the footage, like you just allowing a 19-year-old, you are a multi-millionaire. You are the most popular at your whole entire black ass life, and you allowing this 19-year-old to have footage of you just fucking her. Like, explain to me how you think that makes sense. For you to sit here and say, I'm gonna imagine allowing a bro. All right, y'all just seen what a kid goddamn did with a goddamn phone number. And you sit here saying, you telling me you a whole multi-millionaire, you are a business and an entity on yourself, and you allowing a 19-year-old to have the raw footage of y'all doing whatever to each other in her phone, and you don't got it in yours. How do that make sense? Who do that make sense to? Like, how can you sit here in your brain and sit here and say, I can find a way to sit here and make this make sense? It don't. There's no way in hell you can say it's nothing you can wrap your brain around that and make it make sense. But again, like I said, Shannon Sharp won't learn the hard way, but I do think realistically, I mean, nightcap is going to be good money. Like I said, Club Shay Shay, I don't necessarily know. I don't know because you kind of relied on the black community to kind of push that one. Like that was more of a black thing than it was anything else thing. So I don't realistically know.
Who would he have on there?
I don't know because it's not, I don't know who
you're gonna get questioned.
And that's my point. So that's why I'm saying you can't, because of course he kind of leaned into the comedian thing heavy for a minute. I can't imagine you can't bring no comedian in. You can't bring. I don't know who you can bring on. That's why I said I think for Club Shay Shay he may have to take a pause and a break on that one for a minute. Like I said, I do think Nightcap realistically it'll be straight because it's sports. You heavily just talking about sports. So I do think that realistically, I mean he'll be cool on that one. Do you got any opinions or thoughts on it, Erica? I mean, from you being a woman.
The conversations was just weird over the phone. Like, I don't understand how there wasn't a red flag to him.
Can I be honest though? Before I found out that she was 19, can you put the big black babies? All of that shit was funny to me, but until I found out that the girl was 19 and I seen what she looked like, I was dying laughing. I'm like, bro, big black babies. I was like, bro, big black babies was trending on before anybody knew what that girl looked like. Everybody and their mother was laughing at the big black babies thing. Or can you put some of your baby gravy? Like all of that shit sound crazy to me. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not one of those smart ass people that I'm not about to sit here and go crazy and be on
I'm talking about their phone. Like when she recorded the conversations, like she was like, well, I don't want to get choked. And like what, that wasn't a red flag to him. Like,
but I mean, realistically, if you kind of listen to that, you could tell that even that recording sound like it was kind of like it was messed around with. We could play a clip of that, John, because it just sounded like this. It was too much space in it. It was too empty because nobody, like, let's be real. If you having real type of sexual conversations with a woman, and like if y'all are sexting or you in the middle of like a sex conversation, you're not allowing that type of space in it. Like it was like too much. That's why even when I said to me, what really did him in was the age, and then I seen what the girl looked like. Because if I'm listening to that audio, I ain't take that audio for nothing. Because I'm like, I could tell that somebody done been playing around with this audio because it just it's too much air in it, John. Like, why is it so spaced out? Why do it sound like this? I forgot about the Shaq part too. Don't let me forget. I gotta play that Shaq. Yeah, Shaq playing a dirty game. He a wild nigga for that one too. Where's this audio?
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
I don't know that mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna fucking choke the shit out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Okay.
Like, look how much dead air in this jump. Like, who would be on the phone with somebody? But that again, that goes into the age of this woman. Like, yeah, you try to talk to a 19-year-old, it's gonna be that type of fucking dead air. Like, bro, look how long this shit is, like a 2-minute conversation, and they literally only say like 5 words. You like, this is literally like some shit you've been phone boning when you was in high school. No, you go to sleep. That's how much space in the jump. Can we be serious, dog? Can't just realistically. And this is why I sit here and say, even when you're getting to know somebody, I don't like the regular generic conversations. Can we have hot topic conversations? Because I can't even just imagine sitting here like, I imagine trying to get to know somebody 19 years old and you in your 50s. I can't listen to them say, I'm 40 years old. I cannot imagine trying to hold a conversation with I'm gonna tell you a perfect example. And everybody if you've been watching this show, y'all know how much I love Angel Reese. Bro, when I listen to her podcast, it sounds like I'm listening to a 22-year-old, and I gotta remind myself sometimes when she be like, clock that T, clock, like I'm like, bro, this is why I can, as a fan, I'm going to support you and just listen to the shit, but I can't listen to this like I'm listening to grown people having a conversation because you're a kid. So you saying childish shit. So I can only imagine, now you're talking about, and this is a kid who's a fucking mega star. Now imagine talking about to a regular ass 19, like stop, dog. There's no way on God's green earth. I'm telling you, my brain don't go that stupid. My brain can go that dumb when we talk about music. I can listen to all the stupid music that the kids listening to, but I'm trying to tell you, I can't not have no conversation with nobody under 30. You ain't been through enough life. You have not had enough life experiences enough for me to have a real conversation with you and to take your conversation serious. And that's the perfect example for me. Like, it's no way I can't do it. I don't even know how he even tried to play with himself and try to do it. But I do want to play this clip of Matt Barnes. Them niggas is foul, though. Him and Shaq, all of
that's real.
Ain't none of them come out and say it wasn't.
Oh no, I think was it? Cause see, I don't that AI shit.
But
was in a group chat the other day, or actually just yesterday, and Shaq said he's paying top dollar for any information on old boy. So, again, I don't know if you're on that kind of time or not, but Shaq is known to throw large sums of money around. So, just want to put that out there.
And you know the reason why I don't think it's AI because it sounds like Matt Barnes. Like he said, he ain't say his name. Like he ain't, because I feel like if there was AI, they would have said Shannon Sharp name. But because you kind of know it's not AI because he kind of like old boy, boom, 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 and
no, because it's another clip that I heard where it was like, oh, do you know where Chuck is? Like it was Shaq's voice, but he was saying like, hey, I'll pay anybody. Do you know where Kenny is? I pay any money if you know.
Yeah,
where. So that's what I'm saying.
I'm sure. I'm 100% positive. Yeah, you might be. People may be able to do AI stuff, but this conversation, it don't sound AI because I know real. Even you, I'm gonna tell you how you kind of can figure out how smart these chat GBTs and some of them aren't there yet. Because even if you put in something like, even Instagram, because like now Instagram, they got the little jumps where you can change the caption and you can let Meta come up with the caption for you to change it and make it more engaging or make it more. You could pick. They got certain like more engaging. Start conversation, make it funny or whatever the case may be. But if you sit here and say something with too much slang, they don't know how to pick it up. So I can tell him even blanking it out and not saying Shannon Sharp name and just sitting here saying, oh, he trying to find some information out on old boy. That kind of let me know that was like a real conversation. Not seeing here saying that Shaq got anything to do with what's going on right now. But it's just kind of crazy. Like, damn, their smoke got to that level where Shaq was trying to get some dirt on Shannon Sharp. That was kind of OD.
Niggas hate, and that's why I
don't necessarily know if Shaq one of them type of niggas that he gotta hate because people know that again. When when we go back to that joint, when I see him say type, it's the point of Shaq. Like niggas know Shaq type, and let's be clear, Shaq has dated all types of women, but you know what you ain't never going to see Shaq with. You ain't about to see Shaq with some bullshit.
No, I hate that you call Shaq a freaky boy.
He is the king of the freaky niggas. Shaq is the king of all freaky niggas. And guess what? I know for a fact, I will bet my last dollar. I know for Shaq ain't fucking nothing like that.
But that's why I'm just saying you don't know. Shannon Sharp could have backdoored him, or Shannon Sharp could have messed up something. That's what I'm saying. Niggas are emotional and do hating that shit like that. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not surprised if you tell me that's the midst of it. Because like I said, niggas do shit. Like I said, how would that information get out? Because like you're not looking for jail time. You looking for money. So why would somebody put that information out there if you really don't want to see something? You don't want to see him miss out on that contract.
I mean, I guess the real conversation would be is what made Shannon Sharp be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna give up the 10 M's then. The offer to pay you off $10 million is a lot of bread for you to feel like.
No, it ain't. Because look what you about to sit here and put up now. If you telling me you about to say if they get convict you or whatever, you talking about she was seeking 50 million and then you lose your contract or whatever that deal that you said you was about to get 100 million. And you can offer up that 10 million.
So, and just real quick, I guess, and we can kind of just tie those two things in, and if y'all want, we could change gears. But even when I played that clip of Kyle, just think about how, because for people who don't know, Shannon Sharp was realistically, I guess they said that this lady her and Shannon been in court, or in, I guess, legal talks before months ago, because they tried to say it had nothing to do with him trying to negotiate his new podcast deal. And that was supposed to be because his contract is up with the volume. And again, when we talk about the volume, that is Colin Cowherd's entertainment end. Like he owned that. That's his shit. That's Colin Cowherd, John. And realistically, of course,
don't give two shits as long as the views come in. I don't think he gets two shits about that.
No, he might know. Listen, he may not care about what you got going on, but I guarantee you that he care about not giving you the 100 M's.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I'm saying. So somebody could be. Let's be honest. Okay, with TNN coming to an end, we don't really know what the outcome of. Like I said, if we keeping it with the whole Shaq situation, we don't know what the outcome is going to be with them next year. How much what they're getting off or what they're getting. So if you sitting here talking about saying Shannon Sharp about to get this contract 100 million, we not getting. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I say we don't know what.
But I think even realistically though, I think for anybody, if you hearing this Shannon may get this $100 million deal, or he was trying to negotiate $100 million podcast deal, I do think you got to be honest and give. I told y'all this. Sometimes screw all. Let's take out all the other stuff right now. We talking about just work ethic, bro. You got to give Shannon for him to be that old. I don't know how, and you'll never see him drinking no energy drinks. Oh, I do see. I think sometimes he be having like a Red Bull when he be on doing nightcap. But bro, for him to be able to record nightcap damn near every night and still get up in the morning when for them 2 days he got to be on, or he had to be on ESPN at the time, and him to still find time to do, like, he work a lot. So you can't look at it and just be like, oh, how Shannon getting
but
this,
it's also a cheat code because
he's
he on the West Coast, right? Ain't they on the West Coast?
I guess.
Yeah, so that's a cheat code. Yeah, when we looking at it, you talking about them being on there. If they on there right now,
okay,
it's only 7 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, well, you got a point there, I guess, with that one. I'm still not going to discredit. He do work a lot. Like I said, we don't have to stay on it too much longer. My only biggest thing to anybody, bro, is that Kendrick Lamar line continuously pops up, and of course I'm gonna screw it up because I don't know about heart. But y'all know realistically, he just told y'all that's why you need to be in a relationship. That is why sometimes just being in a relationship and being in the house is easier to play it safe, bro. It's the same way. Listen to what I'm saying. Nobody want to pay car insurance, but I guarantee you, if something happened to your car, you'd be happy that you paid that car insurance. And that's how sometimes you got to look at a relationship. Yeah, you may sit here and want to be single and maybe you just got to, then you got to kind of, again, we talking about insecurities and securities. That's why you got to respect a nigga like Neo or Cam Newton or whatever. Just be a man. Vocalize what you really want, but keep your ass in the house, because when you got too much going on and you got too much dip on your chip, it happen every time. It happened too much. And then again, just for every black man listening to me, bro, if you should be able to see, again, I say go watch Sinners, and that is the perfect example of Black Queens Forever, Snow Bunnies Never, and then go look at Jonathan Majors and look at Shannon Sharp, though. Like I said, Shannon Sharp is gonna be okay because his form and his popularity is on YouTube, so there is no moral clause on YouTube. So it's like he's still gonna be able to come and do whatever on YouTube. He's still gonna be able to upload all his shows on YouTube. So will he be cool? Because he was only on ESPN 2 times out of the week. So will he miss being on ESPN? Hell no. There's people really like, let's keep it a buck. Like only older people kind of really, if we keep it in a bean, watch ESPN. Like younger people, and I ain't even saying young. If you are somebody who still got to go to work and you working 9 to 5, guess what you don't have time to do? Watch First Take.
Because this is first time on ESPN, right?
Yeah, but I do, and I think I started to see the reason why he left CBS was for the same thing. So Shannon Sharp really may just got a problem.
And that's what I'm saying, because even the other young lady that came out or whatever, talking about she got a case on him, she had a restraining order on him. So that's what
and I think it was like from 2000. So but you know what? I said this a million times, and that's why I said no, it's not even. No, I'm not going to just put it on CTE. It's just that level of testosterone to even be able to compete at a high level. And I don't want to say here and say it's CTE because I think it's just some things you just can't turn off. I think you can't sometimes when you are that level and you playing, and that's why you see it more in football players and you see it more in boxing because it's those sports are so aggressive. Contact. I don't know how, and they're heavy contact, but it's very aggressive. Like you have to be an extremely aggressive person to be a good football player or to be a great boxer. You got to be very aggressive. And I think it's hard to cut that shit off. And then I told y'all, even from when you work out in the gym, if you take testosterone pills or anything, I know the difference in when I'm taking them and I don't take them, I can tell the difference on my level of my attitude. You got less patience, you more agitated, you get upset quicker about certain things. So look how big Shannon Sharp is. Like, and for him to be that age, like if y'all look at Hulk Hogan, look how small Hulk Hogan has got. Like if you watch Hulk Hogan from when you was a kid to look at Hulk Hogan now, you can tell that Hulk Hogan ain't like Hulk Hogan still look like he in shape, but he still ain't on that shit no more. That's the point. And you can tell when somebody go off the jump. And if you, like I said, if you follow enough like little fitness pages, like it was this girl and her mother-in-law, and they was doing a little jump. I wish I would have saved it, but they were going around and they was asking people if they were natural or not. But on like in the fitness world, they call it natty. Like, are you natty? So basically saying that it's like I guess like a little cool way they try to say, are you natural? And you could tell like the people like and a woman, this was an older woman. Like, common? I mean, for niggas who really be into their workout shit, yeah, it is common. Or even some of the women.
So I'm asking you, like, is it when you say like the Hulk Hogan, the Arnold Schwarzenegger, like back then, I don't think it was so easy. Is it more easy access now to be on? Yeah, oh, it is.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Put it in you put that shit on your Google search. It might come up on your Instagram page.
I was just wondering, like, is that more? Like I said, I know back then it was kind of like
it wasn't as common, and so it was harder to see. And I don't think Hulk Hogan, like, if you kind of look at it compared to some of the dudes like on Instagram now, like some of them super strong niggas. When I even look at Hulk Hogan now, I kind of don't think Hulk Hogan was OD on it for real. Like, I think he was on it so he can kind of keep at his old age, he can still keep some type of form of muscle. But if I compare Hulk Hogan to some of these dudes I be seeing on Instagram, I'll be like, oh yeah, Hulk Hogan wasn't on that shit compared to some of them other niggas.
Yeah, now I would say he probably was on it, but I think he was probably using it for other things, like not necessarily just to stay in shape, but also because like like when you look at these wrestling little what's name documentaries and how they say how they was all drugged up and on liquor and all that type of stuff, like they might have to keep up with them consistently traveling
to keep up with the pain and stuff like
So
that,
I'm-
for sure. But that's why, again, we're tying that into what you just saying, tying that into just the football part until the boxers. And this is not no shade to none of these athletes, but this is just like for women who listening, this kind of something to put in your mind to kind of be like, everything that glitter ain't gold. And if you're gonna kind of chase that bread and you want to sit here date a football player or date a boxer, you kind of got to understand
What comes with it.
what come with it. And it's not sitting here saying that, oh, you're supposed to tolerate it, but it's too much of a long track record for you to sit here and act like it's not a thing.
It's not something you could just walk into.
Yeah, I don't know though.
No, you can't. I like I said, I've heard incidents. It's nothing you can just like, hey, I want to date a football. Like I said, a lot of them are aggressive. And
No,
that's
nigga,
like-
listen to what I'm saying. I know a girl personally. Nigga, she was dating she wasn't dating. She got a kid by a football player. He moved her out to a whole different state, and then he started to lunch out where he would wake up in the middle of his sleep and go get a shotgun and talking about he hearing stuff.
Yeah.
And she from here, all her family here. She in the middle of Florida somewhere, and she was like, "Bro, I have to find a way." But again, we talking about that money, talking about that lifestyle.
Yeah.
He didn't spend so much. He didn't afford you a lifestyle where you don't gotta work, and you gotta think about it. If you've been listening and say y'all been dating for 3 or 4 years, and he don't start lunching out until maybe close to like year 5, you got used to not working. And your lifestyle that you done kind of accumulated for yourself, it just not used to working, and you may not be able to afford a job to be able to keep that lifestyle up or even get yourself back comfortable to get your own
that's
situation.
why I want to ask you. I mean, could you? I don't know because you're a guy, but do you think like you can, if the money's right and everything, would you belittle yourself to have that?
I mean, I think it depends on how much we talking about belittling yourself, because I don't think women feel like it's belittling themselves.
No, I'm not.
I don't think they feel like it's belittling themselves. I think they kind of feel like it just come with the territory. And I think some women can deal with it. I think some women know how to deal with it. I think some women, and that's why you see some of them stay with some of these niggas for so long, and then they'll come out 20 years later and have these sob stories and be like, "Oh, I dated such and such and this, that, and the third." Like, but I don't think realistically, I don't necessarily, if people look at it as belittling themselves, like I don't necessarily know, like I don't know how you could think about it, like especially as a man, I don't necessarily know how you could look at it as like, oh, I'm belittling myself because a person keep raising their voice, or if a woman was like, if you see him saying, "Would I date a woman who she used to say, hey, you ain't got to work, but she may come home and just slap me sometimes." I wouldn't give a fuck. It's a woman, but I'm a nigga, so it's a little bit different. Like she come home and she slap me sometimes, like all right, cool.
So
but
I
I
mean,
ain't got to do nothing. I'm cool. I take the slap.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. But that's you taking.
But I'm a nigga though. That's the difference. And I'm a big
still-
nigga, so I'm not like how hard you think a woman. Now if you saying I wouldn't date Carissa Shields and let her come in the house and slap me, hell no. Nah. But if you tell me this was just a regular sized woman,
But
like
she
would
paying your bill, she doing all this shit. She might, like I said, you don't know how it might get. Where she might grab the frying pan and hit your ass sometime. Like
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
that's taking it too far. Now you talking about picking up a frying pan? No, I'm not going for that. Nah, that's ridiculous. Nah, come on, dog. Now you talking about you basically asking me what I sit here and allow somebody to take my life. Like hell no, I'm not doing all that. It ain't that deep. But if you sit here saying like, oh, just on a random Wednesday, she may just turn up because
Well, she just might come home every day and just like talk shit to you.
Yeah, like you ain't
nothing.
shit. Like you little dick nigga. Like you know what I'm saying? Like she.
I could listen to what I'm saying. It depends on how. If you sit here saying I can do everything else I want, but just sometimes it's all, you know how I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna look at it like when I was a kid, how I used to avoid my dad all the time. Like I try to avoid making eye contact with him. So if you sit here saying, yeah, I can podcast as much as I want, I can go to the gym as much as I want, I can eat, drink, whatever I want, everything is paid for. I ain't gotta worry about nothing. All I gotta do is just sling some dick and take some belittling. If I make eye contact with her, cool.
But like she's talking about you, I heard your little shitty ass fucking.
So I wouldn't care.
You
No,
would
I'm not
care?
listen to what I'm saying.
So that wouldn't that be kind of like
no, it's a difference between somebody sitting here blocking your fucking eye, though. You know how many people if you create enough content, it be people in your comment section saying some crazy shit. Trust and believe, like nigga, you can sit here and so that to me, somebody just saying words would not bother me. Again, like you say, if you're taking a random slap on a Wednesday, yeah, I can take a random slap on a Wednesday from a woman, not Carissa Shields, but just a regular woman, yes. Like if you sit here saying it was some WNBA woman, if it was Dejanay Carrington and she come home, and she may I'm even cool if she sit here and say some days she may throw her Reeboks at my head sometimes because she mad like fucking I'm tired of checking Caitlin Clark bitch ass and she throw a Reebok in my head. Cool, I can take that, but I am not doing no frying pan. She be like, nigga, you go wash my bra, you bitch ass nigga. Like, all right, cool, I can take that. You paying all the bills, big dog, you got it. But I'm not about to sit here and I'm not taking no frying pan to the head. That one ain't gonna happen.
But hold on, but you a provider type of nigga. Like, how don't you feel like
I wouldn't care, dog? I don't have to work. I don't have to do nothing. Like, I'm not about to sit. Like, let's not make it like, dog. Especially what's that Drake line? In this, you dating in this economy, nigga. Yeah, I'm not about to sit here and act like life is fucking sweet, nigga. Guess what? Listen, Shane went up 377%, nigga. I'm not going back to fucking Shane. So you got that right. That bitch can put her hands on me and say whatever the fuck she want to say.
All right.
Well, I guess why we right here. I guess since we was talking about athletes and we talking about real life stuff, and since now he is in better condition. First, our thoughts and prayers to Gilbert Arenas and his son Elijah Arenas. He was in a car. He was in a bad car accident, and it's so crazy just how fast the internet just grab pictures and post pictures. Because I'm like, I mean, when you started to hear it, and they was like, oh, it was no bodily injury, and they put him, I guess, like in a medical coma. So realistically, for people, I guess what that is like, I mean, I guess they basically seduce your body so they can put you to sleep and your stuff can. They say I guess because the car accident was so bad, the car got caught on fire, and I guess his body and his lungs got filled up with smoke. So he can release the smoke and get the smoke out of him. They sit here and put his so he don't have to breathe on his own, so they can do whatever they had to do to get all the smoke out of his lungs.
So that video was him in the street?
Oh, I don't know. I ain't see the video. I only seen the pictures.
Yeah, it was because that's why I was scared because it was a video like it's at night, like the car was what's name, and if you could see the flames. And
oh no, but this ain't it. This happened on the daytime.
No, that was the same car, like the tree and all that. That's what I'm saying. He's on the ground rolling like a puddle of water because you hit the fire extinguisher. So that's why I'm just like,
oh, yeah, I don't know all that. All I can think I can go off is
that's what I'm saying. It was a video or somebody pulled him out or whatever the case may be, and it was him rolling in the water. I guess. I guess my question to, even for everybody listening and for y'all, because y'all are the parents in the room, do y'all think that you shouldn't even though that you rich, you shouldn't buy your kids a fast cars? No, it's not a fast car though. You think that's a smart car? That's not a fast car.
Nigga, all them Teslas, the purpose of the Teslas, they go fast. They go fast like from 0 to whatever. Like
I thought
60.
they was for the self-drive.
Hell no, nigga, them shits go fast as hell. You tripping?
Oh, I didn't know that. I see you talking about Lamborghini or something like that. I didn't think they was used for racing and the type.
They go. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying people who use them for racing, but I do think realistically, just because you got money, I don't think your kids, especially with some more kids, I wouldn't buy my kid a car to do nothing.
But how do you explain to your kid? Because like, what's the difference between them asking for a scat pack and all that?
I wouldn't buy it.
But that's what most of them like. Because I wish I could find that video.
I wouldn't care. I know you watch too many grown people crash them cars because this cars is too fast. That's why I'm sitting here saying, as a parent, and that's why I said we can have the conversation now because he gonna be all right. He gonna still be able to, because he didn't have no bodily harm to him, so he's straight. He gonna be able to play basketball this year. He's a-okay. So that's why we can have this conversation now. I don't think if you are an adult, you should not buy your kid no car that realistically you know for a fact people get in accidents because the car is too fast. That's just me, period. I would not. It's no way in hell I'm buying my kid no type of car that can do 180, 200, 160, nothing like that. If I got a kid, you ain't getting nothing past a Toyota, whatever, until you like 20 something. Or you can buy your own car. But
I think I think that's another question when you dealing with somebody like that, an athlete where he got his own.
He don't got his own money yet. He ain't in college yet. He don't got no NIL deals.
Yeah, he do.
Who? Shit.
Yes, he do. He played in the McDonald's All-Star game. He has money. He has NIL deals.
I haven't seen him with none.
Yeah, hell yeah. He got NIL deals. I'm not gonna put that past. I mean, shit, most of them get it in high school because that's when you can start doing it.
I honestly don't think he got. If I can remember,
yeah, that's when you can start. That's when you can start doing it.
I get what you're saying, but you got to remember who his father is. I don't think Gilbert Arenas let his son take no bread. I'm almost 100% positive he don't got none. I damn near almost want to go out on a limb and say I heard Gilbert Arenas say before he just wanted his son to. I don't even think that's why he didn't really want his son to go to school like that, because he wanted his son just to play basketball. He didn't want him to do all the extra stuff. I'm almost 100% positive he don't got no NIL deals. What the fuck do he need him for? Like, nigga, Gilbert Arenas is good money. He was good money just off of basketball. Nigga, his YouTube channel go crazy. Like, Gilbert Arenas just be hustling just as much as Shannon Sharp be hustling when we talking about how long they be on social media and how long they be on YouTube and recording on all these other different platforms. Like, he be on it, he be getting to it. So I'm sure that his son don't got no NIL deals. Like, his son don't even need no NIL deals. And if he got one, it's probably like some chump change shit, but it ain't nothing crazy. Like, I don't. I don't believe that. I haven't seen him. Like, I have not seen him do no advertisement or no, hey, sponsored by this, that, and the third. I don't think he have none. And just my point, like I said, if I'm a parent, me personally, if I'm a parent, I'm not buying my kid nothing that go fast. Like, you'll get you a little Toyota Camry or something like this to get you to point A to point B. You don't need nothing crazy. And if you want to ride or something crazy, I got crazy cars, but I'm driving them. You're not driving because it's too. You see too many. Think about how many. When we talked about that before, when we talked about the Georgia, all the football players that go to Georgia and how all of them kept getting pulled over because they were speeding or drinking and driving, bro. That just comes with like fast cars and young people do not mix, dog. Like, those two things don't mix. And if I'm especially if my kid is that young where I'm still hands-on parent, which Gilbert Arenas is, bro, I'm not giving you no car that I feel like you can drive that fast in. Because I'm not saying he's saying they can't, but sober as October, you can't crash your car like that if you was in some little Toyota Camry. Because a Toyota Camry ain't gonna get up fast enough for you to hear that car look like that. And again, that's what I'm saying we can have a conversation now. That way that car was crashed up in that joint, it looked like he was drinking and driving. But he wasn't. They sit here and said it. The doctors were reporting all that came out. He was sober. He wasn't drunk. He wasn't high. He wasn't nothing. So that means that you were sitting here trying to hit your foot on the gas and you were trying to see something and you lost control of that car. Why? Because you're too young and you was trying to go fast in a residential area where you had no business going fast at. But that's some stuff that a kid would do. You know why? Because a kid don't know no better. A kid don't think twice about that. And I'm telling you that some of these things you don't start to think about until you get old. Like, even littering now, the older I get, bro, I won't litter. And you know what's so funny? Like, when I'll take my trash, like if I'm on my way to the gym and I got just a bunch of like protein stuff in the car or pre-workout that I had drunk, I be laughing when I'm walking this stuff to the trash can, because I know for a fact 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I just would have threw the stuff on the ground. I know for a fact that I would, and I literally just was laughing at myself the other day when I was walking some trash to the trash can, because I'm like, bro, 5 years ago, I would have threw this stuff up under my car and wouldn't have thought twice about it. But the older you get, you kind of you have a lot more respect for life. You have a lot more respect for your surrounding. But as kids, they don't. And that's why a kid literally look like, dog, did you just look at that car? You see how crazy them pictures look like, bro? It look like he literally real life went smacking to the car doing like 160. Into a tree. Like, bro, that's the only way you can explain it. For that car to be crashed up the way it is, and it was it's a single car accident. He didn't hit no other car. He didn't hit nothing. He didn't hit no deer. It was a car and a tree. And that only come from a kid trying to drive too damn fast. And it was so crazy. I can't even just blame it on kids. Because I've seen a video on Twitter going viral, and it was this girl on Instagram Live, and she was trying to kiss her boyfriend, and they end up sitting here flipping their car. Because he ain't paying attention. He all, hey, Instagram, and trying to give her a kiss, and then their whole entire car flip. So, I mean, stupidity just don't have just one age gap on it, because it do happen to adults. I do want to, I guess, while we're talking about parenting, and we can kind of tie this in. And this is how, again, sometimes, like I told y'all when we was talking about the Carmelo Anthony, of course, not the basketball player, but the young man who stabbed the other dude doing the track thing. And the reason why I say take the race out of it, because everybody is parents, everybody got kids, and you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring for your kid or what situation. And the reason why I said that, because I knew just the same way I want to be able to stand firm on how I feel about age gaps when we talk about dating, I want to have the same feeling about how I watch how so many people was in the comment section on this video or this clip I'm about to play when there was a stabbing happening in Virginia, and so many people was in panic mode. But I'm just like, that's my point, where you got to still have that same empathy for any kid getting stabbed anywhere, dog, because it's still a kid, and it's like nobody wants their kid to get stabbed to death or die, period.
In the school. Like, how am I certified that my son is safe in school? I'm sorry, but I'm just frustrated. This is crazy. All these kids, they're friends since they're little. I mean, he knows both of them. They went, unfortunately, the kid that got stabbed, his mom goes to church with me, and everyone is calling me. I was an hour away from here. I don't even know how I got here. My son is calling me. Everyone is calling me. His dad was working. We got here, and we get no answers. This is just crazy. We get videos from the kids inside. There's videos all over social media of what happened. My question is, where's the teachers?
So again, for people who don't know, if you live in another city, you don't live in the DMV area, this happened in Fairfax, Virginia, where there was a stabbing in school. And the crazy thing is, they didn't shut the school down. All they did,
it's on lockdown.
Yeah, it was on, but they still was in class though.
Yeah, they can't take them out.
But that's why the mother was mad, and that's why the other parents outside was mad. They were like, why y'all not evacuating away from the school?
That's protocol.
Yeah, that's why the parents was pissed. That's why she was mad, because she was just like, dog, why we can't get our kids out of school?
But that goes back to like the whole cell phone shit and all that. Like that's why people want their kids with their phones. So
I get that, but then when we talk about the cell phone thing, and that is the messed up part about the cell phone thing, because then that's why I didn't go look for the video. I didn't want to see it, but I seen people who did watch the video, and the video of the boy actually stabbing up a little boy. And that's my point again, why I sit here and said when we talked about that Carmelo Anthony thing of the last 2 weeks, and that's why I sit here and said people got to separate the race thing, because this can easily happen to anybody's kid, because you can't control this. You can't control the way these kids are behaving and the way that they act. And it was just so crazy. And it was just like, and not like, it's just how life is. Like I pay attention enough to know for a fact that you cannot sit here and try to isolate one situation and make it seem like something did completely different, because I know for a fact the way these kids is moving, and this was just literally, like I said, 2 weeks later, boom, here we go. And this is in it, and it's like you talking about this is in our area now. And that's why I sit here and say you cannot sit here and lose your empathy just because you see some of these stories via social media. And it's cool, like I said, when it's time to make stuff a race thing, then cool. But some things is just like, bro, you still have to be a human. You still got to be able to cover and talk about these things like humans and just be able to be real with this stuff. And we can kind of tie that into when we talking about parents and we're talking about just having, again, I'm standing firm on this, and I believe everybody should take height on this. You should start calling the police on your friends. And when I sit here and say that, I mean, if your friends got kids and your friends is always out on the weekend, call CPS, call the police, call somebody on your friend. Because your friend, I'm tired of mom need a life, I'm tired of dad need a life. No, you had kids. Keep your black ass in the house with your kids. And for people who don't know what I'm talking about, at Six Flags, it was just a video. It wasn't no commentary behind it, but it was a bunch of kids being not being no, we're not doing it. And I hate that you keep trying to do that like you wasn't a kid. We have never
forget the shit they did that's why they changed the parking lot when they were jumping on people's cars.
So listen to what I'm saying. That's not kid.
Hold on, adults do.
No, listen to what I'm saying. You're missing what I'm saying. Because when you say that's kids just being kids, that's making it like you never been a kid and went to Six Flags before. So again, real quick, so before we go into the conversation, it was a video that's going around. If you live in the DMV area, you can go on DMV Hoods and News and watch the video. Or DMV Daily, because I believe they posted and they said they're going to even change the age requirement to get into Six Flags, where if you are 17 and under, you have to be accompanied by an adult, because there was a bunch of kids fighting. There was group fights. They was running around all over the parking lot. You see hundreds of kids just fighting and running up and down out of the parking lot. And the reason why I sit here and say we can't keep using the excuse as kids. Dog, when we were kids and we went to Six Flags, you went to Six Flags to book girls and to try to get girls' numbers so you can get you some cheeks during the summertime. Nobody went to Six Flags to sit here and go fight and start to act like a wild animal. Y'all are raising wild animals. You're not raising kids, bro. There's too many different videos that keep floating around, and it's wise because it's our age group. And that's why I sit here and said you got to start calling CPS, calling the police, because these are people that's our age and their parents be out when the weather break. You know, the crazy thing is, it's too many kids for you to tell me that I cannot correlate the two. It's hundreds of kids every weekend. You sit here saying in different areas. Last weekend it was Southwest by the baseball stadium. This week you sit here saying it's in PG County at the goddamn amusement park. So you sit here telling me that out of hundreds of these kids, nobody's mom or dad wasn't on social media popping that ass this weekend while their kid was running around at Six Flags like some goddamn animal? You can't tell me the two and two don't go together. And that's just my point, because you sit here raising little demons that you just want to drop off and let the world have to deal with your little demon that you raising at home. Like, bro, that's not fair to the rest of the world, dog. Like, you sit here telling, like, people can't even go to Six Flags and have a decent time now because y'all letting the little demons run loose. And that's when people get upset about using the word YN and this, that, and the third. I get it. You don't, because it's starting to get commercialized. But guess what? I can't sit here and tell me. You can't sit here and be mad at people using the word YN when your kids is out here acting like niggas, dog. That's my point. If you want to stop using the word, then stop raising niggas. It's my only, and it's a difference between it's a difference between cocky when we talk about Shedeur Sanders, because I don't want to never sound like call her, but I'm talking to black people, and y'all know exactly what the difference I'm talking about. It's a difference between sitting here raising kids to be kids and allowing them to have a good time, and you raising little ass demons out here. Because y'all know for a fact, when you was young and used to get dropped off at Six Flags or Crystals, wherever you used to get dropped off at, you went there to try to talk to the opposite sex. You did not go there to sit here and be fighting, dog, and trying to, like, come on, dog. What are we talking about? Like, that's not kids being kids. That is niggas being niggas. And that's crazy to the fact that y'all sitting here raising a bunch of little YNs and they sitting here tearing down amusement park. And that's why, and again, that's what goes back to the conversation we was having last year or however many years ago it was when I sit here and said, "Dog, why don't be? It's so many foreign people that work in Six Flags now. It ain't even if y'all don't even make y'all kids get summer jobs. Because guess what? You know why it shouldn't be hundreds of kids be able to even fight at the parking lot. It should be hundreds of kids working in Six Flags instead of outside of the fucking parking lot. And guess what? Even when I used to work at Six Flags, what I was doing, booking other girls that worked at Six Flags. Getting cheeks. My first couple, getting my foot wet and really getting to know women outside of your neighborhood radius was working at Six Flags or going to Six Flags as a customer, not sitting here going to Six Flags to sit here and start a Royal Rumble, dog. And that goes into parenting. There's no other way you can sit here and decide it. And like I said, I guarantee you we could sit here and slow and pause some of these videos down and somebody really was doing their homework on who these kids' parents was. I guarantee you it's a video of that kid. Each one of them kids, I'm sure majority of their parents was out here cutting up over the weekend. And you ain't know, and you probably don't care because your kid ain't even come home and tell you. And the only way you're going to know if it was your kid, if they would have got caught and got locked up, or somebody send you a video and be like, oh, ain't this little Tyrone? But if they don't get locked up and nobody don't ever know, you don't care because you got shit. I just dropped them off, bought them a season pass and just dropped them off. I can sit here and go do me. You just feel like that's a free time. You feel like dropping your kids off at Six Flags mean for you to be able to sit here and do whatever you want. You don't care what your kid doing, why they at Six Flags, you ain't checking on them. And again, it don't stop because you know why it don't stop? Because it went from last week, like I said, down to the at the down southwest, and now this week is here at it's at Six Flags. But if we talking about raising your kids, I wouldn't want to raise my kid like this though.
I woke up to my roommate pissing all over me and all over my bedding yesterday morning. I hope this is a very concise way of telling the story.
Oh, real quick, I'm gonna play this clip, but this is it. Now, this is where I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite because it's two different. I don't know how you rate where the balance is or how you raise your kid, but it has to be a balance. You don't want to raise a demon, but you don't want to raise no goddamn pushover like this.
But I'm so frantic right now and I don't have a place to go. So this is my cry for help. On Friday, I sent a message to my roommate. I have known this girl. I thought that she was fine. I thought that we were fine. I knew that we were not going to be roommates. I knew that we wouldn't be roommates for the next year, but I was honestly okay with that. So on Friday, April 11th, I texted my roommate saying that she needed to be more quiet in general on the phone. This is the text message that I sent to her on Friday at 7 p.m. In this message, I said, can you please be quiet? Quieter, you can read the message yourself. I didn't think this caused any problems. I texted her that. I got no response. So I'm thinking that she understands where I'm coming from and everything is fine. I was wrong. At 5:26 in the morning, I wake up to my roommate squatting over my face, my arm, and my bedding, and she's pissing directly on me. It's all over my sheets. It's all over my bedding. I say, what the fuck are you doing? Or something along that lines. I don't remember exactly what I said in the moment. She looks at me and she goes, oh, sorry. Like she wasn't expecting me to wake up. I was so utterly disgusted and I did not know what to do. So I took all of my bedding off of my bed and even it was down to the mattress. The mattress was soaked in piss. My mattress topper was soaked in piss. Everything was. I took all of my bedding off one by one. I realized that my mattress was soaked. So I go to the bathroom. I start to realize how traumatizing this was, how bad this was in the moment. And I didn't know what. I was just trying to keep myself calm because I knew that I couldn't do anything too bad in this situation. So the first thing I did was I took a rag and I washed the piss off my own bed and I put all of the fucking piss covered things in a corner in the room. So I washed it all down and then I knew that I would have to leave eventually. So I put a sheet on my bed. I lay back down. I didn't know what else to do. So I lay back down and then the moment I wake up in the morning, I start to get my shit together. I get a bag. I start packing it. I start getting ready to leave this place. So after that, I leave and I go to another person's dorm, someone of my very close friends. I call campus security and I tell them what happened. I report this situation. I visit another dorm on campus And as I'm there, they tell me to go to the campus security desk and talk to them. So I talk to another CSO, which is a campus security officer. He then calls the police, and then another security campus officer talks to me. I explain the situation. I'm explaining how I don't feel safe going back there. And they are just like, okay, we understand, right? So then I talk to someone from Res Life, and I'm like, this is what's happening. I don't know what the fuck is going on. This happened to me. What are we gonna do? What are the next steps? And she's just like, oh, we can do nothing until Monday. This incident happened Saturday morning. So yesterday night, I had no place to stay. I had to stay at a friend's dorm. Thank God that I was able to stay somewhere, but like that should not be the exception.
All right, bro, I can't even take no more. I've been wanting to cut it off a minute ago. So I guess as parents, what is the good way to find?
That don't have nothing to do with the parents. Like she
She's
grown.
She's in college.
You didn't take a shower, so you was upset that she pissed on your mattress, but you wasn't upset she pissed on you.
Oh, so do you feel like that should have been the first thing you should have did is took a shower?
No, she should have beat her ass.
Well, you skipped to the. That's what I'm trying to
because the way she just explained it, she had to, like, she didn't confront the girl. She didn't do anything. She said, I had to take this off. I had to rub this down and all that.
That's why y'all missing my point. So that's why I said, as parents, how do you prepare your kid to be able to?
You don't prepare. You tell them like you stand up for yourself.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, but I think that's more of the college life too. So I mean.
What's part of the college life?
She's dramatic. She's
like what I'm saying. She probably spoiled. What can you? Oh, mommies. Somebody you probably like. Well, did you hit her? Did you do anything? Like, oh, I went to the CI. They said me they can't do that until Monday. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Whole time. I think y'all missing the point. But again, goes how you was raised. Because if you were raised, it's some people for a fact you wouldn't dare think twice about pissing on, because you know for a fact that would not the result in the conversation would have been, hey, I got locked up because I beat the snot out of my roommate for peeing on me. My whole point of it is your brain she sit here and cleaned her sheets and said she went back to bed, dog. She got pissed on. Her bed got pissed on, and she sit here and literally said, I cleaned my sheets, scrubbed my bed down and walked. Somebody, this is what I'm saying. I don't know how many of y'all will keep it real if y'all ever pissed in the bed when y'all was kids before. And if you pissed on yourself when you got a little bit older, for a fact you had to flip that mattress over. So for a fact that somebody pissed on you that much that it slipped through the mattress. Like, it wasn't a little dab of piss. Like, you talking about somebody real life, R. Kelly took a pee on you, dog. And so for the fact that somebody disrespected you like that, and the first thing you had audacity to do was sit here and leave the room and clean yourself, and they're gonna make a goddamn TikTok video, bro, that goes into parenting. That means you raised a fucking pussy. And that's why I asked.
You can't say that. What if she's a well-educated Western? Like, dog, you can't. Everybody's not into violence, dog. What are you saying?
That's some white people shit.
Yeah, like you acting like she's what school she went to?
She went to NYU.
So that's what I'm saying. You act like she this is in Morgan or something like that.
Hey, dog, I don't care listen to what I'm saying. I hear what you're saying. All that shit sound cool. I ain't sitting here saying you. That's why I asked the question I asked. No, listen to what I'm saying. This was the question I asked. I said, as parents, how do you find a good balance of, hey, I'm not trying to raise a YN, but I'm not trying to raise my kid to be so fucking soft that you allow somebody to pee on you, and you felt like I'm going to go clean my sheets and I'm going to go back to sleep. And then when I wake up, I'm going to make a TikTok video telling the world that I got pissed on.
Well, what I'm saying, for somebody who's never experienced that or had to be in those type of elements, like I said, when you go to college, you're around different people, you're around different races. It's brought up differently. So if my child was a straight A student, she's in school, whatever the case may be, why would I have to sit here and train her not to not let nobody push her over? Like I said, she never experienced that.
Because bullies are everywhere.
But everybody don't experience bullying. So that's what I'm saying. So if this is the first,
I feel like at some point in time, you're going to experience somebody trying to bully you. It don't matter on what level. At sometime you're going to experience that.
This is why I wanted to bring the question up.
She might be a bully. I feel like.
But that's what I'm saying. Everybody's going to experience. But what I'm telling you, how do you sit here and be like, hey, yeah, just what I'm saying. I'm not expecting if you ain't had no problems through high school, none of that.
So tell me, Marcus. Marcus, I got a question for you then. So since you feel that way, so do you feel like you're a straight A student? You should never teach your straight A student about sex, neither?
No, I wouldn't want them to die. No, hell no. I don't want them to be. No, hell no.
So you just want to send your green ass kid to college?
Hell,
don't know about sex. Don't know about how to defend yourself.
Yeah.
All right, dog. You just.
What do you mean? Did your father teach you about sex?
Yes,
Not
nigga,
teach
you was
but
right.
No,
teach them
nigga,
about
he
it.
used a light plug. He didn't teach us anything. Oh, he said just sticking that's you having sex. That's
Yo,
not
man,
teaching.
listen, no, hold,
Like, what do you?
no,
That's what I'm saying.
no,
Yo,
but
listen,
listen to what I'm saying though. It don't listen to what I'm saying. You're talking about the level of how good the teaching was. We've came up to it. We have had this conclusion and talked about this conversation. The level of parenting that our father did was fucking E for fucking effort, nigga. Cool, that's it. So I ain't sitting here, but he tried. It ain't like you acting like he ain't never have a conversation with you. We ain't saying how level of how good it was or how bad it was, but that goes to my point again when we talk about parenting is how involved are you going to be and how prepared are you going to have your kid for life. That's my point. Like, listen to what I'm saying. This kid has no life skills. Yeah, it's cool. You raised a smart kid. Your kid is brilliant. They go to a great school in New York City, but your kid don't have no life experience. Like, this to me is literally what I'm listening to. Somebody who, you're super smart on books and on paper, but as a human being, you don't know how to react.
But then also, but that's what I'm saying. But when you say parenting, but do you also like your siblings? Where's your siblings at? It's more so your siblings are more close to you and know what you're going through than your parents are. So that's what I'm just saying. Like I get it when you say, your parents are what you're supposed to teach. I can't teach you everything. I can tell you, you shouldn't let this happen. You shouldn't do this. But your life, you didn't go through those experiences. Then how can I really tell you that? It's more so like, I learned more from my brother or what he did, or he told me don't do this, defend myself, stick up for this. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, you say parenting, but what about your siblings or anything like that? If you didn't have nobody around you, how would you know?
Well, they could have taught her to do exactly what she did. Like, oh my God, turn the other cheek and go tell. They could have taught her that. Nonviolence. Like, everybody teaches their kids different.
Yeah,
It has to be a balance. But you got to, don't be a bully. Don't go looking for fights, but you don't let nobody put their hands on you.
That's I'm not gonna lie.
So now they're keeping in that same sense that whatever that the girl pissed on her. Now, if she would have sit here and stabbed her, right? Now, would you would have been like, damn, I didn't teach her to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, would you feel the same way? Because like you said, you telling them.
Listen, if you want me to give you my honest, answer, I will probably appreciate my kid stabbing somebody than sitting here making a TikTok video about getting pissed on. If you sit here saying somebody got on top of you and pissed on you, dog, it ain't nothing. I don't know. I think that's the top tier level of disrespect. That and spitting on somebody hog spitting in your face and somebody peeing on you, dog. Because you never gonna and then you sit here and recorded it and talked about it via social media. So now the world know this. Like, you ain't even take this L. Like, it's a different. If you telling me, listen to what I'm saying. If your kid is that soft, I would recommend, if you're gonna be that soft, then take your L in private. But you cannot sit here and take this type of L and then go make a TikTok about it. Because that just tell me that, like, everything has went completely wrong in your life besides you know how to do schoolwork. Because nobody ain't had no real life.
You ain't had no friends. Like, you didn't. That's what I'm just like.
Man, fuck your friends, dog. You better not let nobody fucking pee on you, dog. You
But
better
that's
sit
what I'm
here
saying.
and,
But
even
that's
if
what
you
I'm saying.
can't fight, you better learn. You better.
And that's what I'm saying. For you to sit here and go to TikTok, explain this whole situation, you didn't call nobody, be like, hey, this bitch just pissed on me. That's what. No, like I said, you say the parents, but it's her too.
Well, don't that go back to the school teacher that got beat up by the kids?
Oh yeah, we could real quick, because I guess we could tie that in because there's no audio to that. You could watch the visual. So Erica sent the video of I believe it was like an older man. He looked like he was probably like maybe in his 70s something. And he was working at a high school, and some kids. It looked like him. I don't know if it was some kids already getting into it, and the older gentleman was trying to step in between, or him and one of the students were getting into it. But it started off where him and one of the students was getting into it, and you can tell the body language of the student. The student wasn't kind of rocking for what he was saying, and this kind of goes tied it again when I say you just need the good balance of you don't want to be raising a wide end, because this like I said, this don't have no. This kind of all I watched in that video, I just was like, oh, this kid wasn't just raised right, because you should never put your hands on nobody, a damn near a senior citizen. But again, that's still when Erica sent the video and she was like, hey, okay, if this was y'all dad, what would you do? I'm like, you old enough that you lied to yourself. You thought your hands worked and they didn't work. As a grown man,
the boy hit him. The boy hit him first.
Cool, but listen to what I'm telling you. As an old man, if you listen to what I'm saying, and this is just something that men have to understand, and you know the difference is, and I'm gonna tell you why you know the difference, because when we watch not Shannon Sharp, but Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James, when you seen like we were just going off of body language, and you seen how Stephen A. Smith shoulders lowered and it was like almost like cowardless, like even from a cat, some cats is like scared if you go get out of here and they just run, and then some cats you go and that motherfucker. It's a difference. That old ass man knew he didn't want no bump for real. So you shouldn't have raised your voice. You shouldn't have got into no type of altercation where it was going to lead to that level. And of course, you didn't know that the kid was going to pop up on you, but you could tell by the body language of that little boy before he stole on that old man. You can look at his body kind of tense up and like he wanted some bump. And he gave that old ass nigga what he wanted, and then the rest of the kids jumped him. But I mean, again, as a man, you have to be honest with yourself and don't jump yourself out in certain situations. I don't care how old or how young you is. One of the biggest learning lessons you need to understand is one, to be able to read people's body languages and then understand how good your hands work or they don't work. Because if they don't work, then you need to be a little bit more like this girl and call the police. If you can't lie to yourself, listen to what I'm saying. The only person you got to look in the mirror to and keep it real with yourself is you. You know if your hands work or not. I don't care how young or how old you are, because I tell y'all this all the time. When I go to the gym, it's some old men that I be looking at this old nigga like, oh, this old nigga is crazy. And he ready for somebody to sit here and play with him in this gym because he going to give you every bit of hell. I don't care how old he is. And this is what I'm saying. I don't think sometimes with age, this is what I'm telling you. With age, I don't necessarily know if your temper like turn like it cut off. Like some old people just kind of just still wired a little bit fucked up. Like you ever seen an old person that served time in the military or something? Like some of them people be off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But that old man just looked like he probably been too old to even keep a job, and maybe it's because of Trump messing up the Social Security, so he still got to work. But I don't think somebody that old should be playing around with high school kids anyway. Like you should kind of just stay out the way. That was my only thing. Like watching that video was kind of like I felt bad for him because he's an old man, but at the same time I kind of was like, I mean, yeah, you know your hands don't work, dog.
But he
like you know that. Like you knew, like that old nigga didn't stand a chance with them kids.
Right, but I don't think he was the aggressor.
He wasn't trying to fight him.
I don't think he was trying to fight. Like you can't.
No, he tried, but that's why the rest of them jumped in. After that first young boy popped off on him, he kind of was like, "Oh, you want some?" Like that old man act like he wanted some smoke, and he tried to swing and try to get one of them. And then I think he even hit the dude who hit him first. And that's when some of the other young dudes jumped in, and they got their licks on him. And then he tried to grab one of them, and then that's when somebody else came. Like, bro, he just was old, and he kind of should have just known his like, nah, dog.
So you just gonna like all day? You shouldn't have been running your mouth.
Basically, nigga, you know better. I can't. It ain't too. I can't. Man, I don't know. You old. You should just know. All I'm just saying is you should know better. I guess real quick because while we was talking about dating, I should have played my man right after we talked about Shannon Sharp and talking about low men with insecurities.
You took a trip to Vegas.
Hold on, real quick. Before I play this clip, this is the dude who's on Pop the Balloon with the OD, with all the Beijing and with all the big stupid jewelry and all the fake designer. So for people, I'm sure y'all seen it. He done been viral plenty of times. We just talked about him on the show a couple of times. So this is him getting caught and called out on flying in, not flying, but taking the pictures in a fake jet.
I'm about to. So basically, you said that you was on a private jet. But the internet went and done its research. They found a private jet that looks like the one that you was in. But the only difference with the one that they found is that one doesn't fly. So the one that they found, you can actually rent out on Peerspace for, I believe, for about $130 an hour. Yeah. All right, so can you please confirm to the world if you was on a real private jet?
At that point, I was not on a real private jet. Really, because the real answer is I wasn't able to charter one at the time. It wasn't unavailable because it was a holiday.
Corny as shit,
but I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it anyway. I could have did it in my crib, in my Rolls Royce, any of my cars. I did it on purpose to get people's attention. But I do fly private jets all the time. I've been posting on my page.
So basically, you're saying that you wanted attention.
I found it funny.
So you took a trip to Vegas.
So listen to what I'm saying. No, two things, but listen to what I'm saying. Two things for the sir. And again, that's why I said even when his clips go viral, that's why I always kept telling y'all, I think he be doing this because he want the attention. But again, I could tie this into what the Shannon Sharp thing is. I do think some men are so insecure, you do corny stuff. And this is just a perfect example of a man who's insecure in who he is just as a man, that he do a bunch of extra corny shit for attention. That's my point, because if you wasn't insecure in who you was, you wouldn't sit here. One had a stupid, this nigga literally, his whole beard is Beijing, bro. Like that right there off the gate is like, I ain't sitting here, I'm not judging nobody who use a little bit of spray enhancer. Cool with the enhancer, but his whole entire beard is Beijing, bro. That right there is the biggest flag of all red flags. That right there off the gate is out of pocket, but then he still got all this stupid monkey ass jewelry on, and it's not even real jewelry. That's the difference. And when you look, and that's the difference. And shout out to Shedeur, shout out to Jalen. It's a difference between when you be looking at niggas jewelry and that shit really be hitting, and then some of it just be fool. His shit is just flu, and he just do it again for attention, because there are some people out here who will entertain that. Because guess what? If the internet didn't do their research, I would never know. I didn't know you could sit here and pay and rent to take pictures in a private jet that don't move. Like that to me. But again, think about how
like if you did a photo shoot.
I get it. But I just would have never thought even looking into that. But that because I'm not, but again, I'm not trying to impress people, or I'm not that insecure in who I am as a man to sit here and want to do something that stupid and that corny. To me, that's corny, bro. Like what that? Why would you pay to? Why would listen to what I'm saying? And this the crazy thing is a difference between like if you just would have took a picture in it, cool. But the fact that you would sit here recording like you was about to fly off when you was doing the little dating jump, like bro, that's corny. Like why would you do that? Like you sit here making like, oh, you're about to catch this flight.
Bow Wow, when the Bow Wow challenge.
Yeah, but Bow Wow was different. Like, I mean, the Bow Wow was corny for when he did it, but Bow Wow was different. Like, come on, dog. I ain't about to disrespect Bow Wow like that and put Bow Wow.
No, I'm not. But you remember when that happened, and people
for sure. And they was doing people doing the Bow Wow challenge, of course.
So I mean, that's what I'm saying. People do it. You'd be surprised. A lot of people do it.
Yeah, that's corny though. But that, again, that's I still feel like that's a form of insecurity. I don't care how y'all want to dress it up or how you want to make it seem like it is. As a man, you got to go through that type of lengths to get people's attention or to get women attention or think women to want you to feel or look like you are attractive to women. You got to sit here and go fake like you're on a private jet. Like, bro, hang it up. It's cool. Like, whatever you feel like you are lacking, it's okay. I'm listening to what I'm saying. For any man who hear my voice, there's nothing wrong with just shutting it down and figuring out whatever if you make a list for yourself, you sit and say, these are the top 5 reasons why women don't find me attractive, whatever, or why I can't keep a woman. Make that top 5 list for yourself and look in the mirror and figure it out. And it's nothing wrong with holding yourself accountable till you can check off those 5 things and just don't date. Like, I think people be acting like it's a fucking crime not to date. It's not a crime. As long as you can live with yourself with it, it's cool, dog. Like, don't sit here and allow. Man, I hope I saved this junk. Because Van Lathan had this lady. She was a sex therapist on his junk. I hope I saved this junk because when she was talking about people watching porn, I hope I saved this. Please tell me I saved it. Please tell me I saved it. Man, I don't think I did. Fuck.
You liked it?
Yeah, but I'll be liking too much shit, so I gotta go to his actual page. Real quick, while we was on it, I do want to play this clip of this lady who was in the junk. Hold on, I know I can find it. Just go to videos real quick. Oh, here you go. Yeah.
It is really understanding like what porn watch and usage does for the person. And a lot of it could be, it helps me wind down, it helps me de-stress, it helps me go to sleep. A lot of these things are like ritual based. A lot of people watch porn regularly to fall asleep. I think that we do lots of things like that. People drink tea or they might meditate, and some people watch porn. But the reason that it is so kind of like shamed and relegated to the shadows is because it has to do with pleasure. It has to do with you feeling good. And I think especially for Black people, the world benefits when we don't. So when we don't feel good, when we don't feel access to ourselves or our bodies, when we're super cerebral and in our heads and we are just focused on like doing and achieving and all of that, then we have no idea that we can be community-based, connect with each other, feel good, feel liberation.
Are you saying that watching porn is pro-Black? Because I could get with that.
I think that I could say that. I think it could be said.
Oh,
what? Does it depend what type of porn you're watching?
Oh,
I think that I would have to ask the person.
Not
Black vamp.
Again, of course, I think that was just him being a little bit funny, but I do agree with, I think sometimes people you got to be okay with kind of locking in on yourself. I got two relationship topics that I want to play. I want to play this clip of this lady who,
he's a pro.
Her husband tried to unalive her, but she ended up living, and he ended up taking his own life. So I want to play this clip, and then I want to ask y'all: would you write the obituary? Would you write the obituary for your significant other if they end up trying to take your life, but you end up living and they end up passing? So let me play this clip, and while y'all think about it, just let me play this clip, and then y'all can give me your answer.
No, Friday, because I gotta look at him to make sure he dressed right and all that. To make sure he's appropriate. Make sure he look good going away from here. Yeah. So I don't even know how that's gonna make me feel. I've not seen this man since this has happened. I have not talked to this man since this happened. Know that God has you. My ex just tried to. Yolanda Mack inboxed me. I'm not going to read your Thing out personally about your ex. I don't blame you for doing what you feel is right. You married your husband. For good, for bad, for better, for worse, to death do us part. And death did us part. You tried to kill me, and look what happened to you. My God. So, with that being said, I got to get off of here because I got to figure out something right on this paper unless I take the motherfucker down there and tell her to do it herself.
So my
no.
You wouldn't do it?
Fuck no.
Hell no. Why would I?
Kiss my motherfucking dick.
Would y'all go to the funeral?
Fuck no.
Why would I?
Oh, what if y'all got kids together?
Don't care. He tried
Do
to
you think
kill me.
would you go if that was your father?
No, I wouldn't go, period. But listen, I'm just asking though, because I do feel like that put you in a tricky situation.
They
Like,
put
if
me in
y'all got
shit,
kids-
niggas try to kill me.
You tried to
Fuck
kill
no.
me. Why would I go?
I'd be like, what's shorty what's the one that's when OJ died? She said that shit. Caitlyn Jenner. Hell yeah,
Like
fuck that shit.
a week.
Hold on, I hope ain't no music.
I can't even believe I'm making this video right. So maybe like a week or two.
All right, well, I can't do it. So this, just real quick, because I don't know for people if you hear, because I don't want to play because the music is about to blow me. So this was this girl who I guess she was making like one of those little cute little couple videos via, you know, like TikTok or whatever the case may be. So her boyfriend was coming like she had a Ring camera on her door, and she lived in an apartment, and he was coming like every day with different little gifts. Sometimes it was like toilet paper and paper towels for the house with some flowers or some balloons and some flowers, whatever the case may be. So this was like from like she probably had like, let's say 20 videos. So she had them like she did a compilation jump. She was just showing them. So after she posted, I don't know what he did. He must have did something like foul out of pocket, because after people reached out to her, because of course, you know, the video on social media, especially on TikTok, it would be a random video like that will end up going viral, which it did. Now, again, listen to what I'm saying. I'm painting the picture. This man was coming to her door, like literally it was 20 separate videos. Him coming to her ring, because she got the camera, the little ring light jump on her door. So he was coming I'm talking about at least 20 videos of him coming to her house, and every time he came to her house, he never was empty-handed. So it was flowers and toilet paper, or flowers and dish detergent. It was like he was bringing stuff for her house or whatever case may be, or sometimes it'd just be flowers and balloons. So again, like I said, she posted the video on TikTok. People sit here, reached out to her. Maybe let's just sit here and say allegedly he was like doing something, he did something bad to another woman or something. So she ended up breaking off with him. So after she ended up breaking up with him, the dude, I hope I can I skip it and stop playing the music?
I would have never expected this from him. I would have never expected him to react in the way that he was reacting.
What's up, bro? I got that shut.
Yeah.
I got that shut.
Things are over between us.
Yeah. Not right now, bro.
He was a great man during the relationship, but I'm glad that I saw him for what he really was after the fact that we were no longer together. I moved on. Yeah.
No.
So I guess I may have stopped the play, started it early, but basically it seemed, and from people was in the comment section when I seen this on one of them blog pages, and people was in the comment section, they heard the same thing I heard, and they seen a dude, because I guess after they broke up, the dude was kicking the door, bank trying to get into the apartment, so another dude opened the door. And everybody was like, damn, she said they was only broke up for like a week or two. Again, when I painted the picture, and that's why I said this man came to her jump like 20 different times to her door with flowers and balloons. So y'all was that locked into a relationship. I don't know what he did, but the fact that she moved on that fast and they was only broke up for like 2 weeks, and that was because she found out some information that she didn't like, because the video went viral, so people reached out and said whatever the case may be, so he may have, but though she had another man in there 2 weeks later, dog. I was like, oh man, you dirty B word. Like, come on, dog. Like, how? And that's again, y'all know I stand firm on just, bro. Give me 3 to 5 years. Maybe they wasn't together for that long, so I ain't supposed to say that long. But dog, at least give it 2 or 3 months. Like, can you act like we was in a real like?
Maybe they wasn't in a real relationship. Maybe they was dating,
and you was love bombing her.
Nah, no. How you? Because you posted the video because you was in love, like you was loving what I was doing, the way I was showing up. You was excited about this, like you was showing this off to the world. But then when you showed it off to the world, people just like listen and say you posting your significant other. Oh, like doing look at all the cool stuff they do for me, and then somebody be like, hey, you know, such and such is he's a sex offender. So then she probably questioned him. He probably admitted it. Oh yeah, this happened before, blah, blah, blah. Then she cut it off. But okay, cool. So but that still.
Do they give you a route to cut it off?
Hell yeah, what you mean? Nigga, if I didn't know that you was on the freaky list.
But you didn't do your homework, like you said, right? If you don't know me or you don't know everything, you didn't do your homework.
Okay, but listen to what I'm saying. I hear what you're saying. That would be cool, but if you are one of those type of people, to me that could happen to me because I would never ask nobody them type of questions. Like, hey, have you ever been locked up for anything? Like, I'm not asking nobody that. Like, I have never in my life asked somebody that because I just wouldn't care. And I'm not that judgmental of a person. Like, I've never so y'all telling me y'all done ask people like you've been dating somebody like, hey, have you ever been locked up before?
I mean, that's not really a question. That's not a question you ask.
That's my point. So that's why I could easily go. I can understand how she wouldn't know and tell somebody else, bring it to her attention.
But that's what I'm saying. So how do you? Because if it was a thing of the past, right? So if you're saying like, let's just use you hypothetically, right? Let's just say, all right, in high school you got charged messing with a minor, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say you was 19, the girl was 15. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. It wasn't that big of a gap, but that's in that state. They still a charge. So then now later on you dating and then saw a girl do a case search and she saw that you got charged for that, and she's like, oh, I can't deal with you because you did. But like that was so long ago, I grown past it. That's not fair.
It depends on the circumstance.
Yeah, I think it depends on the circumstance.
What you just said, like, okay, you didn't know she was 15. So
I think that one's a little bit different. I'm sure it had to be something way more serious than that because I think what you did the scenario you just used, I feel like for most people with just kind of common sense or kind of any real decency or know how people date, especially with that age group. I don't like you saying, okay, you was 19, she was 15. That was kind of like both of y'all could have been in high school damn near at the same time. So that to me just wouldn't seem like I wouldn't break up with somebody over some shit like that. But I'm talking about somebody real life. If you was on that, or you was on that goddamn, you was Nicki Minaj's husband and you on that goddamn list. Like you gotta register.
But wasn't he the same? Wasn't his both of them was young too? His joint?
Yeah, I think his was a little bit more different than that. Like he used a knife or some crazy stuff like that. So like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not mad at her for cutting it off, but I'm just mad at her for moving on so fast. Like, bro, how do you move on that fast? Like you was literally just showing this man off and he was like, nah, dog. That one to me is crazy. I ain't rocking for that one. We can play this clip of these balls.
Over a client, and one pulled out a gun and shot the other.
It happened on Carmia Drive at the popular Camp Creek Marketplace. Well, good evening to you both. Those who knew both of these barbers are just stunned by this outcome. Now, Atlanta police say the barber who did the shooting actually flagged an officer down and turned himself in.
To find out at the hands of another barber, it just blew me away.
Rohalium Knight still can't believe his barber was shot and killed by a 39-year-old coworker at the barber shop in the Publix Plaza on Cormia Drive. Knight had an appointment this afternoon with the man he says was gentle, kind, and a devoted father of 5.
And loved his kids. We talked about him all the time. And it just, like I said, I just spoke with him yesterday. And today to find out he was deceased is just shocking to me.
Atlanta police say when they arrived on the scene this morning, the shooter was turning himself in.
Two barbers got into a dispute over a
one thing I say this all the time. One thing about moving to them red states, you got to be very careful because them people down south a little bit off and they're a little too trigger happy. Because even for the fact that other barber turned himself in, I'm sure in his mind he feel like he could be able to beat this charge, or it's going to be a lesser charge because he turned himself in. And like I said, just I don't know what it is about people in the south, but they be just too trigger happy for me. I ain't gonna lie to you. You got your gun game got to really be on point for you to sit here and play them type of games. Even thinking about moving down.
Was the reason why
they was arguing over a customer. So I guess maybe one of the barbers took the other barber's he took the other barber's customer.
Damn, you a good tipper?
I don't know, dog. I honestly don't know how that one worked. Shit, it was a jump. I'm looking for this.
3:35 a.m. and a Las Vegas Strip hotel surveillance system captures 25-year-old Brian Altamirano Solano walking hand in hand with 2 women to his hotel room for a night of fun. Those 2 women, 21-year-old Erica Covington and 22-year-old Ariana Taylor, had just met Brian minutes earlier in the valet area of the hotel. Less than 15 minutes later, another camera captured Erica and Ariana running through a hallway carrying the bag that Brian was seen wearing earlier. 8 hours later, housekeeping entered the hotel room and discovered Brian's lifeless body. police started an investigation into the crime and found 2 explicit videos on Brian's phone that included Erica and Ariana, which led to the arrest of the 2 women. Although it's unclear which of the 2 did exactly what, it is believed that one of the 2 women shot Brian. They both robbed him of his personal belongings and then fled the scene.
I deeply, genuinely apologize for the grief and the pain that has been brought upon you guys' family.
They were both sentenced to 10 to 25 years, with the exact time served being determined by the parole board when they are eligible to be released in 2035.
The reason why I wanted to play that, again, sometimes I'd be mad that I don't play clips closer to where they should be, but that's what I'm talking about, just discipline as a man. And again, listen, what I'm saying, I ain't trying to have niggas out here living like no goddamn saint and telling you to sit here and never get no cheeks again, but you have to be very careful and just have a lot more better discernment for yourself when you just out here moving around. And that's what I'm saying, and I don't want to sit here and make it seem like this can happen literally to anybody. But again, when we sit here saying, I listen to what I'm saying, I don't, when I'm speaking, especially for people who may be new here, because I see this video kind of just jumping around on YouTube right now. I'm not sitting here making it seem like I'm some saint or some goddamn person who ain't never. I'm talking, just what I'm telling you. Shannon Sharp would need every last one of them 70 million views to be able to do anything with me, period, when it comes to dating women. So all I'm just sitting here still saying is, though, I know for a fact, that's why I can say, I know it's been times in my brain where it'd be like, dog, you probably was cutting it a little too close because you was just thinking with your dick more than actually taking time to realistically think about these situations that you put yourself in, because so many men do it. And I think that, and realistically, you don't have those real thoughts until you get older. So I'm listening. I'm saying, if you're in your 20s and you listening to me right now, I know it's gonna go out of one ear out the other. You ain't trying to hear nothing that I'm saying, because trust and believe, I've heard the same exact thing. And there's a lot of things that I heard in my 20s I wish I would have actually listened to, but thinking with your brain instead of thinking with your dickhead, 9 times out of 10, you never gonna hear. Especially if you OD and when you young and late night and you horny, that's when you realistically you make your worst decisions. Those decisions, I've drove before 2 hours for some cheeks before. Like that, what's it like Salisbury, Maryland? I want to say I might be dragging a little bit. It may not be 2 hours on the nose, but it's like an hour and 40. Driving an hour and 40 or 2 hours for some boxes.
Salisbury, yeah, it's about 2 hours. So
but listen to what I'm saying. So that don't, but listen to what I'm saying. And just and now you some more 20 years later, that don't make no sense for me, because you know how though that could have went extremely bad. Because I'm gonna tell you 2 things which you not most common sense people not gonna do. If you ride 2 hours for some box, you ain't even gonna ride with no strap, because you know the further you ride out, wherever you normally live, if it's 2 hours away, that means the police is gonna be 100 times stricter on your ass. So if you get caught with anything, now listen, if you really about that life, then cool, you might chance it and just do you. But all I'm just sitting here saying is, I realistically sometimes I think so far back and be like, though, it's so many different chances I know I probably could have lost my life from just chasing some cheeks. Cause it just be there, and it be there at the random times, it be there at the wrong spaces. And I ain't talking about just some, I ain't talking about nothing like you doing the wild sex stuff. I'm talking about just where you going to get the box, or how long you have not known this woman. Just because she slide up in your DM off at 3 o'clock in the morning, or just because you met her at the club and she be like, oh, I got my own spot. Like you see, and I could tie that into a video that Erica sent. It was on TikTok, and the dude was at this girl house, and it was a nigga trying to kick in her door. And he kept saying, who is it? Who is it? And I don't know why he opened the door, but he ended up opening. And let's be clear, he ended up smoking whoever was trying to come into the jump. But the whole point of it is, you was just at some girl house and some random. I can't even sit here and say with some random dude, because maybe the dude was dealing with the girl and he knew you was there. I don't know. And I think sometimes as men, we don't be thinking about some of these things when you in the heat of the moment. And that's why sometimes I keep saying it's okay to take breaks, especially if you know that you kind of can't cut your horny off. If you find yourself being too horny, and you always hear people laugh and joke about, post nut clarity. Sometimes realistically, you may just need to sit here and cut some porn on and try to shake one out real quick and think, dude, would you still want to sit here and bust that move after? And then listen, I'm sure for most dudes, if you feel like you can't get another round up to be able to sit here and chance watching the porn and then try to go get some cheeks, well, then maybe that's just another sign for you to still need to stay your ass in the house then. But that's just sometimes when you really think about it, I'm sure if you have lived enough in life, or you tried to really be outside and really be getting some box, you think I'm sure most, if you, we talking about enough, I'm not talking about no nigga who only done had sex with like 10 women before. You got to be up there to really kind of use your brain in this situation. It get tricky, dog. Like I can just really be thinking like, there's so many reckless pussy moves I went on just because I was just being horny. And it could have easily went left. Like, look at this nigga. I'm sure he thought he in a hotel with two Jones, and they wasn't bad looking Jones. They look crazy when they went to jail, but at that moment when he walking with them through the casino, he looked like he caught him a lick, and he was probably like, "Oh, y'all about to have me a nice little threesome."
Yeah, but then I think it's also on you though. That you I think you like what you deal with. Like even you making that trip out of what's name, I'm pretty sure it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm about to, you know what I'm saying? You just ain't know the girl. But every who has made trips out to females that you don't know first night.
But listen, what I'm saying though, but realistically, that ain't safe. I'm not saying, I'm listening, that's why I said everybody has done it, but I'm sitting here saying that don't mean because everybody did it, don't mean it's right neither.
So what's the difference between you going in the hood to go see a bitch that you knew for all your life, but she live in a bad neighborhood, and you going out somewhere where you drove 2 hours?
And, you know, listen, guess what? And listen, I think both of them are wrong if you value your life. Like, bro, you got to be careful. Like everything. Listen to what I'm saying. After a certain, listen, when you young, you think you invincible, or you think you know everybody. Or I know somebody in this hood. I'm good. So you don't care. Listen to what I'm saying. After when you're younger, you don't care about a lot of stuff. You don't value life the same. But I'm telling you, after a while, some of those things where you kind of be like, bro, was it really worth it? When you sit here and really be like, is it really worth it? And the older you get, it be just like, bro, a bro could be like, oh, I live in this neighborhood. I'm cool. I'm never coming over there. And you have to be, listen to what I'm saying. When I'm saying check your horny, you have to be cool enough to sit here and say, I'm not going to this neighborhood, blah, 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 or she live on this side of town just to get some box. Because if I'm sitting here just weighing out the options of, oh, this could happen, that could happen. Even when we sit here talking about, I could tie this into going to events. A homegirl of mine, she DM'd me, the Coco Jones. Coco Jones will be here, May 7th. I believe that is next Wednesday or Tuesday. What day is that? That is... yeah, that's hold on, let me look. What's May 7th?
Should be Wednesday.
Is that a Wednesday? May 7th?
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo is that
the 5th? No, that's Wednesday. Yeah, that's Wednesday. So May 7th is on a Wednesday. So Coco Jones and Lady London is here, and she was like, "Oh, you know, I love both of them. I wouldn't mind going there, but I don't like going to DC because of just how many people be breaking into cars at these events. Like it's not worth it."
Yeah.
So that's my
I don't
point.
go to no. I don't. Yeah.
So, but that's what. So listen to what I'm saying. Though, but just think about. Listen to what I'm saying. It's at echo stage. But again, when you see his, that's how you think now as an adult. But think about how much stuff you've been to echo stage when you were in your 20s. Right, and how far you parked, and you was going. And this is what I was even telling her. I'm like, bro, and I was like, no disrespect to Coco Jones. I love Coco Jones, and y'all know I love Lady London. I don't think that I don't think this event will be on the boys who break into cars. I don't think this will be on their radar because I don't think this event will be big enough.
Still be just because. I don't think it has to be a certain event. Now it might because it's to the week, events. But no, but because it's during the week. Now if it was on the weekend, if it was on the weekend, I think that might be a little bit.
On the weekend,
because during the week,
on the weekend it's completely different because you're just making your rounds. If I break into cars, I'm just breaking the cars. I'm just doing my thing. I'm just driving around trying to figure it out. Let me catch this, whatever.
Because shit, how many people you think about talking about when they be parking at the games for the Wizards games and they shit get busted?
Listen to what I'm saying though. That be my point of even when we talk about sporting events and when people sit here and say, well, I don't be this athlete or this team's bring on all these people. Sometimes for certain things, it be a lot of scenarios that keep people from going. Like we talk about it even with the Mystics. Like, bro, the Mystics play in the hood. Like I'm debating on like, damn, which one of these games I want to go to. Because now even sometimes I'm like, when I told you when the first time I found out about the Mystics be playing at them camp games, and I didn't even know they was camp games at the time. I just seen this lady when she was saying she was going to a game and it was like 11 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, wow, the Mystics playing that early. Of course, now that I follow the WNBA, I understand that it's a camp game. But still, I'm thinking like, damn, I may want to sit here and go to one of them games. So even when I told you, probably the only joint I may go to is the joint when they play out what's that joint in Manassas, Virginia, when they play at that whatever that college is out there at the Eagle Bank joint. I may only go to that one because we talking about parking, we talking about just areas, but that's when you're being older, so your mind is a little bit wise and you think about things, you play scenarios out completely. Like if you sit here and told me somebody was like, and that's why I kind of don't be knowing why people be so pressed to be like, oh, the Redskins should go back to the RFK. Who want to go there, bro? Like people want to go somewhere, baby, to park their car and don't feel like their car about to get broken into. Nobody's going to. I guarantee you. I'm not saying yeah. Well, it may probably be way more white people at the Redskin games if they move it back to RFK. But we talking about diehard Redskin fans. Niggas is going to think twice about driving all the way down to RFK just to know saying that my car might get broken into.
But I think, the RFK it was kind of more of because a lot of people the Metro was right there coming out the Metro. I don't think because I mean, like I said, when we went to the games, we was on the Metro. It wasn't no parking. Nobody was parking there.
I mean, we gonna see. We gonna see. Me personally, I just wouldn't do it. And again, like I said, I know that rant was kind of all over the place, but just the bigger purpose of the bigger point of that rant was, bro, everything ain't worth it. Just think twice about your horny and kind of try, if you can, catch yourself in real time and be like, is it worth it? Or how left could this scenario be? Or is this too good to be true? And sometimes and listen to what I'm saying. I'm here telling you these stories, STD free, never had to pay for abortion or none of those things. So I can't make, like, sometimes God just may be on your side. So that's why I ain't trying to scare niggas. I don't want niggas to not get no box, but I just do want people to kind of think about how things go. So like, and maybe sometimes it just only happened to rich people, but I'd be like, damn, just think about like how you hear about some of these jobs, like with people sitting here saying like, think about how many threesomes you had. And then it may just been like, I'd be thinking about it now where it's just be like, maybe I just be thinking too much. Because now when you think about certain shit, it just be like, damn, how this shit could have just went left, or this could like.
But that's what I'm saying, and you probably didn't even know it. But I did have a scenario with like that, and I text you and Tony where I was at. But like I said, it was a scenario where I was in the hotel, whatever, with these girls, and Shorty's brother came because she knew she was with the girl, and he was looking for the friend. He come banging, knocking on the door. Like I said, you had those scenarios, but like I said, at the end of the day, it's just you're not thinking about that. You're like, oh, I about to have me some fun, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not, damn, her brother, that's her husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not thinking about that.
Again, listen to what I'm saying though, and that's what I'm saying is that's why you should have these conversations. And even when you talk about parenting, you talk about, or even people, somebody should have these conversations with you, because if you don't hear these scenarios, then you're gonna always think every time a move is gonna be just green, and it's not.
Yeah, but that's why like, even when you said that before, yeah, my parents are not going to tell me this. I go off of life experience or hearing it from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go off of that, what you heard in the neighborhood. Just like when us growing up with Mike, we thought he's like, damn, oh, no, I ain't gonna never be, stand. But he had all these bitches and all this wild shit. Like, oh yeah, you could do this. Like, no, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have a lot of experience, but you go off of what you see and what you hear.
Oh, okay, now I guess we can change topics in 2 seconds. I guess my question would be is, do you think realistically you should, if you don't want to have some of these uncomfortable conversations with your kids, do you think you should take your kids to see other movies outside of kiddie movies? Because sometimes you can see certain scenarios play out in the movie, and then you can maybe the movie can trigger a different conversation with your kid.
I think it all depends on how the.
Because if your kid only sees a bunch of kiddie shit, I think you can kind of,
yeah, but I mean,
you could be doing a disservice to your kid as well.
But then I think it's how, because like even today, like the how they say, oh, you're taking it too far with some of the shit they be showing, but then it's just like. I think it's more of a cheat, like when you think you're seeing a kiddie movie and then it turns out you seeing more than, like them little, I forgot what the little shit that they was one of them little Gotham City joints. And everybody thought, oh, it was supposed to be Batman, but the whole time it was more they doing drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was more of a grown up than it was the actual Batman shit. But like I said, something like that, I don't think it's kind of hard. Like, sometimes you don't expect that conversation. Now, if they ask you, but do you explain it right off the rip? Oh yeah,
no. So what I'm saying is, like, let's sit here and say if Boys in the Hood was coming out like tomorrow, but you never seen Boys in the Hood before, but you know what Boys in the Hood is. Should you let your kids see Boys in the Hood? Like, if Boys in the Hood was a brand new movie, and Boys in the Hood was about to come out this weekend, do you think even at the age of your kids? Do you think now that you should take your kids to see Boys in the Hood just so their brain could get a little taste of a different reality than from just the kid stuff that they get into?
No,
not a his. No, I mean, because that is not their reality. So,
did you see Boys in the Hood when it first came out?
It took me a while to see Boys in the Hood.
What when you was a kid? What was the first like grown up movie you seen? We seen Boys in the Hood, and we was his kid's age.
But that was a family out. It wasn't just mom took us. It was everybody was going.
It don't matter, nigga. We still went. You still
right. But so that's what I'm saying. But that's everybody. You talking about taking your kids? Hey, let's go see. No, I wouldn't take my kids to see something like that. Like, this was like some, hey, we all about to go see. Hey, all right, cool. I don't want them, like, everybody's going. Then all right, cool.
So Boys in the Hood.
Say instead of having a conversation, take them to a movie about something that you would like to talk to them about,
or just so they can see different life experiences, so they can start different conversations. Like, if I listen here and say if
Like when you took them to see Deadpool, like I'm pretty sure that 9 times of the shit was 10 times. You know,
Yeah, but I mean, but Deadpool ain't nothing but somebody cussing. It's not no real storyline behind it. It's just cussing. Like,
yeah, but it's still, but that's what I'm saying. Like the conversation might be like, damn, well, why he showed his nut? You know what I'm saying? Like those conversations might still be there, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think I want to sit here and be like, oh, let's go see Boys in the Hood. I don't live in the hood.
Oh, no,
My kids don't
okay, so cool. So okay, then let's take it out of Boys in the Hood. Do you think me personally, just because I've seen it, I think parents should take their kids to see Sinners. Because it ain't no nudity, so it's just. But I feel like I feel like if your kids is actually paying attention to the movie, I think it can take a different conversation for the kids to have, or even something like Magazine's Dreams, where I haven't seen it yet, still. But from just the clips that I've seen, it just seemed like somebody who was a bodybuilder that was on steroids, and he was trying to. Because like I said, I think it's different life experiences. Because if you look at somebody who sit here and try to chase their dreams, where we just going off of the Magazine Dreams, on off of just whatever clips I've seen. Off of somebody trying to chase their dreams, he wanted to be a bodybuilder, and then he ended up getting strung out on drugs because him mixing drugs with steroids or whatever the case may be. I think if your kids watch that type of movie, even if they can, I think you can have a conversation with your kid after the movie over. Because I do think it's hard for parents to just have random real adult conversations with their kids. But I feel like if you find clever ways to trigger their brains, so you can sit here and say, hey, this is what you've seen, and this is what happened, blah blah blah, and this is why you shouldn't do blah blah blah. Like if you want to tell your kids why not to do drugs, hey, let me take my kid to go see Magazine Dream, and then let me sit here and tell them what happened wrong in this movie, or what was his missteps where you shouldn't do, so you won't go down that same hole. But I think sometimes you can, I think you do a disservice to allowing your kids to just be too green and just only indulging in just kiddie shit all the time. Because what about when, because before you look up, she just not a teenager now.
I feel like maybe, like you said, maybe certain, like my friend said she let her son watch Fruitvale Station. So stuff like that, something like that, then yes. Because it showed like what young black men, you know what I'm saying?
But a movie like that to me, that shit got a harder conversation to have.
I mean, it's a hard, but it's more, it's more of a reality than we would say a Boys in the Hood. Because you could just be driving down the street in your car on your way to work, on your way home, or I sent you to the store, the police pull you over. That's more of something that could happen as opposed to Boys in the Hood. Because like we said, that's not what we are.
No, but I get, but just to give it a little bit pushback on Boys in the Hood, I think the in-depth story on Boys in the Hood, yeah, you may not live in the hood, but I do think that even that choice of him getting in the car and getting out of the car, or almost being peer pressure to destroy his whole entire life, I think that's a conversation that you can have.
Well, that's true. I ain't think about that part of the movie.
But that's what I'm saying. I think even going to see the movie, I don't think the conversation might even, like I said, kids, their attention span now, I don't think, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you sit here, because when we went to go see Boy in the Hood, I don't really remember too much shit about that shit from that movie, besides when they was about to have sex, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't remember none of that until later on when I seen it. All right, cool. Like, I still, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that would be a conversation. Like, oh, well, daddy, why is such and such? Why is he couldn't stay with his friend? You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't have that conversation.
But I feel like this is a different generation. So
yeah, I don't think
they have more access, even though you might not let your kids watch this or do that, other parents do. So when those kids are talking about it or whatever, your kids might come home and they might just say, well, hey, so-and-so said blah, blah, blah. And then you have more opportunity to talk about it. Even though they don't see it, they're going to pick it up from somebody in school.
And also, like, and I had a scenario when we went to the Philly or whatever, Pennsylvania. My son, he in there playing in the dodgeball thing or whatever, right? And so his mom went to the bathroom or whatever, and so I was sitting, I'm with him, whatever. And he was playing dodgeball. He kept hitting the little boy in his head, right? Little white boy. And it was him and his little brother. So like the little white boy came over there. He kind of, pushed Cody, left it alone. And, they still doing it. Cody still hitting him again. But like I said, everybody playing dodgeball. And it was a bunch of girls. So of course, he's not going to hit the girls with the dodgeball. Mm-hmm. So he just, kept hitting the little boy. So I guess like the little boy was like, all right, and Cody really wasn't like, he let him like, all right, cool. Then the last time, he kind of did it, and Cody was like, all right, enough. And he slammed the little boy on the ground, and he got on top of him, and I had to call his name, like, and he stopped immediately. Like, I knew he's about to don't punch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a certain situation. Then, of course, when we leave out, his mom was like, oh, yeah, I heard, like, oh, if he was with me, I would have let you. But everything is not like when you get in those simple situations, you don't know. And you kind of like, all right, I don't want you to react that way because they could have went left or whatever the case may be. And even in that situation, yes, it was 2 other little boys with him, and that situation could have turned out different. But I stopped him, and he knew, all right, enough is enough. Like, you don't always have to prove yourself to everybody. You shook the little boy up, and he kind of knew after that he ain't bother you no more.
Shouldn't me, I would have let him give him a pop or two.
But you can't. But that's what I'm saying. But you give him. But that don't mean that's not the right thing to do.
Okay. It was several times, right? 1, 2, 3. Third time,
but that's what I'm saying. But you still,
and then I'm gonna go get him.
But even with him, you kept like you kept hitting the boy in there.
Well, you just said he couldn't hit the girls.
But that's what I'm. But you put.
But the little boy should have been quicker than
But
that.
that's what I'm saying. But even in that scenario, it was just like, I know, I knew he's about to, like, no, stop. Like, you.
I would have let him pop him.
But see, that's not that she would have let him.
See, but again, that's why I said. But those conversations, to me, those conversations be important. And those, even when you're sitting here talking about parenting, or you talking about dating, or any of those things, I think those conversations to me are more important than the surface level conversations that people have. Because to me, to be honest, like, I'm kind of like, I don't know, like, I don't necessarily know what I would have done in that situation, because I kind of feel where you coming from. Because I mean, one, we out of town, so it's kind of just like, you don't necessarily, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of with you, like, on that. I don't necessarily know, like, I get
Would you
it.
let it hit him, or you would have called him? You would have stopped him before he popped him.
I feel like I'm leaning towards this. I probably would have just stopped them, because I just don't like, especially if you threw the little boy on the ground and it was easy for you to get on top of him. It was kind of like, all right, you kind of proved your point already.
Oh, did he? He should have proved his point when he was whacking his ass with that ball. But he
did prove it. He hit him in the head several times
with the ball. Right. Okay.
Nah, you didn't.
He would have got papped up, and then I would have been like, all right, that's good. Let's go.
Real quick, because this is the conversation that we had on here before, and Marcus kind of act like he didn't understand what me and Erica was saying when we seen here saying that some people look like they stink. So for people who don't know, Kanye West said Boosie looked like he stink, and he looked like he poor. So I do want to play this clip.
Did say that?
Huh? What?
I did say that.
Yeah, you said that, nigga. You act like we was talking crazy when we said you could look at people's pictures and they look like they stink.
Oh.
That nigga smell poor. I never met him. That nigga smell poor. You know, that nigga is poor. What are we looking from a smell?
Yeah, Boozy got us not talking shit.
But he there. That's what he's there to do. They took a piece of shit and made him talk shit. He talking himself. He a piece of shit. He talking shit. But by the way, I know that nigga smell poor. I never met him.
So listen, what I ain't with. I'm not gonna go to all the extra stuff when he's saying. I mean, well, of course, the Kanye West Boosie probably is poor, but I'm just sitting here saying that there are people, and I tell you, I said this before. I'll double down on this a million times. I do believe that some people can look like they stink. Like, people can look at you via social media and you just look dirty. You look like you stink. You look like you got bad hygiene. You don't look like you take care of yourself. So to me, when he said that, like, I was like, I get it. Like, and then Boosie do look like one of them niggas who look like he stink. All that jewelry and stuff don't mean nothing. Boosie look like he dirty, bro. And the messed up thing about it is it could be a lot to do with him having diabetes, so his skin kind of look nuts. He just don't look. But Boosie does not look like a well moisturized person. Just because you got on jewelry and you got on designer clothes, that does not necessarily mean you don't look like you stink. Because guess what? You can look at a stripper who got like a bunch of like bad, dingy ass tattoos. It look like she got all her tattoos done in the jail or done at a house party. If we being honest, you look at her and be like, I don't look like I want no lap dance from her. She look like she stink. And that's how people judge. Like, think about when you're in the strip club. That's how when you be looking at motherfuckers and you be like, I don't want that bitch to get up on me. And she act like you be like, you cool. And then it be some women you can look at from across the fucking room and you like, damn, I can't wait till she come on this side. I got to get a lap dance from her. That's it. That's all you doing. You mentally sitting here saying like that person just look like they stink. They look like their skin not soft or none of that shit because you just look and you looking at them from a distance. It don't have nothing to do with if they actually stink or not, but they just look like they stink. The way they present themselves, it looks dirty. It looks like you lack good hygienes or good hygienic product, whatever. You just look like you stink. So I'm like, I ain't mad at Kanye for saying that. Like, I'm glad that he said it because I honestly do agree with him. What else?
Lost my girl yesterday, so I'm on Instagram Marketplace looking for a new one. These shits are expensive out here. Nobody told me the price went up. You got to pay for everything plus shipping and handling, and you don't even know how long it's going to last. There's no warranty on it. That's why I prefer used. I always go back to my exes because even though it's not brand new, I know how it works with them. I don't like the market. I don't like being on the market. I don't like negotiating. I spent so much money on my last purchase. Like, I want her back. I don't feel like doing this again. In the movies, the guy loses the girl, then he comes back, he fights for her, and they end up living happily ever after. I don't know why that can't happen in real life. It's like, oh, she catches me texting and sending pictures to this girl one time. And they weren't even crazy pictures. They were suggested, but they weren't like everything type shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, you catch me doing that one time and now everything's over. That's not how it works. We're supposed to go through something and then come out stronger. That's the whole point of a plot. The problem is people don't read anymore, so they don't understand how a relationship works. So now I'm back shopping on Instagram and I see stuff I'm kind of interested in, like I might add to the cart, but none of it seems as like quality made as my last purchase. I
ain't gonna lie, this little nigga just be funny. I don't got no take on it. I just played it just because he just random. He just be saying random little stupid shit. I do want to play this clip though. It was this dude. He do videos and he was basically asking people. He was rating people's favorite rappers. So he will ask them who their favorite rapper is, and then the next person will rate the rapper after they say who and say they was. And that's why I sit here and say music is just a personal preference. So I do want to play some of these rappers, and y'all can listen to how people was ranking some of them and see if y'all agree or you don't agree. And some of these people, y'all probably might not even know who they are at all.
Favorite rapper?
T Grizzly.
You think other people agree?
Yes.
All right, let's see. Who wrote this rapper?
Who's that?
T Grizzly.
I don't like him. Like 2 out of 10.
Yeah, who's your favorite rapper?
Netspin.
Who wrote this rapper?
Who the f is that?
Netspin.
I don't know who the f that is. Zero.
Who's your favorite rapper?
J. Cole, Jermaine Cole. She my number one. I don't need nothing on the side.
Hey, who wrote this rapper?
10.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Doechii, because she's
Who wrote this rapper?
a 9 out of 10, because she's black and beautiful.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Central C, I gotta rep the country. We can go band for band. F that, we can go in for in.
Okay. Hey, who wrote this rapper?
9.5.
All right, who's your favorite rapper?
Travis Scott. He be making banging music. He actually got me through quarantine and pandemic when I was at my lowest.
Who wrote this rapper?
8.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Not a wick. He's sexy and his voice is like, I like that.
All right, what do y'all rate this rapper?
Oh, he's tough. 9. 1.767. We sing this. Ooh, Florida Wick. Oh, 9.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Future. In LE. No words.
Who wrote this rapper?
5.
All right, what about this one?
I don't really listen to him. I'd say it's like a 1 probably.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Smina.
Who wrote this rapper on a scale of 1 through 10?
Like a 3 because I don't know him. He's obviously not that relevant.
Okay. Who's your favorite rapper?
Lil Baby. His songs are the best.
Okay.
Like the lyrics and everything.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Tigger.
So I just wanted to play that clip because I do feel like everybody's preference on rappers is completely different. Some of that, like that little white boy, whatever he said his name was, I never heard of that nigga a day in my life. The Shmino person, I believe I heard, I want to say he redid an Outkast song. I can't remember, but I'm not going to lie to y'all. And I don't want to bring this girl name up, but I just got to just say, when I hear Meg at rare form, Meg the Stallion, bro, please keep mentioning Doechii name. I dare y'all to throw her out there. When Meg be in that bag that Meg was in on that fucking whatever song, bro. You only person you can compare to Meg the Stallion is Lotto. I swear to God, all I just asked for before 2025 is up. I just want to hear Meg and Lotto go back and forth on a song like Styles and Kiss. That's it. Because that's it. That to me, the only competition we smoke pure rapping for each other is Meg the Stallion and Lotto. I don't want them to beef. I just want them to be on the same song together and them just to trade balls because dog. When I heard that Meg verse from this week, I was like, that's the only person I could see could give her some real competition. But real quick, I did because we did talk about rap last week, and I was just like, bro. I be like, God be having a funny way of just like, nigga, shut up. Sometimes you just don't know what the fuck you talking about. You're talking too fast. And the reason why I'm gonna sit here and say that because we talked about Big X the Plug last week, and I was like, if he was, I still believe this, but it was just like I had to eat my words because I was like, if he was 175 pounds lighter, he would be more bigger than what he is. I still believe that, but he did the Tonight Show last week, and they put this fat nigga. He was on the Tonight Show with no shirt on, and this fat nigga about to be on 2K with no shirt on. I said, all right, you got it, dog. Because I was wrong. Because I was like, they don't want to get the same type of pushback they got when they started prancing around Lizzo before she lost the weight. I was like, they not about to do this again with another person. And I was dead wrong. I was like, dog, there's no way in hell this week after I said that this nigga, I cannot get rid of this nigga now. I was like, bro, he was literally on the Tonight Show, and then I was like, damn, this nigga on 2K, literally with no shirt on. They got the, y'all know how they do that when they doing the video games, and they put all the shit. This nigga was literally with his titties out, stomach and everything. I was like, oh my God, they about to have this nigga in the front row of somebody on 2K with no goddamn shirt on, titties out and everything. What else was going on? I feel like this was a jump off.
and your proximity to whiteness has got to be studied.
Oh, I did want to play this. Hold on. Oh, I gotta wait for Erica to come back in here. I want to play this.
Why does the foreskin never get in a fight? Because it knows how to pull back. Why does the foreskin never get in a
Bro, I don't get what nobody say. That to me is like one of the funniest jokes on social media right now when they be doing them little John. What else? This one. Oh, yeah, I want to play this. Shout out to Coco Golf.
Miu Miu and New Balance are in love with the Coco. Now, Serena and Virgil cracked the door open, and Coco just walked straight through it. Now, becoming the first athlete outfitted by a luxury house like Miu Miu in WTA match play, wearing a full co-designed capsule. And it forces a question. Is this about tennis or is this about power? Let's connect the dots. Now, New Balance isn't chasing fashion. They've been setting the pace. And Miu Miu's dabbled in sport, but let's be real, this is their first real move into performance. And Coco, sis has been building towards this since her signature sneaker drop. This wasn't just product. This was positioning. This collab is a masterclass in brand laddering. Now, New Balance gets luxury prestige without losing sport cred. And Miu Miu earns validation on court, not just on the runway. And Coco, she goes from endorser to architect. This isn't an endorsement. This is authorship. This isn't tennis core. This is territory claiming. So collab cousins, are we witnessing a fashion collab or three brands leveling up in sync? Miu Miu and New Balance.
Shout out to Coco Golf. You know, so funny is when I'm watching this video, where I just played it right there, it made me sit here and think of like, damn, Naomi Osaka kind of just like, I guess sometimes it's a blessing when you play a sport where it pays well, but it's not really as mainstream popular. When I say mainstream popular, it's not like I don't feel like there's no casual conversation behind tennis. Like, listen, when I say casual conversation, it's like, you know, like the NBA or the NFL, just those are the main two realistically, where people may not be locked in, but they still know or can feel like they can give an opinion even on the sport, even if they're not super locked in watching every game. Whereas golf or even shit like baseball, but probably especially golf is kind of like, you can kind of like, Naomi Osaka kind of just like took her foot off the gas and kind of like she had her kid kind of disappeared and she kind of like been under the radar for real. Like you don't really hear nothing about her matches. You don't really see her at all. Like she kind of just like.
No, she was in the Olympics, right?
Naomi Osaka?
Yeah, I thought it was in.
I can't even. I don't want to say yes or no because I can't remember, to be honest. I honestly can't remember, so I really don't want to sit here and lie and say yes or no. But just my whole point is how she can still move kind of under the radar with nobody really just ain't really even. I ain't saying they ain't checking for her, but it's just like I said, you get even for the fact that neither one of us don't really know. That to me is tight that you can kind of just move up under the radar like that. Oh, I wanted to play this clip and tell me if you agree or disagree.
Then has to go Hove Nicki. Because Nicki Minaj is a better rapper than everybody in New York other than Jay-Z.
No. Hold up. That's a bold statement. Let me think.
Yeah.
Better rapper
100%.
than Nicki Minaj.
Because she can rap on a pop beat. She can rap on an R&B beat.
And when
she
you say
can
rap, you're
on a
talking about the
dramatized beat.
cadence,
She
right?
can rap on drums. She can rap on a traditional boom bap. Nicki Minaj is the second best rapper to
ever come out of New York
alive before they start losing their shits.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm actually gonna like.
Yeah,
I'm
she's the second best rapper ever to come out of New York.
Because how I judge rap, right?
Alive.
Like I think Kiss is the third nicest nigga to ever come out of New York behind Jay and Big, but Nicki is her versatility kind of is like I don't know.
She gonna move on it.
There's nothing she can't do.
Is insane.
And she writes her shit like
it's insane.
A lot of you, bro.
Okay, so real quick for people who don't know who it is, that of course that is Ray Daniels, and that is Punch. Punch used to work at thisis50.com. So people, of course, you know, people in the comment section was losing their absolute mind because he said Nicki Minaj was the second best rapper to ever come from out of New York City. And I think realistically, if you do whatever criteria is that you want to kind of do, probably outside of an undeniable classic album that everybody will die about saying that it's a classic album, that's probably the only thing that Nicki Minaj don't have. But I think realistically, if you're being honest, outside of Jay-Z, you probably could argue 50 Cent. Nicki Minaj is the only rapper from New York City who can still do arena tours by herself. So that's why I think a lot of people, you could sit here and easily be like, oh yeah, Nas and the Locks and this, that, and the third. Like, can we be honest about Nas and the Locks? Y'all know how I feel
But I don't
about
think
the Locks.
we're not
and
talking about. We still talking about rapping though. I don't think.
I mean, you talking about, but listen to what I'm saying though. But I think you cannot discredit. I cannot become an arena artist if I'm not a good rapper. I won't be able to sell out arenas. Nicki Minaj has been in the rap game for damn near 20 years now. If not 20, a strong 15, 16 years. So I wouldn't be able to still sell out arenas at year 16 if I'm not a great rapper. Yeah, do she dibble and dabble in pop songs and R&B, but out of majority of her catalog, it's still 90% rap. Yeah, do she got big pop songs? Of course, a lot of people do. So do 50 Cent. But that's my point of where we sit here saying is like, yeah, if you're just talking about on just straight skill, miracle, lyrical, and not no real commercial success, and yeah, of course you're gonna say Nas and you're gonna say the Locks and you can say whoever else. But if we talking about actually having commercial success and still being like, dog, you probably got one of the best verses I've ever heard. Like, let's be clear, Nicki Minaj's Monster verse, you can argue is like one of the greatest rap verses of all times. That's man, woman, it don't matter who it is. So that's my point of like, it sounds like a crazy hot take, but for what, especially in this day and age, the way people speak here, when you trying to judge rap music and people throwing ticket sales and all this other stuff, I'm not changing the rules. I'm just talking about how people argue when people start arguing about stuff, when people start arguing about record sales and all of this other stuff. Nicki Minaj check off all of those boxes, and all of those boxes get checked off because she started off just rapping first. Everything she dibbled and dabbled and everything else. And I don't think you can sit here and discredit somebody because I know how to make good pop songs. Yeah, I want to pay my bills too. So that's why. That's like if you sit here saying a basketball player, oh, like just because you not great no more because you just don't only dunk no more. Now you starting to shoot threes or you starting to do crossovers. Like that don't knock you because you know how to shoot threes now. But I waited for Erica just so I can play this one right here. So it is a clip of 2 Chainz and his son that was going viral. So y'all, of course, as parents, I want to kind of get y'all take for it. And I wonder, do people feel this way just because of how young his son is? Because his son is 9 years old.
I can't wait till our 30th anniversary. Where should we go?
Candyland. Trying to see some strippers. Trying to see those strippers.
Bro, you know people watch, I tell you this all the time. People be watching this.
Hey, I'm trying to see the strippers number 1.
Hello, just say you playing, bro. Say I'm joking, bro. Say I'm just playing.
I ain't playing. Yeah. I'm not playing. This is like true. I'm not playing.
Bro, okay. I can't wait till
All right, so of course y'all know people drag 2 Chainz to hell for this video. And then of course people was like, don't sit here and say you the one who clipped this. Your son ain't make this video. He didn't clip this video. He didn't put it out because you could have not put this video out. So people drag 2 Chainz to hell. So my question is, do y'all think let's bump the age because of his age, because he's 9 years old, it's out of pocket. But would it be out of pocket if his son was 16? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I ain't even mad. I mean, I ain't mad at him saying it at 9. I'm not mad, but I understand why people are mad.
Yeah, he's 9. Like, what do you know about strippers? What should you know about strippers? 16 is a little more realistic, but like 9, that's kind of crazy.
But again, that kind of go back to our conversation we were just having a few minutes ago. It's like, how long do you leave your kid just in kiddie land?
My 9-year-old don't need to know about strippers. Like, what if my husband don't even go to strip clubs? So why would I teach my 9-year-old about strippers? I don't have to have that conversation with him because why would I think he would want to know about strippers? GTA?
Oh, well, yeah, that. But okay, well I think I want to say, especially because of strip club, I want to say Candyland. I want to say 2 Chainz own that strip club. I'm not 100% positive, but I'm going to go out on them. I believe he do.
You need to be careful what you expose your children to. Yeah. There is a such thing as exposing them to things too early.
For sure, of course, and I mean, and that's how you do open that. Then you had them Shannon Sharp stuff. You open up them doors too soon for your kid, and your kid gonna go down to freaky man land, and he ain't never gonna be able to come back.
So 9 years old talking about strippers. What you talking about at 16?
And it was that one video that was on social media, and I think where a girl she got a stripper for her son's birthday, like 16, and they was all on the couch throwing money, like and they were saying that's inappropriate. Why are you letting your child get a lap dance from that? You know.
I do. I mean, of course, I think in the black community, if you want to get super serious, I think is people look at some of the stuff like you're trying to turn your kids or make sure your kids are straight, because a lot of people are homophobic. So, I mean, of course, I do understand that group of people who feel that type of way and probably wouldn't care about how early or how young it is to introduce your kid to the strip club. But it's just like,
would you introduce your child to the strip club?
No, but I know they live in Atlanta too.
So?
And my dad is fucking 2 Chainz. One of his biggest songs is like some strip club shit.
So what
bands that make her dance like.
Yeah, okay, but he talking about drugs. You gonna say I'm gonna introduce you with drugs?
No, but I tell my kid why not to do certain drugs, or I'll tell my kid that, oh, hey, such and such died from this overdose. Like I do feel like some of those conversations, like
but it's just because that's my job don't mean like. What if the mother was a stripper? You gonna say, yeah, hey, this what your mama used to do, or this your mama's job?
Maybe at a certain age you might.
At what age?
I think that's a problem that you see with kids now. Like you introducing them to these things too early. They're growing up too fast.
So I'm glad we right there. So let's sit here and say if your kids let's just sit here and say your parent, the other parent of your kid was a stripper. Even if Erica, if your kid's father was a male stripper, and Marcus, if your baby mom's was a stripper. What age is it? What age would y'all be like, hey, well, what mommy and daddy do? Or what such and such? Never would tell them?
No.
They don't have to know what you do.
Are you serious?
Or your mom
Nigga,
was a
I know you not about to sit here have this fucking conversation. Nigga, what?
Never?
Nigga. How long was before what's name told her parents that she was a stripper, or found out when people started finding out? Yeah, that's not something you share.
But no. But
why would I tell your kid? Why would you tell your kids that your mom's a stripper?
I think the times is completely different now. You about to sit here and talk about something that almost was 15, 16 years ago. Yeah, people looked at strippers completely different 16 years ago.
They don't look at them no better. What do you mean, nigga? Hell no. I'm telling my child, yeah, your mom's a stripper.
Oh, tell me, y'all think people look at strippers the same now? What is Ari?
She's a stripper turned Instagram person, right?
But she
ain't tell her daughter or whoever.
But you look at her Instagram video. What would be the difference to me? Like, what? That's all I'm just sitting here saying is, what's the difference between you sitting here saying, all right, if you don't want to tell your kid that your significant other or their other parent is a stripper, right? But what would be the difference to me if your mom was an Instagram like model and she half naked on Instagram? But she make a lot of money. She's super, like her Instagram lit. She getting super paid. She got a lot of endorsements and all of that. So what's the difference? Because that's the age that we really living and we keeping it a bean. Like it's more people. Like you gonna see more on the Instagram timeline.
Right, OnlyFans, all that. But that's not something you want to sit here and say, yeah, your mom does that. No, that's not a conversation you want to have. That is not a conversation. I'm gonna tell my son, hey, well, your mother, she's a big popular OnlyFans.
So time out, because so let's sit here and say if Amber Rose was your kid's baby, was your baby mom's. How do you damn near can't avoid that question.
You can't avoid it, but you don't want to sit here and open it. Hey, yeah, your mom, she shows her cat. You don't want to sit here because like that's just like if when they in school, you don't want them to be like, yeah, well, my mom's a stripper. That's why she's never home. She can't make it because she's a stripper. I don't want my kids knowing what. Like that's just like if you were selling drugs. You're not going. If you were selling drugs, you think your baby mother like, oh, but your daddy, he on the block selling.
But I think those two things is completely different. But I mean, I just wanted to check out temperature on it because of the 2 Chainz, and I don't think it had to be too much of a deep dive on it. I do want to sit here and say for anybody, and this is sometimes where I feel like this story is not a story, but I'm just going to sit here because it's something new that was on the timeline. TD Jakes has basically stepped down from running the Potter's house. I mean, I kind of told y'all that off the rip. I feel like if you listen to this show enough, I told y'all TD Jakes ain't been preaching for damn near like 2 years now. I've been told y'all that. I kind of even before he had the health situation on the stage, I kind of told y'all after whenever that time is, he had I forgot what it was when he did I forgot what it's called, but whenever he did that little thing with Sir Jakes on the stage before, I told y'all it was kind of like, since he did that and he introduced her to do whatever, I don't know the wording for, so I don't want to mess up the word or whatever. Actually, he did that day on the stage, but that was like almost 2 years ago. He's barely preached, like literally from 2 years ago, since whatever that thing when they did on the stage, he may have literally preached maybe 10 times in the last 2 years. And I'm stretching them 10. Like them 10 is like, and a lot of that 10 is more on the year before all the Diddy stuff and all that other stuff. Like he's been filled back a minute ago, and I'm not about to sit. I seen people in the comment section trying to play and be funny with and saying they got something to do with the Diddy stuff, bro. That man is sick. And if you can't look at him and you can't tell that he's ill, then you just fucking blind as hell. You just really, or you just being stupid just to be stupid, just to have something ignorant to say in the comment section.
Does this hurt his
hell no, nigga.
people still?
Hell no, nigga. Sir Jakes is.
I mean, I don't know if I'm asking. No, I'm just saying with him stepping down. Like, do you people like, you know how some people
I'm
like
gonna tell you how popular Sir is. I'm gonna tell you how popular Sir is. TD Jakes been having this little thing called for some years now. He been doing this called Woman Evolve. Sir Jakes, they did Woman Evolve last year. It was like, was it last year? Or maybe if it wasn't last year, it was the year before last. The last time they did one, she literally preached inside the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, and the whole joint was sold out. That whole 90,000 people. No, she is the real deal. When I told y'all, when I told y'all probably thought I was exaggerating when I'm sitting here saying pastors who got millions of views on their video. Now I ain't saying if your last name Jakes, because them the only two last name Jakes, pick one. Both of them millions and millions of views on YouTube. They will be a-okay. I promise. He ain't stepped
so you
down.
don't see a decline.
Hell no.
Oh, okay.
Hell no.
No, I just know like that. This is like if Ocho was just doing the nightcap, like it would take a hit, right?
It depends on who he did it with. It depends on who you replace it with. Because if you replace him with somebody who is just as good, like if you saying if Shannon Sharp saying I'm gonna step down and I'm just gonna leave it, it's Ocho and let's sit here and say if it was Ocho and Gilbert Arenas. No, it wouldn't fall off. It'll still be. I don't think he could sit here and say, okay, I'm
just
gonna leave
Ocho by himself and he just whoever he got calling in.
Nah, hell no. I mean, they do that. Most of their Jones, they ain't in the same room anyway. But I hate them goddamn calling Jones. But no, I don't think he could do that. But no, hell no, it ain't gonna be no drop off. Not for Sarah Jakes. If it was somebody else, maybe if he was leaving it and it was just if he was leaving it just to Sarah's husband, like if TD Jakes saying he was stepping down and he was leaving it to just to Torre, then it would be a complete drop off. But Sarah Jakes
still,
she bring him out for real.
Okay.
She bring him out to a whole different level. Who I want to play? Oh yeah, I do want to play. I want to play this clip. I should again. Like I said, I apologize for not playing. So I mean, we needed a break from talking about it anyway. But I did want to play this clip because a lot of people, of course, especially black people, want to sit here. Always, never. You want to point the blame somewhere else when this age gap thing conversation came up with Shannon Sharp. So people wanted to bring up Bill Belichick. I'm just gonna play you the difference is, and I hear the difference, and I know the difference when I hear a woman who runs the relationship. So I'm gonna play this clip of Bill Belichick and his girlfriend. They was doing an interview. I don't know what they was doing the interview for, but you listen to her and listen to the tone of how she shut this interview down. And this is a 25-year-old woman, and Bill Belichick, I believe, is 75.
Do you feel like you were treated with dignity and respect when you were let go by Robert Kraft?
Yeah, well, it was a mutual decision for us to part ways.
He said fired.
It was a mutual decision.
The other change for Belichick is 24-year-old Jordan Hudson, his creative muse, as he writes in his book.
Make sure that that's the...
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on. Though Hudson has recently posted about it on Instagram.
You joined InstaFace, as you put it. I love that. There's some great pictures of you and Jordan where you're a fisherman and she's a mermaid. It's charming. It's a different side of you. What's the reaction been like?
What's it been like?
To have these different sort of photos. There's another one where you're doing, I know you're not into meditation or yoga or Pilates. You're balancing Jordan on your feet. And she's doing kind of the Titanic pose?
Yeah, so I'm on some of those social media platforms, but I honestly don't follow them.
What he does follow isn't clicks or views, but touchdowns and above all, wins.
You do seem like
though Hudson has
So I mean, like I said, you could kind of tell the difference between when a woman kind of runs the relationship, even just because it's an age. You could tell. I guess to me, just let me slow down a little bit. I'm not giving him some bail. I think that age gap is still trifling, but I can tell the difference between an old man that's getting took to the cleaners and an old man that's being a pedophile. And the difference between people like, well, what's the difference? Both of them, the age gap is ridiculous. But the difference between is you can listen to this woman and she sounds like she runs this relationship. And then two, Bill Belichick is not hiding this relationship. He's on social media. And if this is a 75-year-old man, we know for a fact he does not know how to run social media. So guess what that is telling you? He's like, this shit can go left and he can completely fuck his whole entire life up. And he can speed up his death at a extremely fast pace. But for him to sit here, those pictures that they just were showing, I guess whatever Instagram page she made for him, and I want to say she got a job at North Carolina as like his director or some wild just white people. You know how white people give their white family members some just random ass title so they can do whatever. All I'm just sitting here saying is, yes, this age gap is nasty. I must double down on that. But the difference is that this woman runs this relationship and Bill Belichick is just trying to die an old happy man and get his dick hard a little bit before he go out. That's it, and that's all. And that's the difference. This is not some old man like, oh, I want to get a young girl and I'm trying to just run all over her. No, this is an old man getting ran over by a younger girl. Let's just so we can kind of see the difference. And that's why I just wanted to play the clip. So for everybody, all the people keep saying, but what about Bill Belichick? Yeah, the difference is Bill Belichick don't wear the pants in this relationship. That's the difference. That's it. And that's all. And we all know for a fact, this is a lick for that girl. She hopefully maybe, and the crazy thing is you'll be surprised Bill Belichick may get married in like a year or two. And then Bill Belichick probably going to kick the bucket. He may bang out to like 85, maybe if he lucky. He may only see it at 80, and I'm sure he gonna leave that girl in his will because that's how she's strong on. Like, bro, them pictures that they just showed of him and that girl was like crazy. Like, Bill Belichick is going out like a sucker. Like, if you seen one of your homeboys posting one of these pictures like Bill Belichick, you would put your man in the group chat and niggas would be laughing at your man like, oh, this nigga. What they be saying in New York? Oh, your head ass.
But if that's your man, y'all all in y'all 70s. So at the end of the day, you over here looking at Betty with them wrinkled ass titty, and he looking at the young girl. So what you putting him in the group chat to say? Because he living a life. You sitting in there, I
don't care. Them pictures is some pansy ass pictures.
Pansy, right? I'm pretty sure. Like, dog, you said you want to do matching PJs and all that. What's the difference of you sitting here doing the matching PJs and he doing that?
I ain't doing that shit, dog. Sorry. I hear you. That nigga looks sweet. That nigga real life had his feet up in the air and her on his. Nah, I'm cool. Shout out to everybody in Chicago found this bag real quick.
Police are looking into a theft after the driver of an armored vehicle full of cash says people started grabbing thousands of dollars that fell out of that truck. A Brinks employee told police the back door of his truck opened at Jackson and Austin on Tuesday. The driver says 3 bags full of cash fell out, worth about $300,000. When the driver returned to the truck, they saw dozens of people taking the money and running away.
I just be mad like that. Why I can't never sit here and get that lucky, dog? Like, that was like, just imagine you about to go home from somewhere after a long day of work, or you been whatever you been got going on, and you just like edit the light and you get behind a Brinks truck and the money just start falling out, dog. Oh my God.
How fast you won't spend it? Because you can't wait on it, because then once it get out, because ain't those bank bills?
I don't know, but I'm a chance it. I don't give a damn.
You're gonna spend it right away.
No, I don't necessarily know if I'm gonna spend it right away because I don't know what I want to buy right now at the top of my head, but I'm taking that bread. I think about all that other stuff later. I don't know, but I'm taking that money for sure. And I'm mad that I didn't play this Joan. Right at the tip.
Lady back there, don't pick your phone up another time. This is why you have to be invited, because we don't want paparazzi here. We don't want picture snapping people unless you can photograph God.
And of course, people was in the comments. I do like that a lot of people in the comment section on this post was taken up for the pastor because they was like, she was right. Like, you in church, like, bro, put your phone down. And I do think, again, I told y'all this, I even feel the same way about the sauna sometimes. That's how you know sometimes people are so bad and so addicted to their phones. You just kind of can't help it because you just so used to constantly scrolling your phone, constantly touching your phone. And I get it. Most people probably wouldn't want to leave their phone in the car, but I even be telling myself that sometimes, like, bro, just leave your phone. If you go to church, just leave your phone in the car. Like, maybe you got to put it up under your seat or somewhere, but just kind of, and I know it because nobody wants to be without their phone for an hour and some change, or maybe 2 hours, but still it'd be because you just so used to looking at it. Like, and I've caught myself doing this before. Like, if the pastor kind of like get to a spot and the message getting a little bit dry, you can't help with your phone right there, because that's the same what you do in a movie. Like, if you were watching a movie or a TV show on TV, I'm sure we all do it, and it's hard to cut that habit off. But just because you're in church, because I'm used to it. If the TV show started to get a little bit boring, they had a dry spot. Guess what you do? You'll grab your phone, start looking at your phone real quick, checking your text messages, scrolling, see if somebody DM'd you, and you do the same thing when you at church. So when a pastor, like, if a pastor preaching for like 2 hours, the same way with a podcast, you're gonna have your ups, you're gonna have your downs, you're gonna have your little parts where you just right here and like you keeping it mild. So while you at the mild spot, people gonna check their phones. So I ain't mad at her for what she's saying, but that's why I do think it's just a hard habit to break, because people kind of just always got their phone on.
Because you go on a group vacation does not mean you gotta do everything with the group. I don't have to go to dinner with y'all. I don't have to go everywhere. Just because we came on that trip together, I do not have to go everywhere with you. It might be some days I want to do my own thing, and don't be trying to talk about me with the she's trying to be fun. I'm not trying to be funny. Just because we came here together don't mean we gotta do every single thing together. Now we're gonna get together some nights and some days. But dang, can I just chill up in the room? Can I just chill by the pool? Because you try to do them excursions, I ain't trying to do all that. You can go with the ones that want to do what you want to do, go with them. But I'm fine. I'm not being funny. I'm just happy we all here together, but I don't got to be tied at the hip when you go on vacation with somebody. You do not have to do everything they do. So if you're going to be like that and you're going to feel some kind of way that I want to do my own thing, then we just don't need to go on vacation together. That's all it is. So, and then actually, when the day one of the vacation, I'm going to be in my room sleep. I'm tired. I got kids. I got a husband that be stressing me out. I just got too much going on. I need that first day to kind of decompress. So don't think the first day we're going to get it in. So we're going to at least probably need 4 days, 3 nights. Day one, I'm sleeping in.
So I got a question for y'all. Do y'all agree with what she's saying? First, let me ask that first.
No.
You don't agree?
So why'd you go with him if you don't want to be bothered with him?
She ain't say she want to be bothered. We don't have to do every single day, everything.
No, yeah, you don't have to do everything. Like I said, you coming in the first day, all right, everybody get their rest, whatever. But you saying the whole time, like, you just distance away from all them. Like,
no, she said we don't have to do something together the entire, like, every day. That's understandable.
Then you sleeping in the same room together. Like, what you like? That's kind of like.
Are we? We could have had separate rooms.
That's what I'm saying. So then we not
and,
no. If we in separate rooms, we not. I'm pretty sure like they all in the same room.
I might not want to be.
No,
they
look grown. I don't think they in the same. She look grown. She like she in her 30s. She ain't in the same room with my boys. I feel like that kind of get cut. Like after a certain age group, I feel like that just we all just sharing one bed. I feel like that should kind of get clipped when you were like. By the time you hit 30, that should be a dead mission.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like she wrong.
Okay, I guess. Go ahead. What you about to say, Marcus? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was about to ask y'all, do y'all feel like does that have to do? Is that just a group thing, or do you feel like you should still be able to just do what you want, or not have to do every excursion that the person wants to, even if you're on a vacation with your significant other? Should you still be able to have that same option, or does it change if you like on a vacation?
I think it changes if you're on a vacation.
Why you feel like you got?
I mean, unless it's like, oh, he going to the bar. I don't want to watch sports. I'm gonna stay in the room. But like, we came here together to make memories or whatever together, not to be separate.
I agree with you. So but my question is, so what changes from the difference between? Like, what if your homegirl feel that way? Like, hey, we came together. I thought we was here to make memories. Like, this is our first time in Jamaica. Like, you don't want to.
We see each other every day. We're gonna make memories. Like, if we here a whole week, we don't have to hang out and do everything the entire week. Like, okay, we can. I might want to go to the museum. You might want to do this. Like, we can.
But I figure if you plan this together, you kind of do. You gonna go with somebody where you know, all right, we gonna do this. We can do that. Like, you not go with somebody who like it's like me and Mikey going somewhere. Like, all right, I know this nigga not going. You know what I'm saying? Like, he probably won't be in the gym all the time. Like, I'm not gonna go. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no gym. You know, like, I know that's what I'm dealing with. So you go in there and you know, like, all right, she want to go to the bar. You be like, nah, I don't want to go. I just want to sit. But you know that she like drinking. That's
Right,
kind of
okay. I might not want to. I might be all drunk. Like I might not want to go this time. I don't feel like we got to do every single thing together.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do wish you did. It was kind of the same when you even go on a vacation. But
I
know
guess it could be. It could be.
It's. I mean, for a man, it's not. A man can never get away with going on a vacation with his girl and saying his saying no to anything. And I think most men, if you got common sense, you're not gonna say no because then you don't want to go out of town and now your girl got an attitude and she don't want to give up no pussy. I mean, if we just being honest. But while we talking about vacations, I do want to play this clip because this kind of go hand in hand with vacations, and then I will play the what's the Texas nigga what the hell is that shit called? Turkey leg hut. And then we can get out of here.
I saw this on Facebook the other day, and when I realized it was Skinbone, I'm like, okay, he's just being funny. He's a comedian from Chicago, whatever. Shout out to my Chicago brother, Skinbone. So this is no shade to him because I know he's just being funny. He's a comedian. He talks shit all day. Then I looked at the shares and some of the things that people were saying, like in their shares, and it was like, what you spending all that money on the trip for if you can't even dress the part and all this other shit? I say it all the time. I'm so grateful that my mama impressed upon us to be culturally aware. This is what I mean when I say people only go outside to be seen. No tea, no shade, but some of these influencers never went outside before social media, and it shows. Game is to blend in with the locals so that you can pay their prices, not stick out like a sore thumb so they can tax you. Like, y'all really be walking around St. Thomas and Portmore and Gucci and wonder why y'all getting charged $12 for a patty. They were taxing the fuck out y'all, and I love that for them. Look, wonder why y'all Airbnb keep getting hit. Shit, I'll rob you too. Also explains why y'all trips be so boring. Yeah, y'all don't be trying to veer too far off them resorts with y'all good shit on. Or y'all done spent all your money on outfits and accessories and ain't got nothing left for excursions. But this is also the reason why people don't travel the way they could because they think it's too expensive. Please don't listen to these hood boogers that had to go viral in order to get outside. You and your Sheen fits are enough. Ain't nobody putting on Louis to wake up at 7 a.m. to hunt for bacon sharks so we can be at the beach by 9 a.m. And if you anything like me, you probably got more swimwear packed than actual clothes anyway. Baby, go outside and live. Roll around in some dirt. Ground yourself. Bond with nature. And quit trying to be seen by people that don't give a fuck. Saw this.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. She smoked them niggas when she sit here and said, don't sit here and listen to people who never been outside until they went viral. I totally agree with that. But I guess my question to y'all, do y'all think a lot of people kind of put too much emphasis on what they going to wear, and maybe that's why they don't go on enough trips or they don't live a lot? And I can kind of even tie this into for myself. I can kind of chime in a little bit. I do think sometimes I do think about certain stuff like that, or even where you may be sitting, and I think you do miss out on certain events because you feel like I ain't got no outfit for this, or I want to wear this type of outfit, but because I don't have this outfit or my money not together for the outfit and where I want to sit, so I don't go. So you end up missing out and stop going to places because you're trying to look and you're trying to go somewhere nice and you're trying to look rich while you're going. So now you may just because I can't look rich while I'm going, like I can afford the ticket to go to this place, but then I may just be like, damn, that's gonna kind of like squeeze me a little tight, so I can't get the outfit that I'm looking for, so I don't go. And I do think, just for me personally, I know I've done that to myself mentally before, where it's like, man, I ain't going to no fucking game because I ain't got no outfit to wear, or whatever the case may be, or I don't feel like going to the mall. So I do feel like I've put stuff off like that because of what she's sitting here saying, and I've been out of town, especially with women before, where that's kind of just like what their outfits kind of just got like, because in their brain they already got it planned out what type of outfit they want to have if they go do this trip, or if they go here or they go there. So I do feel like sometimes a lot of people do put more effort into what they have on, and it kind of like it can ruin a trip, to be honest. Like I remember going on a dang, where was it at? I forgot where we went, but we went on one of those little ATV jumps, and the girl got mad because it messed up her hair, because all the dust and stuff picked up in her hair. Like she had a problem with it. Like, why didn't we take my birthday pictures before we sit here and did this? Why you didn't plan this out better? I'm like, bro, what? Like I am not gonna lie to you. I'd be mentally scarred from a lot of that type of shit, because it'd be like, what are we talking about, dog? You wanted to go on an excursion. You didn't tell me that? Oh, we shouldn't do the excursion until after the day you take your birthday pictures. Like, what the like, all right, bro, you got it.
Breaking news involving a well-known figure in Houston's restaurant scene. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Sirota.
Hold on real quick before I play this clip of him. Dog, this nigga cannot catch a break. Like, I don't necessarily, like, he is one of them. I don't know what he did bad to somebody or what his karma is, but I'm like, this man cannot get off the mat to save his life. And maybe that's why he can't get off the mat, because maybe he's just a horrible person and this is just all his karma coming to life, and he just cannot shake it because he's just done bad business or he done people horribly wrong. Because it's like, bro, I'm like every other week, like from them closing one of the Jones or closing their locations, from the video when he was talking to the employees that went viral to now this is just like, bro, Jesus Christ.
Hernandez, 42-year-old Lindell Lynn Price, former owner of the Turkey Lake Hut and current owner of the Oyster Hut, has been arrested for allegedly orchestrating 2 arson plots. Federal prosecutors say Price conspired to set fire to Bar 5015 back in 2020, a bar owned by his former business partner. He's accused of recruiting a group, including 2 other Houston men, to pour gasoline and ignite the fire. The indictment also alleges Price paid them afterward. In a separate incident, Price is accused of paying to have a stolen classic car, a 1975 Chevy Nova, set on fire. Now, if convicted, Price could face up to 25 years in federal prison and a $250,000 fine. He's set to appear in court this afternoon. Our Bryce Newberry is there and will tell us what happens later at 4, 5, and 6 o'clock.
Okay, that breaking news.
Yeah, like I said, I don't necessarily. I just feel like he may just be a foul person, and I think that's just kind of why all his stuff catching up to him. I feel like we kind of nailed everything. Shout out to Lil Durk. I believe Lil Durk this week if it's not this week, I believe it may be next week, where he's supposed to, they did approve him of a bond, but I guess he still has to go to a bond hearing, so the judge will have to had a final say so, but he was approved for a bond, so I guess the judge will either set him a bond or sit here and deny him again, but he did get approved for another bond hearing, so we will see how that one will play out. Yeah, I believe that's pretty much it. You got any predictions for the playoffs? I guess now, because we kind of looking at it, it seemed like if we just going off, I guess, how the stand is right now, it seemed like Minnesota will play. Do the Minnesota play OKC next if they the 3rd and the 1?
Yeah. Because they're the lowest seed.
Oh, because they would be the 7th. Shit, but if Golden State went, they still be.
If Golden State will be
No. So they would play Golden State, right? Yeah. So OKC would play if Golden State win.
Yeah, if Golden State win, they would play.
I guess, do you got any two things real quick? I do think only thing I can say my biggest takeaway from the NBA playoffs real quick, and then we can get out of here, is I do think the Detroit Pistons just need. I like the way all these teams are structured, but you can just tell like Detroit need one go-to person. And you seen if you watch the OKC,
no, they gotta go to. Where's Isaiah Stewart at? Did he get suspended?
I think he hurt.
Okay.
Once I think he got hurt one of them games. But they don't have it go.
I'm saying, because even like watching the game today, that last play, had Isaiah Stewart been in the rebound instead of fucking Tobias Harris, they probably would have been able to.
No. But what I'm saying is, I think when I say they just need a go-to person, where it's like sometimes you just need that one person. Like when the game is on, like perfect example, when the game is on the line for OKC, they niggas know give Shea the ball, and whatever decision Shea make, that's the decision we gonna live with. So, and that's what I mean, give the ball. Like even with the Warriors, it's like, nigga, give Steph the ball, and whatever happened, we can live with whatever decisions Steph make. And that's what I'm saying. I think we to the point now, I don't think realistically you don't need any more stacked teams. It don't need to be no double superstar. All you need is one superstar, and you need the rest of the players to be, you just need elite defensive players, and that's it for real. For like, if you can get teams to just play as a team and just buy in, like if Detroit had one superstar, and let's be, I mean, if you give him some time, that's what I'm saying. He may be able to come to that superstar.
But that's what I'm saying. But I think it's more so when you got to believe in it. Because I didn't think he should have took that shot. I think Tim Hardaway Jr. should have took the shot. Because Tim Hardaway Jr. just put you back, back in the game. Them last couple of what's name, it was Tim Hardaway Jr.
No, for sure. But I'm not mad at Lee. I mean, if you going with let's just sit here and say if Cade Cunningham, if he is the star of that team, I'm not mad with living with your superstar to take the last shot.
I'm not mad at it, but I feel like you also gotta have that's where you make your moments, because like I said, Derek Fisher not the greatest player, the greatest Laker, but damn, look how many games that he won for the Lakers to even have a championship if you didn't believe in him.
For sure, but then you can still go to that same game and to that same series. The Knicks know who they getting the ball to. Like if the shot ain't there for Cat or it ain't there for Brunson, then cool, we'll give it to somebody else. But 9 times out of 10, if the game on the line, the Knicks want the ball in either one of them niggas' hand. And shout outs to Cat. I'm not gonna lie to you. And
that was a ballsy move,
nigga.
Because ain't no way.
Listen to what I'm
But
saying.
but that's what I'm saying. But see, like a shot like that, had he missed it, like, oh, here go Cat doing his shit again.
Yeah, but he made it, and that's the difference. And that's the difference between Cat right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what and you know this crazy thing is because I talked about this before. I do think because New York people was talking crazy when they picked up Cat, niggas was disrespecting Cat, and I do think
This is the best he been playing.
That's what I'm saying. New York Cat is different, but I'm gonna shoot Jalen. I'm gonna give Julius Randle some credit too. Julius Randle has stepped his shit up completely in the playoffs.
But see, I can't. I still like Julius Randle. All right, you do this every time. You've done this every time.
No, he hasn't. Nigga, his playoff record is horrible. Go look at his previous
Right,
playoff
but
stats.
look at the teams he played when he was with New Orleans. He made that 1 year. When he was with the Lakers, he made that 1 year. This is the first time that you actually, and even with the Knicks, you ain't go but so far.
But
He was hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt. But that's why my point is he's showing up now though. Like nigga, he was strapping Luka ass up.
Yeah, you were. But when I'm looking for Randall, I don't think he do it on a consistent basis. It's the same with Cat. I don't think you give us one game and then you go away from it.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, this is only the first round. I'm just saying for right now, for the games that have been played, I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not looking into the future. I'm just talking about the games that have actually already been played. Julius Randle and Cat, nobody don't look like they got the bad end of that trade. Both of them have been showing up for their teams. And at moments when they need him to show up, like Julius Randle has been locking Luka. Nigga, that defense he played on Luka today was top tier. Like he was in that nigga jersey. He was extremely physical with Luka the whole time. He literally made one bad foul that whole time, and he was on. Yeah, that 3-pointer. He was on Luka ass though. He was playing very aggressive on him. Like I said, so to me, I still think. I'm gonna go OKC coming out of the West. I don't necessarily, unless they play the Clippers. I do think, I'm not gonna lie to you, I do think if the Clippers can make it out of that Denver, if the Clippers can make it out of that Denver series,
you got to give Joker's a bad motherfucker. He said it wasn't. That was a bad.
No, listen what I'm saying. He is, but I think the only thing, I think he reeks the benefit of playing in a generation where there ain't no real big men. And that's my only reason why I'm not a fan of the way, like, and I think Shaq sometimes do it just to be funny, but he's saying he's a top 5 big man of all time. I just don't feel like that's fair because he in a generation where it's like he the biggest nigga out there for real. It's just him and Joel Embiid, and they only playing the same.
But that's why I say, but you can't discredit him because just imagine if Shaq had to check him offensively, you got to come out there. He could beat you off that dribble. That's what I'm saying. He can beat you off.
Okay, cool. Shaq wouldn't maybe able to check. And you can't sit here and say he can't. He might not. Let's just sit here and say we seen Shaq with a nigga with good footwork. We seen nigga cooking. We seen Hakeem Olajuwon cook Shaq before. So cool. Let's just sit here and say Shaq can't check him. He can't check Shaq. And a perfect example because he can't even check Zubac.
Right,
nigga, Zubac is tearing his ass up.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. I feel like when you sit like somebody like Shaq, right? We know his game. You got to give it to the post. You got to dump it down to him. He can't create. I feel like even with Joker, because he's creating so much for everybody else. It ain't just like I said, oh, I'm just back to the basket. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to hit you with your move. I'm creating for everybody else. I'm looking for everybody else. That's why I say I do got to give him credit. He has changed the game a lot, and he's using this to his advantage. Because look how many people who were good at just being down the post, rebounding and all that. But then it's like, all right, damn. If you like, even the perfect example you use with Drummond. If Drummond was with Detroit right now, how Drummond was with Detroit, with all he did was rebound, they definitely would have killed New York. But because he's not there, and they pulled away from it, and then you got somebody like Joker who he had 21 rebounds and 38 points. He still do both. So that's why I'm saying I don't want to discredit him like he's not doing.
No, I'm not discrediting him, but I do think he just benefit he play in a generation where there ain't no other big man. Where Shaq played, where you could argue and say he played in a generation where it was like top 10 big men, period. From David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning. Like he was playing against all these are top 75 players. These are Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Famers. Like he ain't playing no generation where a bunch of slouts. Dikembe Mutombo, like nigga, he played with niggas that's in the Hall of Fame. The Joker may be literally in his generation. It may be just him and Embiid and Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis really don't even want to be a center. So you see him saying out of all of those, you talking about it's only one other, you talking about it's 2 other big men in your whole entire era you've been dominant that's going to be in the Hall of Fame, where I'm sitting here saying damn near every other night Shaq was going up against a Hall of Fame player. And I think sometimes you gotta talk about that. Even when we be talking about the WNBA, like, yeah, Caitlin Clark be balling, but the real position in the WNBA to have a championship team is the position that Angel Reese play. She got to go up against Asia Wilson. She got to go up against Nafisa Collier, Brianna Stewart. All of them play her position. It's not a bunch of elite guards for real in the WNBA. The teams that win the championship and win the MVP for the last 10 years been a big woman. So that's my point. Like it's easy to sit here and say, yeah, somebody is playing crazy out of their mind, but who are you going up against? Who is the person that you got to check, and who got to check you? If it's not no other elite person, I'm not sitting here discrediting what the Joker do. Yeah, he hooping, but what's the other elite niggas that he going against? Like that to me is just not fair to sit here and discredit a nigga like Shaq who got 4 rings and he had to get his 4 rings against other Hall of Fame players at his same exact position, where a nigga like the Joker is like, you and Joel Embiid ain't never even gonna see each other in the playoffs. Ever. And that's the only other dominant big man in your era. So it's like, how dominant really are you? Or did you just get blessed to play in an era where there ain't no other dominant big man? So like I said, I mean, I don't have no other. I think coming out of the East, I believe it's between Cleveland and Boston. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I ain't about to make it like I watched a bunch of Boston games before, but now, because of course that is the benefit of the playoffs, because it's less games, so you kind of can really just lock in and watch all the games because there's not a bunch of other games going on while they're on. I ain't gonna lie, Jason Tatum is a bad boy, dog. He is I think, and that's sometimes where I guess where it's like you kind of got to find your sweet spot of how to be a little bit more flashy, how to be a little bit more talkative, because it's like he do everything that Anthony Edwards do. Like I'm more like his skill level is that they got the same exact skill level, same exact style. They can hit you with the 3, they can hit you with the up top dunk. He can do all of that. And it's just like, bro, niggas don't really give him, because he ain't got no real personality. He's so quiet. Like my only thing to Jason Tatum would be is like, nigga, you know what Jason Tatum should do? You should go, because he in Boston, go do 5-piece star them and do a podcast with them during the summertime. Just be he needs some type of edge to him during the summertime where he not playing basketball to kind of bring people into his world so he can, because there's I watch this nigga. I think he is cold, dog.
No, he is, but I think that separates, like even with him and Jaylen Brown. I mean, him and Jaylen Brown's like damn near alike, but I feel like what I would give the edge to Jason Tatum is he more of I'm taking this game over. Like, all right, this shit is enough. Like, all right, Jaylen Brown kind of like the game comes to you. Mm-hmm. And when I am trying to do it, I'm forcing it. But Jason Tatum is just like, he's smooth.
I'm not gonna say Jaylen Brown be forcing it, because I think he just strong. He just like that contact. Like I'm looking at these niggas like Paul's no Diddy, bro. Jaylen Brown arms is fucking humongous, though. I'm like, bro, how the fuck are you a basketball player? Him and what's my man that played for Memphis? Damn, I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Bangs.
Yeah, Bangs. Desmond. Both of them niggas look like they could goddamn be bodybuilders. But like Jason Tatum just a cold nigga. I just be like, he don't get enough credit because he play in Boston and he don't got no real personality. But if he could figure out a way to bring out his personality or try to market around his personality, like he's one of them, like to me, he would be somebody where it's like, yeah, you could play it safe like Kevin Hart, then just do a podcast with some niggas who talk super crazy. And you can still be, he needs some type of personality because he too fucking dry. The same way Brock, he bad as hell, but she's just too quiet.
But that's the clean. You want to keep that clean image, that clean image, and all that. Like you keep that clean image.
That clean image is the reason why niggas don't never put him in the MVP conversation. Because it ain't the skill level. It's there. The skill level there, the record, the team record there, and everything. And niggas don't put him in that conversation because he too squeaky clean. He too quiet. His personality is too fucking dry. I'm telling you, having that super dry personality, they act like they like it, but they don't sit here and reckon. They don't give him no credit for it, dog. I was watching this nigga up, even though they lost the other night, bro. He was so, man, that nigga game is silky smooth, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you. But again, we here each and every Tuesday. Like, share, and subscribe. Like I said, coming out of the East, I'm either gonna go with the Cavaliers or Boston. I know that's not no bold take because both of them been dominating all season, but I do think that they're gonna battle it out in the Eastern Conference. And I think realistically, either OKC or the way, man, I ain't gonna lie. The way Anthony Edwards took over that game in the fourth quarter of the day, God, I was like, bro, you can go ahead, you about 10 more kids because this nigga gonna get paid. With his contract, though, the way he rocked the Lakers debate, that nigga is going to get paid. The biggest, man, he smoked LeBron boots. Now, you talking about that's 2 years in a row. He didn't sit here and got the big dogs. He didn't took their head completely off. Again, like, share, and subscribe here each and every week. Tell a friend to tell another friend. I know the conversations bounce around and they be all over the place, but I appreciate y'all for locking in and listening here each and every Tuesday. If you listen on the podcast app, if you're watching on YouTube, of course, this is Sunday nights. Lock, share, and subscribe.